I was stuck in coach this weekend coming back from Seattle, and Brandon
stuck in coach.
Brandon was up in first class.
How did that happen?
Yeah, how did that happen?
I'll tell you how it happened. Brandon doesn't value his job. That's how that happened. It was just a thing where they there was literally no more seats, and they changed to our plane, and so they put Brandon in first class.
Oh, and Brandon would go, here, Brandon, you can have my first class seat.
No, what an interesting thing to say, Jack. No, Brandon did not do that.
Wow.
I don't give a shit.
Brandon doesn't listen to the podcast either. So.
I also have not seen Brandon in yet this morning. Has he been let go? Is that it? Is he gone?
Yeah.
No, this is our. Oh, we just got done with the weekend trip, so this is a personal day or whatever the hell that is.
Due to technical difficulties, we join the podcast in progress as Brandon defends his ignorance of spiders.
Everyone, I see it every day. You see it every day. You see the moon every day. You interact with the moon every day in some way.
Or every night,
There's
maybe.
the moon every night.
It's just another moon or planet to you or a star. Like, by your logic, why would you bother learning any of them? Because you're never going to go to the moon.
So everything that comes up in a given day, no matter how small, you guys just know it, right?
No, there's some things that you guys think are
geniuses.
Common pool
We
of
are.
knowledge.
Are you in fucking Mensa? Like, is that?
That's my line, you asshole. You just stole my line.
How do you know what Mensa is? You don't interact with Mensa on a daily basis.
I do interact with Mensa on a daily basis.
What is Mensa?
It's like a collection of smart dudes, right? It's like a group you have to apply for. You got to be smart.
That's true. That is true.
So you know what? All right, look.
It is a society. Don't hit
balls.
the table.
All right. My bad. All right. If I get bitten by a spider, I got a fucking phone. I can Google poisonous spiders. I can probably find a database of spiders pretty easily.
You know,
I don't got to research it. And plus, stop playing with fucking spiders.
This does bring up a point, though, is that because all of our memory, essentially, and all of our information is now outsourced to places like Google and the internet. Do you need to use your brain to store any of these things if you have something that you can just pull out of your pocket, type it in, and then you know?
Because cell phones break, you lose signal. You don't want to be stuck in the mountains trying to Google poisonous spider when you may or may not be dying because you can't get a fucking signal on the side of a cliff.
Well, I can give you a great example where this actually came up. When we first bought this place, Brandon and I were out here all the time, like looking at the building, deciding what we were going to work on. And one of the things we did was we discovered the fact that we had a tree in the back that was covered in poison ivy. I mean, about half the leaves on the tree were poison ivy leaves.
Okay.
And the reason we were able to identify that was we had that rule of, Brandon, you know this? How do you identify poison ivy?
Do you itch?
So it's
2 days after you
leaves of 3,
touch
let
it?
it be.
Leaves of 3, let it be, right? So if there's 3 leaves on one little branch, then that's probably poison ivy. That's at least a way to identify it. But we just looked at it. We pull it up on Wikipedia on our iPhones, see a picture, and go, that is literally that plant. Here it is right here. This is the future. If I want to know what this is. And I was trying to explain to him that, 20 years ago, if you wanted to know if it was poison ivy, it wasn't even like, I have to go home to find out. There was no way at home to find out. It's like you had to go to a library or look up.
Unless you're
a botanist. I have a sample I'd like to take to the lab.
Is this the .orgosaurus portion of the podcast?
This is the .orgosaurus portion of it.
Well,
but so Brandon's solution was to get Roundup and spray it all over the tree. I explained to him why you don't spray Roundup all over a tree.
Read the damn directions. It's not a threat to trees. It's fucking not. If it was, people wouldn't use it.
I don't think that's what you said when I said, why did you spray Roundup all over the tree? He said, I asked the guy who worked at Home Depot, and he goes, no problem. So that's another instance of don't ever ask the guy at Home Depot anything. The guy at Home Depot doesn't know shit.
You know, the great part of killing that poison ivy is we live in Austin, which Austin will not vote for fucking expanding a highway, but they'll vote for saving a fucking ladybug. So it was cool. It was cool to like kill vegetation in the city. Like I felt I was getting back at all the frustrations over living in such an environmentally crazy city.
You're insane.
No.
Good Lord.
We did something a little rude. We actually didn't tell the guys who replaced our back fence that it was covered with poison ivy. We just figured they'd be able to figure it out on their own.
Yeah, those guys deal with poison ivy every day, I'm sure. Putting up chain link fences in Texas.
I'm sure they see it all the time.
They probably also know they're spiders. I'm going to go out on a limb and guess.
They probably also know which ones to avoid.
Wonder if they ate bread for lunch and knew it had calories in it.
All right. How did you That's good. That's on the list too. You know what? I did not know that bread makes you fat. But I will say, I went to a public school, a shitty public school, and my fucking health teacher, a nutrition, was a goddamn coach that spent his whole day teaching dodgeball. But you know what? You know what? All you motherfuckers can acknowledge this. When I did fucking learn about nutrition, I lost a lot of fucking weight, and now I look better than all of you.
You're also 12 years old. I mean, you could probably drop like 5 pounds in a day if you want to.
You know what the craziest part is? I'm actually nowhere close to the youngest in the company now. It's weird.
Is that true?
Yeah, I'm. We have
Looking from our perspective, you're all kinds of close to the youngest in the company.
Dude, no kidding.
we got Carrie. Carrie, obviously.
I got news for you, buddy. You and Carrie are the same age. You're like 6 months apart.
Carrie's 19. I don't get us kicked out of restaurants
The
in
difference-
Washington.
That is true. You don't.
I
The
do not
difference
get us
between,
kicked
what are
out.
you, 24?
I am 24. Going to be 25.
Difference between 19 and 24
I think Carrie's
is,
also 20, isn't he?
or
Carrie's
20. 20 to 24 is like a week. There's nothing.
I've also never seen a clearer example of shit rolling downhill than this. Brandon gets on the podcast, it's immediately like, let's target someone else who's not in
It's
here.
going to be a never-ending loop. We're going to get Carrie on next week. Carrie's going to talk shit about someone else, and it's going to go on forever.
Dude, have you met Carrie?
In a few weeks, we will actually be making fun of stem cells.
Dude, Carrie can't talk shit about anyone. Carrie couldn't talk shit about Hitler.
Listen.
That guy's like the nicest kid.
Carrie serves a very valuable purpose
just
in this
saying-
company. He has very healthy organs. You don't know when he's going to be valuable at any one time.
He's got type O blood.
Having talked all that shit about spiders, I did see one when I was out hiking, and I did take a fucking picture of it. So I'll be straight.
You gotta email me that so I put it.
I love that you just.
You're going to be straight with us, G?
Yeah.
I'm Jeff. I'm gonna show you this picture that Brandon took on his iPhone.
Hey, zoomed in. It's a zoom. Digital zoom.
He found a spider.
Digital
Look what he
zoom.
took a picture of. It's a daddy long legs.
You're the dumbest person I've ever met.
No,
It's not a spider. It's a spider killer, you idiot.
I was 10 feet away. I was 10 feet away. Can that thing fucking jump 10 feet? Is that going to jump 10 feet and attack me in the face?
It's a daddy long
Daddy
legs.
long legs. See again.
Google.
This
Google.
is knowledge.
Google it. How far can that thing jump?
It can't hurt you. It's a daddy long legs. Oh my god, they are poisonous though.
No, that's such horseshit. Do you believe that?
Yeah, I think they are poisonous, right? But
I don't.
They
Do you
can't- they-
believe turning on a microwave with nothing in it will damage it? 'Cause
Absolutely.
That's fucking bullshit.
Are you retarded?
I'm not
you
retarded.
You can't microwave nothing.
It
It will destroy your microwave.
I beg to differ. Does our microwave work now?
How many times have you done it?
Well, once now. We'll see.
Yeah, do it 3 or 4 times a day.
Best part about that is Bernie's like, oh, why didn't you just use a timer? It doesn't have a timer.
I haven't verified that yet. I'm pretty sure it does have a timer. You also have an iPhone in your pocket that has a timer on it.
Oh,
That's
it
a
was
good point.
upstairs.
Stopwatch.
It was upstairs.
Here's what you do. If you want to use the
Why would
microwave
you
as a
leave
ti-
your iPhone upstairs? There could be a spider downstairs. What are you going to do?
They're going to be a spider covered in poison ivy for camouflage.
Man, I got 2 or 3 more things to bring up, but I don't want to make this the Brandon podcast.
Oh, we do.
Yeah, no.
That's why you're here.
All
This
right,
is
all
the
right,
Brandon
all right.
podcast.
Shit, what was the next thing? The fucking IKEA shit? That was not my fault. That was fucking Bernie's fault.
How is it my fault?
I assembled like 2 or 3 of those motherfuckers, and there's like 20 pieces each, and then Bernie comes up and makes me feel like an idiot for using a regular screwdriver. So Bernie has this industrial drill that I use, and it rips the shit out of one of the drawers.
He has
my fault.
He has a hole in his palm because he put together 3 IKEA cabinets with a screwdriver. And let me tell you something. It's no shame in putting together an IKEA cabinet wrong. You have to do it once in your life where you completely put it together wrong.
I didn't put it together wrong.
What? How can you say that? Do you
I
think-
just destroyed 2 of the holes for the drill. Have you ever bought IKEA shit? There's a reason why it's so cheap. It's not even wood.
You know,
This would have calories.
and what he said,
I don't know.
Was it poisonous wood? Did
No,
you
Not
Google
poisonous.
this?
It was not poisonous wood.
that's how Beaver's got in such great shape.
Beaver 2.0.
Fuck, dude, I look good. I have results.
That
Jeff.
is the ultimate defense.
I
look
got
good.
results.
So, the industrial drill he's talking about, it's really just a drill. It's a DeWalt.
No.
It's a DeWalt
No.
drill.
I have that
No.
same drill. It's a nice normal drill.
Is not.
And he says that he constantly says you can't change speeds on it, but you can do it in about 2 seconds. You just don't pull the trigger as much. And he goes, no, look, and he goes from nothing, and he yanks the trigger,
Yeah,
and it goes
it's-
to full speed.
Variable
It's not.
speed.
It's dependent on pressure, man.
Touch sensitive.
Look at these hands. These hands are fucking smooth as balls, all right?
Smooth as balls. What kind of balls do you have, man?
I have smooth balls. No, these are
Jesus
true. I
Christ.
have not worked a legitimate day in my life.
Oh, you can't say that.
As Brandon's boss, I hope you're paying attention to that. Brandon.
No, Brandon works very hard.
Hey, this is a podcast, immunity, right?
Immunity.
You gotta sign that shit before you get in here.
Oh, fuck.
Brandon is an A-class administrator / producer. As long as we don't ever have a shoot that involves bread-eating spiders who are covered in calamine lotion. Do you know what calamine lotion is?
No idea what that is.
I'll have you know, I've never worked a day of my life doing physical labor either, and I can use a fucking drill. That's no defense, man. Look at me.
Congratulations.
I'm working IT at a tech company. You know I don't do shit. I can use a fucking drill.
Hey, do you want to
You also understand how triggers work.
Do you want a pat on the back? You want a pat on the back?
No, I just want to. You acknowledge what an idiot you are.
You want a cookie?
Look
You're
how
not-
angry Brandon's like fired out of a cannon.
Brandon's just like coming out swinging.
No, this is fucking who I am.
He's young. He can take us all on at the same time.
We don't hang
He's also
out.
2.0.
We don't hang out. We just work together.
Feels like the rope-a-dope. We've been beating up on him for 3 weeks, and then he shows up. He's all rested.
Not rested, man. I had to be here 7:30 the last 2 days.
Whoa, that's
I know it's
early.
early. It's fucking early. You realize, Griffin, you were training your daughter to make your life incredibly difficult when she's a teenager. Like you're
here we
establishing
go.
all the bad habits early.
With a bad hat, what?
Oh shit!
This is
No.
Brandon 2.0 now.
Yeah.
I just want to point out, we spent the first part of this podcast talking about situations that Brandon can get himself into that he's not familiar with. This is one of those examples.
Yeah.
So tell us more about how she's hurting her daughter again.
No, I got.
No, let me ask you this, Brandon. You recently started seeing somebody new, right?
I did.
Very pretty girl, right?
Oh yeah, she's hot.
Does she wear makeup?
I don't
Does
know.
she shave her legs or armpits?
Yes,
Do you realize how much time that takes to shave almost your entire body?
and I appreciate that.
If you appreciate it, you'd shut the fuck up.
All right, fair dues.
It's just harder to be a girl. Okay, it takes a lot longer. And okay, so Millie and I are maybe not the most efficient people in the morning, but you know what? I don't even have an excuse for myself. I'm sorry.
What happened actually is I was dating this girl for about 15 months and we broke up, and I was like, holy shit, I gotta get in shape if I ever want to get laid again.
I'm sure she'll be happy to hear that. It's like, now that I'm broken up with you, now I'm going to care about my appearance.
Yeah,
and my health.
once you get that locked down, you just let it go, right?
Yeah, there's all sorts of stages of that. I think every guy goes through that. It's like, well, I got a girl or I got a wife now.
Once you get that shit pregnant, it's like, all right, I'm in the clear.
So you're essentially a romantic, is what I'm hearing. Once you get that shit pregnant, you're in the clear.
You're like a modern Cyrano.
Hey, I have the trademark, so it's nobody better put that on a t-shirt.
Hey, just so you know, girl, I love you, and I'm going to get that shit pregnant. I got feelings and shit.
I keep giving Carrie advice. He just doesn't take it. I give him good
Good.
advice.
Carrie
I
is
give
a
him
normal,
good advice.
well-adjused man. Let him alone.
If
He's
you
doing
take-
fine.
You're
If
giving him like advice about women or
Yeah, about women.
spiders?
No. I tell him if you take her out, she'll put out. That's good advice.
You want to role play here for a second? I'll play Carrie.
No, I do-
Gus,
I do
you
not.
Mute my mic so I can play Carrie. And then Brandon, I'm Carrie. Give me advice.
No, I can't do it on the spot. I'm not
What do you need to
It's got to be natural.
You need to
That's
consult
how I
like your
roll.
tome of knowledge
Yeah,
upstairs.
He's got to look on Google to figure out how to talk to girls because he doesn't interact with them normally.
Bullshit, dude. I do pretty well.
You have to look up like which one are the girls. Ones in dresses are girls.
Is that your advice to Carrie?
No, dude. I've carried.
If they're
great
wearing
advice.
a dress, hit that shit. Get it pregnant as much as you can. I don't know what pregnant is because I haven't Googled that yet, but get it
Yeah,
pregnant.
that's the exact same thing about not knowing what an obscure insect is poisonous or not. That's bravo, Jeff.
Obscure.
Obscure insect.
Spiders.
I like that you're signaling on the one thing, as if that was the one thing you didn't know. You also don't know what a shop vac is.
Didn't know what starch was.
Yeah.
You don't know what starch is.
Have you seen the way?
You don't know what a vice grip
Have you
is.
seen my clothes?
He actually did when I described him what a vice was. What did you say a vice is?
Oh yeah, you use that shit to break apples.
What?
It's what he would do.
It was a game show. It was a kids' game show where you had to identify something. It was a Nickelodeon. I used to watch Nickelodeon nonstop. I didn't go outside. I just watched Nickelodeon nonstop.
How on?
And,
I'm starting to figure out why you don't know what a fucking spider is.
Because I sat at home watching Nickelodeon.
I worry about it with my kids because my kids just don't go outside anymore.
Nope.
They're not allowed to do that. They're not allowed to like go ride their bikes around the neighborhood, until
Well,
they're 15 now.
To be fair, there are spiders outside.
Are.
Very dangerous.
And somebody might try to grab them and put them in an apple breaker. But the reason why he knows that a vice is something that you can put an apple into and break it is because he grew up on a farm.
I lived on a farm for a while. My grandparents had a farm.
How do you grow up on a farm and not know some of this stuff?
I don't know. Like I remember.
How old were you on
getting
the farm?
eggs, probably till I was about 4 or 5. But I still have memories. But it's one of those things you go back for holidays too.
4 or 5 is when you learn what spiders are. I mean,
no shit.
You know, we should have bring in Teddy and have a facts of the world face off with Brandon. But he had to leave the farm after 5 because that's when he sprayed Roundup on all the crops to help fertilize them.
Yep.
So yesterday we took some headshots for the company.
Yeah, we did.
And we took them in the brightest sunlight possible.
Yeah, we did.
Brandon could not figure out in his headshot why he couldn't button his shirt, his button-down shirt. And so
wow.
Oh, that's funny.
he had it on inside out.
This is for our otaku teeth photo.
That's awesome.
That'll be one for the link dump.
Yeah, make sure you send me that one. Man, speaking of Brandon,
What?
he came in yesterday very, very, I would say, agitated to correct some of our inaccuracies regarding Star Trek in the last podcast. And for the first time ever, I understood why I got punched in high school.
For the first time, it was suddenly it dawned on you.
It was like it dawned on me. I was like, I'm the guy that has to regulate here. Like, I'm going to have to take care of this. He was just going on and on about Star Trek and inaccuracies.
In high school, you were like, technically, Vato, that's not... Ow!
You want to upset Brandon sometime?
Yes, I do.
Talk to him about the Power Rangers, because he grew up watching the Power Rangers. He actually thinks that's cool.
Dude,
He really thinks they're cool.
I cannot break him of that.
when we were doing the shoot with Mega 64 at my house, it was the TSA shoot. I don't think you were there at this moment because you had to go do something. But he and Rocco got into a conversation about when Power Rangers jumped the shark. And they were so fucking serious about it.
And they
apparently
came to
it
an
was
agreement.
It was when Power Rangers went into space. Apparently that's
That was the moment.
That was the moment they jumped the shark. But like Derek, Sean, Gus, and I were just standing there watching him like in disbelief with our jaws out.
It's like you lose respect for them. It's like I can't believe these are people I work with.
At first, you think it's an ironic conversation, and then you feel like it's one of those Family Guy jokes that they carry on too long, and then it becomes funnier the longer they carry it on. And then you realize that they just need to be punched, and that's all there is to it. Brandon looks up stuff on Amazon, and there's like devices he wants to buy, like Power Rangers watches. And
Yeah,
shit.
there was a watch, right?
He showed him all the different wristband colors. And
Oh my
everything.
God, really?
Mm-hmm.
He's the other day. Like I think he was expecting me to be like, ooh.
Like a lot of people say the Red Rangers watch is the best, but I like the Yellow Rangers watch because it tells time in beats.
Oh God. Okay, Brandon was showing me this watch he really wants to buy, or like it's some Japanese line of watches that had the screen doesn't look anything like a typical watch, and it's a totally different way. It's almost like.
Come on in.
Hey, here we are. We're talking about
We're
you.
just talking about you. Do you want to tell everyone about those Japanese watches you're really into?
Or tell us how cool the Power Rangers are. Brandon Farmahini, everyone.
I didn't say the watches were cool. I said they wanted one. Because I want something doesn't mean it's cool.
Get a chair. So, Brandon, I want you to... We were describing how nobody's retro is relevant to anybody else, and how... Do you want to tell us why Power Rangers is so awesome?
Well, I mean, if you're that age, I mean, everybody who...
What, 24?
I'm 24. Monty is about 26.
Monty's 29.
What, really?
Yeah.
How?
Why are you out and out, Monty?
I'm just saying, get your facts straight.
If you're the right age, I mean, that's just kind of what you grew up with. And it was, at the time, really crazy. Like a lot of cool fighting, guys turning into monsters, robots turning into monsters.
When did they jump the shark?
When they went to Cars.
I thought it was when they went to space.
No. Cars was right before space. I mean, dinosaurs turning into giant robots, that's cool. Cars turning into big robots?
So
That's Transformers.
That's Transformers.
Yeah,
And Voltron.
not as cool. Power Rangers are awesome. And it's not just me.
There were dinosaur Transformers. Too,
There was
for the
also
Yeah, what were they called?
I don't remember.
It was Grimlock and those guys.
Yeah.
Mega 64 came down here a few weeks ago, and I'm not going to out him, but one of the Mega 64
We already
guys-
talked about Rocco.
Oh.
We already outed
Yeah,
him.
You tell it.
Fucking Inquisition, guys. What's wrong?
You tell the story entirely differently, though. You tell it like we got together and everyone realized that we found each other. It was like, we talked about this thing we had in common. Jeff says there were two idiots off on the side telling a story while everybody else stared at them. So we added more people into our group than you added into your group, I guarantee.
Okay, so when you guys were kids, you didn't have that same thing. That dumb thing looking back now that older people thought was stupid, but you loved.
No, that's what we're saying. Absolutely. That other people's retro doesn't matter to anybody else.
Right.
We look at other people's retro and think, oh, that's stupid. Who gives a shit about your thing? Mm-hmm. Like, I think probably the dumbest thing I watched growing up was like, probably Thundercats? That's garbage.
Yeah, it's terrible.
It's awful.
That kind of stuff.
But see, we can admit it's awful now.
It's true. We can't.
Power Rangers are still awesome.
Like, for instance, I remember Thundercats jumped the shark the day the series was pitched.
The day they turned Richard Simmons into a cat and made him a lead character in a show.
The worst part about looking back on that series is like it's an 18-minute show. 6 minutes are Japanese footage, and then another 3 minutes is just stock footage. So it's about 4 minutes of good American television,
Or just American television.
or just American television.
Actually, I can out Griffin on something here too because Millie recently dyed her hair. Had a friend dye her hair,
Oh yeah,
and
Larkin from Pajama Achievements.
Larkin did it, and who is a professional hairdresser? Is that the proper term?
Stylist.
Yeah,
Stylist,
she's-
cosmetologist, colorist, and so Griffin was saying that, and I mean, I think it's cute and fun, and I think Griffin felt the need to say why a 5-year-old is getting her hair colored a little bit. It's like a stripe. She has like a pink or green
It's
stripe.
green,
Yeah,
yeah.
green stripe in her hair. And Griffin says when she was younger, she wanted her hair dyed like Chitara from
Yeah,
the Thundercats.
I wanted yellow. I begged my mom, and she was like, "No." And then I begged my mom to let me dye my hair green when I was reading a book, and one of the characters had green hair, and she said no. So I said yes.
So this is Griffin's way of
She didn't
compensating.
she didn't even wait for Millie to ask. She was like, "You're getting Chitara hair." I was like, "That just
No,
sucks."
I think Chitara hair would be almost impossible with longer hair, though. Like with short hair, you can do like the polka dots and that kind of thing, like if it's buzzed. But
You're not
Yeah.
shaving on our daughter's head just to give her cheetah hair.
no, it'd have to be genetically altered, I think, for it to work.
Okay. You're not genetically altering our daughter.
Oh.
Not for that.
Can I get back to the Brandon's watch story?
Sure,
Oh, yeah.
absolutely.
Okay, so he was showing me these crazy like Japanese watches that you're saying they revolutionize how you tell time, and they're like
I
a
didn't
code.
say it revolutionized.
You
You
said
said it was
something
weird.
Go along with it.
No, but you're like you kind of have to know like the code on how to tell time, and then you tried to show me how it was different from your watch, but you couldn't tell time with your watch, like
Your normal watch.
your normal watch.
Yeah, because it doesn't behave like a normal watch. Like I've had watches like this my whole life.
Well, what's wrong with it? Tell me
I don't know,
what's
I
wrong
press
with your
a
watch.
button, and then the second hand goes all the way to 0. It turns into a timer. I never got the manual.
You're right. You should get the more complicated watch. That'll work out well for you.
It's just it's all about the
but
manual.
if he already has a watch, he can't tell time. I have to side with Brandon on that one. If he already has a watch, he can't tell the time with. There's nothing wrong with getting another watch. That's difficult to tell
Yeah, no,
time
at
with.
least if you get like the code watch, people understand why you don't understand.
Right, exactly. At least you have an excuse for not knowing what time it is when you're wearing a watch.
Tokyo Flash is the name of the website if you want to check out and see what we're talking about.
Okay.
So I hear you punched a girl in the face.
Yeah. Oh, she deserved it. In fairness to me, she kicked me in the chest about 30 times a couple hours before.
Why?
Monty was kind of capturing motion.
Kind of catching motion.
He wasn't really capturing. He was just like recording the way this actress moved as a reference for animation. And a part of that was her beating the shit out of me after Monty kicked me in the stomach, which was awesome. And we have the video of that. And so later that night, I accidentally somewhat had my face or had my hand hit her face accidentally.
Accidentally.
It's not like I left a mark.
I gotta find this video of you getting kicked in the stomach now.
Listen, dude, that never explain that away by saying it didn't leave a mark. That's not the way to make that right.
We had been drinking that night, and she went from my phone to look through my photo album, and I rigorously wrestled that away from her.
Do you at any point in this explanation do you want to use the word accident just to throw that word in there?
She actually accidentally fell and hit her head on the door. I call my fist the door.
Yeah, when you say you didn't leave a mark, like it almost makes you sound more practiced. Like at hitting girls.
No, I'm just saying, like, we were just scrambling for the phone. It was just like a ruckus, and
I
things happened.
put some soap in a towel and beat her with it. That'll teach her to finish her PT slowly.
I apologized profusely. I felt really bad about it.
So explain who we're talking about.
I apologize to her. I'm not going to apologize to any of you.
I'm not looking for an apology. I want to see the pictures, though. Let me see your phone.
I hadn't heard this story at all. Like as I was getting set up in here, and I mentioned that I was going to ask you if you want to be on the podcast. Jack was like, "Ask him how he punched a girl in the face." I was like, okay.
So wait, what's on your phone?
Yeah.
That's the important question.
Right, exactly. So obviously you had to get this phone away from her. It was very
You know,
important.
that makes so much sense that you asked that, because I obviously didn't want one person to know it was on the phone. So, of course, I'm going to explain it on a podcast.
You don't have to show us. Just tell us. Describe it.
You might not want a girl to see it, but it might be okay to show someone that you work with who's not a girl. So don't show Griffin.
Along with everybody.
Show me, and I'll determine whether or not Griffin can take a look
Along
at
with
it.
everybody that's listening. No.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
Oh,
listen.
man. Now it's my goal to get that phone from you.
So
Password protected.
you're so concerned about what you have on your phone.
Yes.
That you punched a girl in the face and
I
didn't leave a
didn't
mark.
punch
If it's
her.
password
We were
protected, why did you
scrambling
punch
for
her?
the phone. If she was going for the phone too. If she would have just been like, "You can have your phone back," instead of stealing it from me, none of this would have happened.
So your phone is password protected then, or
It
not?
is password protected.
So then she couldn't get to the pictures.
Well, no. I was showing her a picture, and then she took it from me, and it wasn't like, "Hey, let me see your phone." It was, "Ha ha!" Like she grabbed it.
Yeah.
And then I got frantic, and I was like, "No! I need that back. Do not go through that."
So I'm pretty sure in the time that I've known you, which is just a few years now, you've lost 2 phones.
No, I haven't lost a single phone.
No, you lost. Well, you
Definitely
I
lost
lost.
one.
I
One
lost.
got
No, I
broken.
lost one for like 4 or 5 days, and then no. I broke the first one, right? And then I lost the second one under my couch.
So
for like
back to
4
my
days.
original correct story. You've lost 2 phones.
No. It's you don't lose it if you find it again.
Do you have it? It leaves your possession. It leaves your don't leave a mark striking range, right? I mean, that's how far away your phone gets from you. So why would you keep anything on the phone that you're worried about
if you lose
if
it.
you lose them so frequently?
I don't lose them frequently. I didn't lose either of them. I broke one, and the other one was in my apartment.
Yeah, but still losing. If you
Nevertheless,
can't find
it's
it.
password protected.
Then you trust that. All I'm saying is you have this mobile device
Yes.
that you're keeping obviously very sensitive materials on.
Yes.
Is it new sensitive materials?
So are you a spy or a pervert?
Can it be both? Like, why are those mutually exclusive?
That's a great question.
You can be a spy pervert.
It's true. The sneaky pervert.
So
I have since made the deletions from my phone.
Oh, you have?
Yes.
Oh.
So why?
I don't
so
trust
then
any of you.
why don't you give us the phone?
No, I'm not. I don't.
Why don't you? What was the
There's, like,
problem?
B-level stuff we can't see.
Yeah, there's other stuff too. I mean, there's just like a lot of conversations you have with people that you don't want other people to see.
I'll just look at the photos.
The other day, I'm leaning towards pervert because the other day I was out
I
here.
didn't disagree with it. I just said,
I was out here in the state. I was out here getting coffee in the morning, and Brandon walks up and goes, "Hey, I put a picture of your ass in your folder on the network if you want to check it out."
I'm not the one who took... No. So I was going through our cards to clean them out, and the first picture I find is just a picture of me, I don't know, messing with some boxes, and I was like, who the fuck took that? And then the next picture is the same place, and it's Gus's ass. I didn't take the picture. I was just making it available to Gus.
That's not a nice surprise, right? You're just like clicking through and
Dude,
all of a
I've
sudden.
seen Gus's ass so many times.
But in my defense, I don't know why I'm defending myself. When I finally did look at the photo, I determined it wasn't me because my Atari tramp stamp was not on that person.
If you go back and
So
look at
whose ass do we have?
I
in
don't
the
know.
photo?
It's in my user directory
up
if you
for
want
me.
to see it.
But it was like
No,
looking
it's,
up.
it's huge. It's like a 20 megabyte raw file.
Can I ask?
It's also
ask you
it
a
was also
question?
shot in raw.
Which is the highest level format? What is
Right.
that? Like 4,000 by 2,200
So
resolution?
it preserves a lot of the color information and a lot of the exposure information
Yeah.
for optimal ass display.
Was it 4K though? Was it how big was it?
No,
Oh.
no. But I was doing camera when we came in on Gus and the food immersion. And I don't know if you remember that, Gus, but you
Vaguely.
stood up with your pants down at your knees. And I was working camera, and I was like, I can't turn away.
There was a,
And we were editing it.
You had to focus and zoom.
Yeah, we were editing it. I was trying to cover it up. I put like I don't know, something covering it, and then Chris was like, no, it's
No,
way
it's
funnier
way
if we
funnier.
delete it.
I
was like,
agreed with
no,
Chris.
it's not. So we kept going back and forth and having to watch it and rewatch it with just Gus's bare ass. It's ingrained in my brain, which is why I was sure it was you.
You
know-
recognized it.
I thought I was like the expert.
You know what's worse than that? We were doing ages ago when Gavin was staying with us. We used to do these dumb little videos, and we did
yeah.
one called Rain Run, where Jeff hurts himself running in the rain because
Right.
he had to compete with us. And at some point, like he came out of the shower and he drops the towel accidentally. Or he's like moving it, and he completely flashes full frontal Gavin, who's running the camera, and then Gavin later has to edit it. So he's trying to like put this sensor bubble or something over Jeff's dick, and he like frame by frame, like
Had to go
without looking at it somehow.
I'm sure it was a very small bubble. Didn't take many pixels.
Be great if he accidentally looked at it and then Brandon runs from the room and punches him in the face. But it's an ongoing thing now. What are we looking at here?
It's loading up.
Oh, it's loading. It's
Set
going
image.
across the network. Just loading up the preview on my laptop across the network is taking a while.
Yeah, that'll be
So
slow
it
on
looked
the
enough
Wi-Fi.
like your ass to make you actually have to scrutinize it?
Well,
like-
I was curious. I was like, who's taking pictures of my butt?
No. He wasn't. He was disappointed afterward.
Yeah, but whose butt looks like Gus's butt? Like, I can't... think of
I
one.
was actually a little insulted that Brandon thought that was my butt.
Oh, okay.
Oh, here we go. This is where it comes down to. It was not a good
Here,
butt.
If you want to see, I've got it over here.
It wasn't Gus' butt.
I can't see it all.
I have no idea what that is. I don't even see that. That doesn't even look like a butt to me.
Oh, it's somebody leaning over.
I got it. Yeah. I don't know what. I have no idea what that is. Yeah, what's your world where the model from Tennessee picks up your phone?
You can't handle it.
Help me!
You can't handle this shit.
She saw my before pictures.
She saw Brandon 1.0.
Is that what is that what it was? Can we ask questions about what was?
No,
Was it photos? Was the concern?
I'm not answering anything.
Just answer.
Oh,
just
come
answer.
on.
I'll ask three
If they're gone,
questions.
if they're gone anyway, what the fuck do you care?
It's true.
Flesh?
I just admitted to being a criminal. Criminal.
You never told me
What
why.
did you
What
say?
did you
What-
do?
what was
ask.
your
I
guys-
did ask. I got like...
Moment's gone.
She
now.
asked first, Bernie. That's a law.
That's the law of the playground.
I'm curious if the main thing I'm curious about is are they photos that you took or photos that you added to the phone?
They're not
Say-
of me.
say
They're
pho-
not embarrassing photos of me. That's all I'm going to say.
So you
okay.
took them.
I'm not. That's all I'm saying. That's it. End of discussion.
Why?
Really?
Like, why not tell us? You would be more interesting if you told us.
Well, then I guess I'm not interesting.
Yeah.
You know, you're interesting. You just be more interesting. yourself.
That's just like the dumbest logic.
It's not the dumbest logic at all.
You're not coming on my birthday unless you answer this question. That's the same thing.
Why come in? Why? Okay, let me ask you this. Why come in, sit in on the podcast, and not fucking
I
say
didn't bring
anything?
it up. I didn't come in here and be like, I have such cool stuff on my phone. I didn't bring it up.
You're fine about talking about hitting women. That's like just rolls right off the tongue. That's fine.
I swear, officer, I didn't leave a mark.
It's not going to affect her model.
Hey, she and I are cool.
I didn't leave a mark. Look, I have a picture to prove it. Don't look at it. There's random people that come visit us. They're friendly, nice people.
No,
You're like,
they're punks. Like
They're punks, they're
one of the
criminals.
kid came and he hung out with us a while. Then when he left, I was like, Carrie, I don't like the way your friend talks to you.
You're like his mom or something. You can do better, Carrie. We just want the best for you.
Felt like they were gonna come here and start skating all over our property.
Are you an old
Damn
man?
kids.
Right. Yeah. Listen, Brandon does not like people his age or slightly younger. He does
Wow.
not like them at all.
That's not true at all. Where are you getting that from?
No, you don't. You really
Oh, where
don't.
is that from? What?
I'm getting that from all the experience I've had with you talking about people.
About who?
Come
on,
Do you want
what's
to get
up?
into it? How
Yeah.
about every person you worked with at TSTV?
No.
And how you think they all work so hard and they all take care of administrative stuff and they helped you so much
No.
while you were at TSTV.
I love those guys. They drove me crazy, but I still love them.
Hey, Brandon, I'm thinking about paying one of the new interns. What do you think about that process?
No, that's a whole different thing altogether. You do not pay interns in this business. You upset the balance
There we go.
of the world.
Because why would you pay somebody for their time? What the hell? Brandon, man, he pitched a fit when I was talking about that. He's like, no.
Oh,
I can tell. I saw the fire in hell.
actually, I've been wanting to talk to you about that.
It's like when you give $20 to a homeless person in downtown. We've seen what happens there. And everybody comes calling.
Oh man, what a fucking character.
We
But
met, we
somehow
met on
I
a cruise.
Somehow I still believe it too. Like I always think that even no matter what a guy's position is in life, there's always a woman for him. You know what I mean? Like you can always find somebody.
That's
Except for Brandon last night. We had a couples thing and he couldn't get it together.
I know.
We invited you if you had a date and
I almost took to Twitter to find you a date for that.
Should have.
Would that have been embarrassing?
No. That would have been so awesome. I'm sure I would.
Are you looking right now for all the ladies listening?
I am not looking.
for the 5% of our listeners
Yeah,
that are
now
ladies
that you know
listening.
the hits girls, if anyone's interested,
Dude, when I put up
Brandon's
that
available.
14-year-old picture of myself, or myself as a 14-year-old,
Yeah.
there's some ladies who commented.
Don't ever use that voice, please. That's so fucking annoying.
Wait a minute. They commented on you being 14.
Yeah, they're totally into it. So I got a lead. I got some leads.
Do they know that you're an adult now?
Yeah, they understand that.
That reminds me of something I saw last night.
This is a weird conversation.
You're diminishing the power of the abs
Yeah,
by
I
making
know.
that noise.
He's trying to get down to his 14-year-old fighting weight. Is that where you're headed now?
Yeah.
Why are you posting pictures of yourself when you're 14?
I found an old picture of when I was in junior high. You guys had pictures when you guys were babies, right? On your profile.
Younger.
Did I?
You were like
yeah, there was like
Oh,
a phase
yeah.
where like I think everybody posted a baby picture. I thought the 14-year-old version of myself was pretty funny looking.
I just thought what you did is kind of like as a goof.
Yes, as
Okay.
a goof. It was
Well, the weird
just
thing was you were
a
reacting
picture.
positively, like, look at these ladies.
Yeah, look it up. I'm getting positive attention here.
I mean, if I posted a 14-year-old
the-
picture of myself and a bunch of ladies showed up, were like, that's super hot. I'd be like, who the fuck are you people doing this?
You know, we were making fun of how there's just like no girls that listen. So the girl reaction I did get was somewhat creepy. So
Okay.
win-win there.
You know, I that seems creepy. I was going to say that seems insanely sweet to me.
Sweet?
Yeah.
I don't know. Man. Like, she was
Jeez,
18.
I mean,
like,
I need a frame for it.
Your wife looks this age now. Like I mean, I would have guessed she took this picture yesterday. Yeah. Your wife, if that's your wife and she's 21, your wife is aged extraordinarily well.
I don't think it's weird to have pictures of people when they're younger if you know them, like if they're people that you care about.
Can I just borrow this and let's take
Oh,
You take a picture.
it easy.
Got
What the hell's wrong with
Take
you?
it easy. Let me tell you something. Brandon's taking a picture of
That's
Gus's
it. I gotta
wife.
punch him in the face.
Yeah. Let me tell you, Gus will leave a mark too. So
See
be
this
very
ring?
careful.
Fucking, it'll leave an impression right there.
But I guess books have always had that. You always have more pages left.
Yeah.
That's almost like a progress bar too, though, when you're reading a book.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Books
yeah,
have had that
okay.
where you know how close you are to the end.
Right.
All the books I read, you just flipped around different pages.
Have you
depending
ever
on-
read a book? Just out of
No,
curiosity.
You
I used
like
to-
a
I used to
choose
be
your own
big reader.
adventure?
I used to be a really big reader.
Dude, you really? Like, what was your favorite author? I
gonna sound
came
super
close.
nerdy.
I came close to saying Arthur, but I didn't. I said author. I just want to make it clear.
Nice save.
Thank you.
There was this kid series by this guy named Brian Jacques, and it was called the Redwall series, and it were basically adventure books, but all the characters were animals. But that was my favorite.
Brian-
And Animorphs. Animorphs were fucking awesome.
Brian Jacques
Yeah.
and Animorphs.
Yeah, Animorphs was
So
like a
when you
sci-fi.
say you used to be a big reader, you mean like until you were 7? Is what I'm hearing?
No. I guess until junior high.
So about the time that picture was taken that you posted that you're so proud of.
Yeah.
Until junior high. So elementary school, you were a big reader.
I was a big reader in junior high. Midway through junior high, I stopped reading.
What did you switch to? What was your new thing?
I
Working
don't know,
out.
not reading? No, fuck working out.
They're German shepherds that are trained to kill. Like,
What's that?
I mean, a normal dog maybe, an aggressive dog maybe, but there's certain breeds that are trained to kill, to murder.
I don't know how you.
No,
Yeah, like I'm not gonna fight that
Like
Navy
if it's-
SEAL
like-
dog they talked
Yeah.
about the other day.
if a
you know?
German Shepherd is
What do you mean a
on
dog's
you,
name
like
is?
what?
Killer.
I can take on a dog.
I'd rather fight any dog than a person.
If you charge it and you just knock it out initially, you could probably be okay. But if it gets at you once and it starts gnawing you, you're dead.
That's not true. I mean,
Yeah, it is.
Gnaw on my arm and not kill me.
A dog's a little different because a dog has one point of attack, just the mouth. So you can deflect the mouth away from
Unless
you.
he has a
There you
knife.
go.
But a cat is different because cats can attack you with their feet too. You got 4 paws and a mouth.
But they're nimble and they'll take you down
What are nimble?
first.
Dogs are nimble?
Yeah,
Dogs aren't nimble.
their neck.
Dogs are full of shit.
It's not like they're gonna just go after you just straight. Like they can turn their neck and just get at you every
You think
single
they're
way.
gonna have
Well,
dog
clearly
strategy?
this should be an
Yeah,
immersion.
no, trust me. Like, my cousin was shot like 4 or 5 years ago, and they got this German trained dog, and they had videos of it before they got it, and it's gonna kill you if they
Can I
give
ask
that
you a question?
"Hi-ya" or whatever German, it's gonna kill you.
Was that your German?
That
by the
was
way?
my German.
Can I ask you a question? What does your cousin being shot have to do with him getting a kill dog?
Yeah, that story makes no sense.
How's it?
I don't
Here's what I'm
understand.
envisioning. He was shot and then somebody attacked him with a dog.
Yeah.
No. They got a dog. It's just one of those things, like psychologically,
What?
if you're
Who
shot,
got the dog?
So they were like,
his family.
The
My
story I have
cousin's
in my
family.
head
You've
is
been
that-
Did his
shot.
family shoot him?
You've been shot, so we're gonna get a dog to protect you? Is like that kind of thing?
Did he
Psychologically,
wear the
it's-
dog as a vest in front of him?
The
to
dog-
take the bullet.
The dog had a revolver.
Did the dog?
Afterward.
Yeah. Could the dog shoot back?
no, but if somebody came at him,
Where
the
was he
dog
sh-
would
Where
fuck him
was
up.
he shot? Where?
Outside a restaurant.
In the
Where
dog.
he worked?
Yeah.
Did he take the killer dog to work with them? I mean, did he go everywhere with them?
Look, man, when people are attacked,
You can't take a
it
dog to
messes
a
them
restaurant.
up.
What's that?
It's hard to, it's
Is
hard
the
to
dog-
fall asleep at night.
Is the dog like sitting outside the back door waiting for him to open it up to like empty out the grease trap just in case somebody's in the
Okay,
house?
Jeff, you were robbed.
I was
Getting
twice.
your dog, getting that dog, it didn't make you feel better.
No, I got.
psychologically?
That's why I got the dog.
Okay.
Now,
But I'm not. but
imagine
I-
you were shot.
Then if I was shot, I'd buy a gun. Or I'd buy a vest and a fucking private army. I'm like, I don't have any aspersions that the dog is going to stop bullets for me.
Jeff, I'm having trouble sleeping at night. I'm thinking about getting a killer animal and putting it in my house with me. What do you think about that?
I think it's a great idea. Get a big tank and put a killer whale in there.
Maybe a shark.
That sucks. So he was shot, huh? Did he explain to you how it felt to be shot?
It's one of those things that
Where
you
was he
don't
shot?
ask about.
Where
He
was-
shot
Why
in
not?
like the
I'd ask
liver.
the shit out of it.
Where was he shot?
In the liver?
Oh,
He was shot in the liver?
Yeah.
That's what
And
killed
he- and he-
Giovanni Ribisi.
It's messed up.
In Saving Private Ryan. Not in real life. Not in real life.
Life isn't like Beverly Hills Cop. You don't just come back from a bullet wound. You're out for like a year.
No,
It
I
fucks
believe
you
that.
up.
I totally agree.
Fucks you up.
Beverly Hills Cop.
I have no idea.
Wait.
Remember at the end? Who is it? He gets shot, and then they have like a little press conference, and he just has like a sling on his arm.
So
and
life-
he's like, I'm okay.
You're saying life is nothing like Beverly Hills Cop.
Beverly Hills Cop is a good example of a Hollywood film that just treats bullet wounds like any
I
old
would say
thing.
it's an example. I don't know if I call it a good example, Brandon.
What's a good example?
What's a movie where a guy got shot? Oh, Beverly Hills
Superman.
Cop.
Superman. You talking about somebody getting shot and being okay from that?
No,
Superman.
not like not
Schwarzenegger.
hurt at all, but like you get shot and then you're mostly okay
You
afterward.
could
You're
name
just
any
recovering.
action movie, but you chose Beverly Hills Cop. You chose like a 25-year-old movie.
That movie came out in
Comedy.
1980.
You have to pick a movie. You have to pick one thing.
Like, pick an action movie.
Why not 48 Hours? He shoots a dude in the toe.
Does this guy come back okay?
Yeah, he comes back. He's fine.
Who is he? Giovanni Ribisi? So you didn't ask him. You really didn't ask. You didn't ask your cousin. Cousin?
Yeah.
What
Oh
it
no,
felt
dude,
like to be
that's
shot?
a fucked up experience, man. You
Yeah.
don't mess with
I
that.
would-
See, that's
Like
our
I'm
problem,
saying, like
Jeff,
Yeah.
is that we don't have. We would ask.
Oh my God, are
Yeah.
you kidding? Here's the conversation. Did you just get shot?
Yeah. What's that?
What the fuck was that like? Did it hurt?
Can I see the hole?
Do you remember it? Can I see the hole? Yeah, like that's how it goes.
No, dude.
Or
no,
is he in the
it's-
hospital? Like, he'd be in the hospital. I'll be like, wow, dude, are you gonna make it? Cool. Can you make it long enough to tell me what the fuck that's like?
Yeah, it's like if
You're
you
the
lived.
only person I know who's been shot. I need to know what that's like.
Yeah, I mean,
I imagine their answer would probably be like, "Wow, it really sucks, and it hurts."
it hurts. It burns.
Then
a
how
little
does
bit.
it hurt?
Ow.
Is it like
Ow.
getting punched? Is it like getting stabbed? I want to know. Without finding out on my own.
Yeah,
What's the
you want
worst-
to get a first-hand account.
It was
of
a crazy story. It was a shootout. It's
What's the
not like
worst
he just
injury?
got attacked. He had a
in a
gun too.
shootout?
Yeah.
He had a gun too.
Yeah, he's licensed.
what?
I mean,
What was he?
What is he in the mafia?
no, he's just closing up the restaurant, and two guys were waiting for him, and he had a gun, and he told his friend, he just yelled out "drop," and then he pulled his gun, and they just started shooting at one another.
Shit.
Did
about
he
like
shoot-
20, about 20 shots fired.
Did he get them?
Yeah, he did. He got one in a guy in the skull.
Oh,
Ooh.
Yeah.
Did you ask that guy what that felt like?
did it take him a year to bounce back?
But I mean, like he thought he was fine. He got in the car, and it wasn't until like he actually settled down, the adrenaline rested, that he realized I was shot.
No shit.
So he bled all over his
So you
car.
did ask him.
No. I heard.
What kind of car did he have?
No one expected the rapture to come about, but if it did, if the rapture happened, would you feel like an asshole because you knew? You had a warning? Would you just be like, I was just the dick who just made fun of it the whole time?
Yeah, but how
but
much
here's
money-
it's happening.
Me and the
Of
other
course
6
we
billion
would.
people.
What kind of question is that?
Would I be
Too
sorry
many
I was in
people-
hell? Yeah.
No,
I'd be a little
no,
upset
no,
about
no.
being in
Hey,
hell.
no.
If everyone you knew went to heaven, but you didn't go, why'd you feel?
that's
All
not
this
what I
fire
said.
and brimstone. It's kind of shitty.
Did you really interpret that as what I said? I said, would you feel like an asshole because you were specifically warned about it and
Well,
you're just making fun of it?
To be fair, we've all been warned all our lives, right? I mean, there's always somebody warning you about.
Yeah, but you're
Yeah,
like specifically
coming.
the world's gonna end at 6 o'clock tomorrow. You literally don't do anything different.
Yeah,
And the
but-
world's gonna end. You're like, shit. If I would have
But what
known,
are you-
if I would have known that, I would have like,
What are you supposed to do? You've got like, do you think that God's gonna buy it if you've got like 6 hours and you finally do something?
So you don't think
Yeah.
there'd be any difference in knowing you only had an hour to live? You wouldn't. Nothing would
Oh
change.
no, things would change, but I don't think I would hope to get to heaven at that point. Like,
Oh no. I'm just saying you have an hour to live. Do something. Do something.
Brandon, I don't know that anyone knows what you're saying right now.
I'll
I'm
tell you
so
to ask the question
confused.
with a very obvious answer. Of course, it's like if someone warned you, "Don't walk in the room; you're gonna set on fire." You walked in the room, set on fire. Would you feel like an asshole? Be like, "No, what did I know?" The answer is, of course. Yes, of course, I would feel bad if it came true. You know?
Oh man. So speaking of assholes, I hate Brandon.
Who's the
I hate
Who was
Brandon.
the asshole we?
It's certainly not Cliffy B.
nothing crowbarred in there. Yeah.
No. I was referring to Jeff. But so Brandon went on this tirade last week about me opening the gate.
Oh yeah. I was wondering if there's gonna be retaliation.
So let me just say, okay, so I have a big thing. I'm very cautious about presentation. So anyway, so the gate. The gate is a huge thing because the gate is literally the first thing someone driving to our company will see, right?
I guess.
Okay, you pull up, the first thing you're going to see is the gate.
Correct.
Say you are someone who's coming to our company. Say Cliffy B is coming to visit our company.
Listen, fuck Cliffy B. Cliffy B's fiance is coming to the company.
Okay,
Let's
right.
keep this
Cliffy
straight
B's
up.
fiance and Coco are coming to the company.
By the way, Ice-T drives a white Rolls Royce.
Yeah.
Phantom. Pretty cool.
Nice.
Anyway, so they pull up. The first thing they see is a half-closed gate. That looks like no one gives a shit. And that bugs the hell out of me. That always bugs that. Like, when trash cans sit out there for 2 weeks and it's like no one bothers to grab them. It's like, fucking pull in the trash cans. Have some respect in your company. Have some pride in your company. Open the fucking gate. Open it all the way. It takes 5 seconds to open the open the fucking gate.
Do you know the reason that the gate is half closed?
Why?
Because it upsets you.
I know.
That's the only reason.
It's a whole circular thing, but they're making the company look bad to upset me.
That's fine.
That's terrible.
Every time the UPS guy drives up, he's like, what is this? What a ramshackle.
No, because
what
by that point, I've had to open the fucking gate.
I'd agree with you if we were a public-facing storefront or company. You know,
do you think Cliffy B tried to come to our office one day and was like, the gate's half open. I'm going back to New. Fuck
It
this
just looks
place.
shitty, though. It looks so shitty.
To who?
You guys are focusing way too much on Cliffy B at this point.
the mailman clucks his tongue as he puts our mail in the mailbox every day.
This FedEx guy must hate our gate.
It's all about presentation, man. It's all about what does your company look like to the outside-facing world, and it looks terrible.
Visit richardteeth.com to find out what our company looks like to the outside
world. You've got a neon Jack Daniels sign above your desk.
What's your point?
Here's what I understand.
That's a decoration for the fucking office.
Stop
it looks cool.
Stop hitting the table.
Sorry.
You hurt my ears. But here's what I don't understand. Just a few weeks ago, didn't we talk about on the podcast that Jack doesn't bring in the trash can? That Jack doesn't open the gate?
No. We talked about Jack opens the gate.
Yes. That's the thing. I'm the fucker who opens the gate every time.
Okay.
Speaking of which, we said no more fucking secret recording, and I apparently was secret recorded. Those fucking. Did you not see the podcast last week?
No.
Yeah, so Brandon recorded me secretly opening the gate when they half closed and they're waiting for me. They filmed me opening the gate.
I got news for you. If you're worried about the gate and the presentation thing, it's only half closed for about 15 minutes a day, and that's at about 9:50. Either Gus or Jeff or Carrie or Brandon or somebody in the company runs out and shuts the gate halfway, and then we all stand by the door and watch you come in. And then you open it, and then it's open again.
Well, I hope that's the case, because I just paid to have that goddamn automatic gate opener installed.
We haven't done it since the automatic opener.
No one's touched it since the automatic gate opener does. The automatic gate opener does a fine enough job of not opening the gate or opening the gate halfway on its own.
I thought the gate dudes were here yesterday.
They're here every day. They may as well just fucking have a satellite office out here at the gate. They may as well just set up a fucking booth and open the gate for us when we drive up. I don't know what the fuck we paid them for, because the gate doesn't open.
What is the story with that? Why doesn't that fucking thing work? It's been, 3 weeks now since we installed it?
The story I heard was the guy was like, yeah, we'll do what we can, but it's not us. It's really just a shitty gate. As they said, basically.
A shitty gate
like,
they
why
on.
didn't you tell us that before you put the goddamn thing in?
Well, they'll get sick of coming out here and fixing the opener, I'm sure. I'm going to get Brandon down here and figure this out. Brandon's our logistics guy.
The logistics of opening a gate.
So I guess I'm the guy now who has to take in the trash every week, and I
took the trash in last week. You were at E3.
I was at E3. I took it in this week. I forced Joel to help me take it in this week.
I got rid of those. I finally.
Oh fuck yeah! I saw that. I saw the dumpster outside.
There's now a dumpster.
Yeah, we got a dumpster.
God, thank God. Matt Hullum,
the armchair socialist.
Is the reason we don't have that. We didn't get that fucking dumpster to begin with.
Day one.
Yeah.
Because they didn't have a recycling option.
It's true. And now, guess what? After 20 minutes of searching, we found a place where we could get a dumpster that does also have recycling.
Is it also Matt's fault that the trash can in the kitchen has an opening the size of a coffee cup?
It's not a trash can. It's a fucking laundry bin.
Griffin and I went to IKEA when we first moved into this office, and we saw that can, and we're like, oh, that would be great, but the hole's too small. We'll get an actual trash can. And then Brandon or someone went the next day and bought that exact same can we looked at.
Take the fucking lid off if you don't like it.
Yeah, but the lid's all fucking gross and
it is. The lid just gets gross and covered in coffee and shit.
Take the lid off permanently.
Listen, I care about presentation. I don't want Ice-T or fucking Jimmy Fallon or Cliffy B or whoever to throw away their drink.
Oh, no, don't
They'll
worry.
obviously be in our office if they can get past the gate.
Don't worry about it.
And I don't want them to see a dirty trash can.
Don't worry, right now there's actually a bag of trash sitting next to the trash can. There's literally another bag of trash on the ground next to the trash can that's also full.
There's also a bag of trash on the desk Ben's been sitting at since he's been here. Do you see every day when he leaves, there's like a collection of drink containers around his desk where he sits.
Does Ben listen to the podcast?
I don't know. We'll find out.
Okay.
Hi, Ben.
He probably can hear us through the
I think
door.
he does.
We're yelling.
He probably does.
You know,
Everyone should.
Do you know the grossest thing that Ben did? Have we talked about this yet?
I don't know.
Okay, so we ordered pizza for the office, and brought all the boxes in. I think that now it's like 7 boxes of pizza. It seems like to feed all the jackasses here. What do you have to like 19 people? in the office?
Too many.
Yeah.
About
I think the interns were 21.
about 14 too many.
Well, the interns were 21 in the office now.
16 too
I
many.
bought donuts for the office the other day. I had to buy 2 dozen. That's fucked up. Anyway, go ahead.
Remember we used to buy a dozen donuts in the beauty office and it'd be too many.
Yeah, we had to throw them away.
Yeah.
I know. I got them out of the trash.
You
and
guys
ate 'em.
upstairs are vultures too, so
They are.
Those
Especially
assholes.
Chris. Chris can eat 2 dozen donuts by himself.
So
He
you
gets
don't like the guys upstairs because they eat?
no, for many reasons. That's one of the reasons.
So what happened with this pizza box? I haven't heard this.
Chick-fil-A bullshit.
Okay, so we have these boxes of pizza sitting out on our kitchen table, right? Or what is that area in there called? Break room?
Sure.
I love this. I don't know how many employees we have or what the parts of the building are called.
It's a great management in this company.
I really got my finger on the pulse.
It's the food annex.
But the pizza box is on the table, and somebody goes to open and get another slice, and Ben, who I guess is now a lifelong bachelor and orders pizza for himself every night.
He's by the way, but to be fair to Ben, he's moved up from Coke Zero and brownies as his sole sustenance. At least now there's vegetables and pizza.
The first time, that's not a joke, the first time he came to visit us, he ate brownies. That's all
And
he
M&Ms.
ate. That's all that kid ate.
He would eat brownies at work all day and then go home and eat M&Ms at my house.
You know what? He's so smart. You know, we heard
Whatever.
Ben when he was 15 years old to be a web developer for
Yeah.
us. It makes me just want. I'm just eat brownies, and hopefully that'll help spur my creativity. But so somebody opens up this box of pizza, and there's a full pizza with one piece missing, except the piece isn't missing. There's a couple bites taken out of it, and then it's placed back on top of the other pizza like a plate. He used the pizza as a plate. It was one of the most disgusting things I had ever
So
seen.
did he just like rub his junk on it to claim it? It's like, this is mine.
I don't know. Yeah, like he sprayed it or something. It was awful. It was it was really terrible. Like I mean, everyone at that end of the table couldn't eat.
You know,
and if
you know something's fucked up if you're grossing out the dudes who work here. It's like, like, come on, let's keep it under control.
Oh my god, that was pretty horrible. That was pretty horrible. Oh hey, look who just joined us in time.
Look at the assholes here.
Brandon has joined us. Brandon, why don't you jump on that mic over there with Jeff?
Hey, what's up, Brandon? Here you go. By the way, can I just say I like you, Brandon?
I know.
All right.
Jeff and I are cool.
I think you're
Brandon-
I think you're a nice guy.
What is wrong with the fucking gate? What is wrong with it?
What is it not working?
It has been working for 4 weeks.
Was it working this morning?
I don't know. I came in and it was open, so yes, it's working. But what is the problem? Why are the guys out here every other day?
Circuits.
Like, why were they here yesterday?
Circuits?
Yeah, circuits.
They're not
man.
building a fucking robot, dude. It's a gate.
So you don't think you think it's like a little mouse in there that just runs in a wheel and
Yes,
opens and
that's
closes?
exactly what
There's
I
no
think.
there's no
I'm an
circuit
idiot.
board.
Is it really the circuits that's causing the problem?
There's something wrong with the circuit board. Yeah, they have to. He comes in here and the only way he can fix it is resetting it. They're taking a look at it. They might replace it.
That's the problem with the fucking circuit
might
board in
replace
there. I thought the problem was that they kept saying the gate was shitty. Now are they changing the story and it's circuits?
It seems that way.
If there's circuit boards in our gate, can we just have Adam fix it?
Yeah, really.
So I don't know. Did you see the website yesterday? Probably not.
Better than when I was doing
Dude,
it.
that was a master deflection. I mean, that was like, what, you brought me not talking about the gate? Hey, remember when we launched the season yesterday? Nothing fucking worked? That was awesome.
It's like the gate to our website.
I want you, Jack and Brandon, I want you to hash this out because Jack was talking shit. Brandon, see, look at Jack here. Jack says he's all about presentation. And so, look at that face on Brandon. So he says that he's upset because the gate is only ever half open and he has to
Well, it's
manage
fixed now because a fucking robot does it for us.
So you're complaining about shit that happened in the past.
Yes! See, I got to talk shit last week because of it. So I'm stepping up and actually talking about it.
Isn't it time to move on with our lives?
Fuck you.
I'm also, you know,
How about that?
Hitler was a bad guy. You want to talk about, you complain about him too?
What?
Like, you're just going to live in the past.
But let's be honest. Hitler's fiance, hot.
Was she?
I don't know. I don't know.
This is something I never understood. Why do both gates need to be open? Like, why is it the worst thing in the world?
Well, it's true. When you go to Disney World and you see half the gates are shut down, you have to go through one side. That's true. You know, whatever. It's no big deal. It's like, it's just, whatever. That side's closed.
Are you comparing
Fuck
our
it.
company to Disney World?
I'm comparing our company to a fucking
Jeff,
company.
Let's just see where this goes. Let's
So
not give him time
is
to
Disney
fix it.
World like the ultimate company that you would compare all other companies to?
As far as presentation,
Like
goes,
the gold
honestly,
star
yeah,
level.
it's up there. I mean, like they push show more than any other company out there.
They put what? They do what?
They push show. They push presentation more than any company out there.
They push show. I like that. I'm going to use that. I'm pushing show.
But I don't know, something about it. It's like if you go to a company and like half the doors are closed for no fucking reason at all. Why? Like that's dumb.
So
Open
you're
it up.
comparing it to a company where half of the the front door and the side door are just ajar. That's the same thing to you as a front gate.
What?
I'm
No.
going to say this: if people pay $120 a head to come in here every day, that's good. I'll
open the gate.
He just
Like,
adds
I'm
to the
watching
fire,
everything.
though. He is like a huge can of gasoline. He doesn't start any fires, but goddamn does he maximize them.
He likes to fan the flames.
Yeah.
He's like Billy Joel.
No one's going to get that reference.
I'll link a video in the link dump. or
Billy
something.
Joel was very popular in the 70s and the 80s.
People know who Billy Joel is. Come
I
on.
bet they don't.
Yeah, people know who Billy Joel is.
If you asked Brandon to name 2 Billy Joel songs, do you think he could?
Let's do it.
Dude, I bet you can't. I bet
I
if
can
you
go get
ask
him right
Brandon,
now.
go
I can
get
get
him.
him.
I'm
Go
gonna
ahead.
get him.
Before you go
Okay,
any
yeah,
further,
all right.
we don't.
Where's
Let's
he
not
at?
even mention that he's a musician.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, here
We
he
could
comes.
probably convince him he's a politician or.
I need to set up a 5th mic here just in case we.
How old
we,
is
we
Brandon?
call people in.
24?
25, I think.
25.
Brandon,
You
you
were
mean?
also surprised when no one on your Xbox Live friend list had ever heard of John Wayne.
Or Mr. Tortilla Head, which was hilarious. It was fucking hilarious in Toy Story 3.
God damn.
Hey, it's okay.
Okay.
We're just we want you to settle an internal
Here,
debate.
you can take my mic. These guys are going to ask you a question.
All right, we're going to ask you a question. We're going
What's
to
up?
probably ask you a series of questions.
All right,
Okay. All right. Brandon Farmahini, everybody.
Hey.
First off, how old are you? 24, 25?
25.
Okay.
Oh, seriously?
Do you
Already over for you.
Do you know who Billy Joel is?
Yeah, the musician.
Can you? What is his instrument?
Seriously?
Let's go with. It's between guitar and piano.
It's between guitar and piano. Okay, those are both
So
excellent
it's
choices.
guitar.
You got a coin flip here.
He was in Journey.
Don't try to trip
He
him up.
was not in Journey.
They were the guys who had
Billy
the
Joel, we'll go
keyboard
piano.
guitars. You're gonna go with piano. Okay. Can you name 2 Billy Joel songs?
To the night.
To the night.
Yeah, to the night.
You're not even getting that right. It's okay.
You sound just like
So
him.
that's one Billy Joel
To
song.
the night, yeah.
Yeah.
To the night.
And the other one is To the Day. What is it?
Jeff, that's ridiculous. No, he did that song about wanting to be free. You know what?
All right.
I don't know anything about Billy Joel, but I swear to God, he probably that's such a generic bullshit song.
Well,
probably
both
made
off. Neither of those. The second song doesn't exist, and the first song is not Billy Joel. But yeah, do you think people of your age range would know? who Billy
that's
Joel
what started
is?
it. We were just curious if people knew who
Curious.
Billy Joel
We
was.
made a Billy Joel reference.
I think it's definitely possible. I wouldn't describe myself as big into music, so I barely know music that's going on now. I definitely would not.
Ladies and gentlemen, Brandon Farmahini.
I am here working to eat at my stupid reputation
you know-
that you guys have
Keep it
built for me.
I think what really ruined that song and pushed it over the top was the Sopranos finale. I felt like
I never saw it.
that song was already played out, and then that's playing during the very end of the
Oh, how
Sopranos.
sappy.
And then ever since then, I feel like you can't go more than 2 hours out hearing that song anymore.
But do you know what I'm talking about? When going somewhere
Oh,
like
yeah.
a bar and people just want to.
Speaking of which, I was driving home the other day, and we have the Irwin Center here in Austin, which is I guess our biggest concert venue. And I saw that there's going to be on September 22nd. There's going to be a concert with Foreigner and Night Ranger
my God.
opening for Journey.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I
Steve
did.
Perry's not in it anymore, right?
No,
Journey?
no. They had replaced him with some other guy, and then they replaced that guy with a Filipino dude who sounds just like
Just
Steve
like Steve
Perry.
Perry. I've heard him. Do you know, I used
Is it the kickboxing guy?
No.
I used to walk by Steve Perry every day in Studio City, 6 a.m. I'd get up. He had hip surgery or something, right? And I'd do my morning walk. And the first time I walked by him, I'm thinking, oh my God, that's Steve Perry, right? And so I was a little bit kind of, wow. So then the next day happened, and week after week, and I got to the point where we were the head bob, hey, how you doing?
So
How's the hip?
Yeah, how's the hip, old man?
no fucking clue who those first 2 people are.
Steve Perry?
Not a very great way to start the podcast, trying to eat at that reputation.
The towels that we have here reminds me of another stupid fucking thing that Brandon did. You remember
Oh, right.
we first moved into this office. This building had not been occupied for 2 years, and so there were things we discovered about the building. After we first moved in, a rainstorm hit, believe it or not, actually rains in Austin sometimes. And this window right here in particular, Michael, this window leaked, and it was
He's
leaking.
pointing to a window.
Yeah, I am. It's a visual reference. And it leaked water here down this wall and all over the floor. We actually had to kind of fix the drywall after we got the window repaired. But we were kind of panicked because it was raining really hard, and there was water leaking in. And so Brandon jumps up and says, I'll go get some towels. We just moved in here. We didn't have anything to like mop up all this water. We were putting fans on it. And he goes, I'll go get some towels, and we'll mop up the water that's on the floor. So he comes back with 10 brand new red towels to like put on the wet floor, on the carpet.
He's not going to understand why this is a bad idea.
I don't think half of our audience is going to understand why it's a bad idea to put brand new red towels on a wet floor, on a carpet. But Brandon thought he just liked the color red, and so he got that. So when I was taking a shower, I saw there were red towels and thought, what a fucking idiot.
I assume the red bled.
It'll bleed all over the fucking place.
A brand new towel. Like, if you had to pick one color that you wanted for the towels to not bleed, you would definitely not pick red.
Yeah. It's probably the worst possible choice. And we just laughed at him. He's like, what? I don't know. Oh, why would I know that? I'm not stupid because I didn't know it. It's like the dumbest defense ever.
In a sense, though, it's like a typical bachelor mistake to not know that red stuff is going to bleed all over everything else.
Yeah, I guess. I'm not defending that asshole, though.
So now that I've made fun of Joel and I made fun of Brandon, can I go do my commentary? He's rolling like a D20 to figure out how he wants to vote.
What's going on, guys?
Brandon's here.
Hello, Brandon.
So Brandon came in. I was ridiculing you. Do you remember when we first moved into this building and this window right here was leaking?
Yeah. And who called to get it fixed?
You called to get it fixed.
I did.
You also ran out to buy towels for us to mop up the water. Do you remember the problem with the towels that you bought?
Yeah.
So I was saying that while we're here for Crunch, I saw the big stack of red towels and I thought of you fondly. I thought, how far you've come.
I didn't just grab those towels either. I sat there and thought, what color towel should I get?
What color towels are we going to put on the floor?
Actively on the wet floor.
Yeah, white towels. It's just like you see what disgusting things are on them, and especially around this office.
Yeah,
I was like, I'd rather be ignorant.
Watch it.
I'd rather be ignorant.
I'd rather
to the
not see
disgust around this office than look at a towel and see it.
My
Wow,
face.
he's just coming in.
If it's white, you can at least you're like, oh, it's dirty. I need to wash that.
It's always going to be dirty, Gus. It's always going to be dirty. No. But
I'd rather not see it.
It created a huge. It was a problem.
Yeah, having the red towels?
Yeah, it was a problem.
Yeah. Well, we still have red
But
towels.
they're nice now. I mean,
is there a particular color of towel? Do you only use white towels?
Yes.
Is that true?
Yes.
Michael, when you buy a towel,
I don't give a shit.
You don't give a shit?
I have a shitload of red towels. I like red towels.
Just go to Slick Deals.
That's true.
That's like your way of living.
That's Chris.
This dummy's buying a house. Brandon's buying a
I'm
house.
not buying a house.
Are you? Are you buying a house?
I've merely been inquiring.
Are you buying a house?
I know nothing about anything like 401k.
No, you can stop it.
About investments, about mortgages.
Do not think about a house as an investment.
Don't
okay, that right
buy.
now.
Yeah, don't buy a house.
All right.
Buy a house.
Unless you want to spend money and lose. I mean, unless you want to not have money.
Buy a house.
But you want a house. If you want a house, I'm like that with cars. Cars make no sense, but I want a car. I'm not going to get any return on that. But if you're not going to get a good return on it.
You're not
But
getting
I would
a
have
good
a house.
return on it.
But you'd have a house.
Yeah. It's
If push comes to shove, you got a place to fucking
just
live.
don't think of it as an investment, but you should buy a house.
Because you're an adult, you're a human being. Buy a house.
All right.
I mean, adult's questionable.
Joel, can I borrow $12,000?
He got all upset over my V's and my M's sounding the same because my.
Did you not make a blog post on the main page of the website when I misspoke? That was a big deal.
You said JFK discovered the moon.
No. You said he launched the moon.
That's right. He launched the
it.
moon. He launched
That's
the
what it was.
moon.
Obviously misspoke.
Points and runs can be the same thing. The moon and Apollo mission are two totally different things.
Points is a more generic term. JFK launching the moon. JFK had nothing to do with the launching of the moon.
I understand JFK.
That was Roosevelt. Everybody knows that.
It was part of the New Deal.
Well, I was thinking Teddy Roosevelt, actually.
Oh, Teddy. Okay, never mind. It was part of the creation of the national parks.
There you go. Exactly. Like Mount Rushmore and the moon. We needed something up there at night. The sun was getting too much glory.
You're looking antsy, Joel. What's
All
wrong?
right, I gotta go. Bye.
I know I'm going to open myself up to problems. I'll just say this. Did not know you can't leave a can of Coke in a car in the middle of summer. Did not know this. It exploded.
Oh, like an unopened can of Coke?
Unopened can of Coke. Exploded. Like, it is, I had no idea this could happen. And so I didn't go in my car and be like, oh, this can exploded. I got in my car and I'm like, what the fuck? It's like if someone came in and violently murdered a can of Coke. There's just Coke everywhere. and I had to clean and everything, but like now it's just like fucking difficult to press any button on my radio. It's like so hard. And like every now and then I'll just be like, maybe I should just take some water and just like throw it in. Like it's basically stuck on one radio station.
Okay, we'll have to double check this for sure. But I think if you have deionized water, you can pour that on electronics to clean it. Don't do this without looking it up.
The plot thickens.
But if you look it up, that might be true.
Hey, I thought you were just phoning it in. Like at this point, it's just all autopilot.
What do you mean?
You don't even know what the podcast is like anymore. You barely listen to it.
What the fuck are you talking about? I listen to the podcast so much.
He edits the fucking thing. But that's what I'm saying, though. But it's just like one of those things that takes place in the back of your mind. Like you'll identify
Wait a minute.
mistakes.
What do you mean? That's what I'm saying. You said he doesn't listen to the podcast.
No, but you corrected him.
You go, that's what I'm saying.
You corrected him. You were like, "Oh, we've done a segment." Gus was like, "I don't remember that."
It's a lot of content. This fucker, how much content
This
did he
is
produce?
episode 140.
That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying it's your fault. I'm just saying
listen to it.
No, I'm not saying it's your fault. I'm just saying it's a natural thing where it's like you've done so many, your brain has become numb.
It's hard to listen to these guys in real life, but to have to like relive every fucking conversation and listen to it over again. From the hotel to catch our plane that we knew wasn't going to take off, and yet somehow all three of us were screaming at each other the entire way. And like you had your nav, Brandon had his nav system out on his phone. We were in the car.
I took the same way that every cab is taken.
He's the worst fucking navigator in the world.
No,
he's terrible, Gus. It's like, okay, if we're driving, we're gonna drive like 200 kilometers. We're going from Auckland to a place called Mata Mata.
120 miles.
You know that scene in Empire Strikes Back where the Millennium Falcon is flying through the asteroids?
Yeah.
That was what it was like.
I'm going to narrate my actions here to tell you what I'm doing. Brandon, you're the navigator, so he sits in the passenger seat in the front. He goes, okay. I said, so you get us to Mata Mata. Here's exactly what he does. In Auckland, we're in downtown Auckland. He goes, okay, looks it up. He goes, Mata Mata. Yeah, it's 200 kilometers away. He goes, take a left on Columbus, then take a right on Miller, then get on one and go south for 2 hours, and then take a left on Duckland. Okay, puts his phone away. I'm like, that's not what a fucking navigator does. And then when he's watching, I tell him he has to watch his phone. He literally would go, you were supposed to turn back there.
No. Yeah, but I told you where to turn before that. Bernie has this thing where like you're like, okay, you're gonna turn at this street and it's about half a mile up ahead. And it's just like he expects you like right when that turn to come up to tell him. But it's just like I told you where to turn. It's just like, okay, it's about 50 seconds away, 49 seconds, 48 seconds, 46 seconds.
You could be like, hey, the turn's coming up on your right there.
That's what I would do.
That's the street right there.
You know, it's just like, why don't you just tell me to turn right? You know, just like it would take you to like
that service was made for Bernie. That's the requirement.
You're like you have to act like a GPS. That's what you have to do. You're gonna say, here's a street up here, turn right there. Not in 4 miles, turn right.
It wasn't.
Then
4
in 5
miles.
miles, you go. That was the street.
It wasn't 5 miles. And like, so I told us how to get back to the airport, and it was a straight line, the same way all the cabs take. There were signs that said airport this way, and Bernie was like, "Why didn't we take the highway that was 5 miles out of our way?"
He took us off on a road. He took us through traffic lights while we were trying to catch a plane, as opposed to going down 35 like a freeway. He decides, let's go through the middle of town and go through.
It's just, as an American, it's disconcerting when you're headed towards an airport and you're not on a highway.
Right? We're gonna link dump the Bernie and I's routes, and you're gonna see how far out of the way his route went.
Why don't we talk about when we drove through the countryside and we took 40 turns?
Every single person I talked to, and any New Zealanders who are listening to this can back me up, said you want to avoid Hamilton by all costs and to take 1B. That was what they all said.
He's the worst.
No.
Slamming that table.
If you were on the Titanic as the navigator,
I can't slam the
you
table.
would say, there's an iceberg, and they would say, where? You go, in the water.
That's bullshit.
No, he would say, it's in the hole.
We
Crunch right there.
we hit it 10 minutes ago.
I feel like the trip would have been way more successful if I just had a hand on the wheel and I just took care of it that way.
Dude, you were free to drive at any point in time. You don't think you drove once. Did you ever drive?
No, I did not drive. So Bernie tried to kill me on the trip.
Okay, so Bernie tried to kill you in New Zealand?
Bernie tried to murder me in New Zealand.
Well, he obviously didn't succeed.
So would you like to hear this story?
Well, as an American, you get one freebie overseas.
You do.
So here, I want to tell you the story, and I'm glad Brandon didn't tell it without me here last time.
Nope.
So guys, I'm going to tell you the story of Brandon and the electric fence.
Oh my god.
I love it already.
So,
are there pictures? I'm gonna ask
there are, Gus. You want to see my face?
I want you to send them to me.
So, as you know, New Zealand has a reputation for having a lot of sheep. and livestock in general. But it's also very pretty and very scenic. So you have these like rolling green hills that are dotted with these little sheep. It's so gorgeous. And you can literally pull over anywhere on the road and stop, and it's the most scenic thing that you've seen in probably a year and a half of your life. And so we reached this one point where there was a kind of like a rest stop, and it was up on the top of one of these hills, and we were looking over this huge valley. And we were pointing out the sheep that were just across this fence from us. And I look down at the fence while Brandon is going, "This is amazing. This is the best thing I've ever seen." And I see this big sign saying,
No. It was not
fence.
a big sign.
I have a picture of the
There's
sign.
no billboard.
Well, not a billboard.
A billboard
obviously.
is not a billboard is beyond a big
Okay,
sign.
I get it. No, it was not a big sign. It was a small sign. It was a small sign that was located to the right of Bernie. It was nowhere near me.
Okay.
And
That's the sign.
Okay, it's not huge. It's not as big as I was
and
thinking.
it wasn't close to me. It was
It
completely
is yellow
by
though,
Bernie.
and it stands out based on the color.
And it shows a hand with lightning coming out.
And we were in the
Senator
middle of
Biden.
nowhere.
I think-
there's no way that could have been electrified.
We're gonna post this picture and then everyone can weigh in.
Please, you have to send me these pictures for the link, though.
So we're standing at the fence, and we're looking over the fence, and it's a barbed wire fence. And we're looking, and I see this electric fence sign. So immediately I think, how the fuck do I get Brandon to touch the electric fence? And so I was thinking so fast because the sign's right there, and it's yellow, and he's going to see it. And I said, yeah. I said, oh, be careful, because that wire is barbed wire, the top wire. I go, don't watch out. He goes, I know what barbed wire is. I'm stupid. And I was like, yeah. And then there's that other wire beyond it, which is just a bare
electric,
wire.
yeah.
And it's being held out by plastic posts. So I'm like, that's the electric wire. And I go, and keep in mind, dude, I was thinking fast here. I pointed the other wire, the bare wire, and I go, yeah, that's miniature. I go, that's miniature barbed wire. You can't even see the bar.
Yeah, because I forgot that you worked at a fencing company for 10 years. How do you know? How do you know that doesn't exist? Are you an expert?
I said the barbs are so small that you can't see them, but you can feel them. And he immediately goes, really? And reaches for it. I gotta tell you, Gus, it was like time stopped. He went, really? He's like reaching for this wire.
Did you intern at a fencing company? Was that your trade? Or you're just like complete expert? Look, what I'm saying is like, how do I know that's not true? Am I an expert on fences? Am I at the forefront of that technology?
Brandon, no one thinks you are an expert at fences.
Nobody.
Or
reading yellow signs.
You do not have to worry about that.
I'm so sorry. I trust my boss.
Jack, if
you
I
realize you're going to kill me in the future. You're going to tell me that something is dangerous. I'm going to be like, ho, 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 Bernie, you're trying to fuck with me. You're going to murder me.
Oh my god,
Jack! If I was an anime character, my eyes would have been like this big and like doing that quivering, watery thing.
Yeah.
I was like, oh please. He's like reaching for it. I'm like, it's gonna happen.
So what happened?
We were in the middle of nowhere. There was nothing electrified about it. There were no power lines anywhere.
So he grabs the wire and he's yanking on it, going, I don't feel the barbs. I'm like, what?
Yanking it? No, I barely touched it.
It's like touching.
What was your explanation, Bernie? Oh, it probably didn't shock you because you had rubber shoes and you were saying.
That's the only thing I can guess is that he had rubber-soled shoes on. You ever
watch my friend?
It might not have had current running through it because typically, have you been around electric fences much?
Because they pulse.
They pulse.
Yeah. So I tried to get him to hold on to it a little longer. I even thought about grabbing him and then shocking myself, like grounding us so that he would get the shock. It was so disappointing.
Just
Such a letdown.
I'm surprised you didn't like throw a bucket of water on him. Just, is that gonna push it over the edge? What do I gotta do here?
I grabbed his hand and licked my finger and stuck it in the cigarette lighter.
Finally, Bernie just stabbed him. So we're gonna take the anticipation and just stab him. And
So what happened? Did he go like, I was kidding, they're not miniature bar, I was trying to get you electrocuted? Like, what did he say after that?
He laughed like an idiot.
I was so disappointed, Gus. It ruined like the rest of the day for me. He was holding the wire and pulling on it, trying to feel the miniature barbs.
I wasn't holding on it and yanking on it. I barely touched it. I like skimmed my finger on it because I didn't think there was like little pieces of barbed wire, but it could have been really coarse. It could have been like if you slid your hand on it, it could have been very uncomfortable. And you could have been like, that was very uncomfortable. I'm not going to cross this wire.
He was very incredulous after I told him what I tried to do, too. He was like, I could have been killed. What would you have done if I had died out here? Like, the electric fence is going to kill him. Plus, there's national health care, right? In New Zealand? He'd have been covered.
Once again, Bernie explaining his expertise on electric fences.
Cows are more valuable than you are. And they wouldn't
No, they are. In New Zealand? It's like 2,000 cows.
God damn, you were young as shit.
Hell yeah, that's right.
My birthday is like 2 days before Valentine's Day. That sucks balls, man.
My
'Cause
brother-
it's like you can't enjoy like all the attention you get because you have to immediately be focusing on like making someone else feel better. No, look, don't get me wrong.
Jesus, Brandon.
Don't get me
Come
wrong.
on.
No. Look.
God.
I've done like some awesome. I always go all on Valentine's. Like it.
I have to make someone
if
feel
you want-
good about being in a relationship with me.
No.
Jesus
Because
Christ.
normally it sucks otherwise.
No. Like, I really go all out. Like it's. I love the holiday. I'm one of those people that really gets behind it. It's just fun. But on another level, it's like, hey, like why don't we make this about me for a while? It's like,
Man.
but I'm alone this year.
Well, you can enjoy Valentine's Day by yourself then.
Yes, I will.
So in my old house, I have a media room, which is just like where it has a screen on the wall and it has a projector and all this stuff. So I said, Brandon, I don't have any place to put this big screen, this projector in my new house. Do you guys want to take it and put it in the annex, which is Brandon and the live action guys are moving to the annex, a new space we rented next door because we've outgrown this space at the office. He says, sure. I said, you can also have the couch in there. He says, great. I said, the only thing is you have to go get it because I'm going to be out of town and I need you to move that stuff out of there so that I can come back and just work on everything else. He goes, okay.
That happened.
My wife explained what it was like to have Chris and Brandon show up at our house and move a couch.
Downstairs.
Move a couch and just disconnect the projector from the post and just take it away.
He chose Chris to come with him?
Here's what my wife said. My wife said that she went up there and they had the couch. They had the couch sideways up against the door, like sideways. Like
That's not true.
and she's like, you have to turn it end to end to get it through the door. And he's like, oh, okay.
No, you really think that happened?
Yes.
You really think that happened? We had the couch completely sideways. There's like,
no fit. Then they couldn't get it out. They were ready to give up. She goes, well, why don't you take the legs off? And Brandon says, you can do that.
We already tried. We unscrewed them and they wouldn't come out.
So then she said she watches Chris try to unscrew the legs with a screwdriver, and she had to tell him on every leg other way to screw because he kept screwing right to loosen it.
Righty tighty, lefty loosey.
He's like cranking his heart. She goes, other way.
We live in a digital world, Bernie.
So they finally get the legs.
That's what you pay us for.
They finally get the legs off this couch. They can't get it through the door. So my wife suggests, well, why don't we just take the door off the frame, and that way we can do it. And they say, okay. So they get the screwdriver to start unhooking the door from the hinges.
Uh-huh.
And my wife did the first one. Like she unhooked the hinge from the wall.
From the frame, of course.
From the frame. They start taking the hinges off the door, which will leave the hinges laying there as they try to jam the couch to the doorway. So my wife goes, no, don't do that. So they just undid both the hinges from the door and from the wall.
Oh,
and
my
that
God.
was in a pile. When I got home, that was in a pile somewhere.
So they didn't even put the door back on?
No, we offered and Jordan said not
Why
to.
you offer? You just do it.
No, because they're moving other stuff out of there, so they might have want to kept the door out. Like they had other big crap.
Oh, there are other big couches in there?
No, they had like big tables and stuff. So we asked and we offered, and she said no.
I know you're mad. I'm actually in trouble for telling the story because I said I have to tell the story of the podcast, and she said maybe you just have something for us, and I go no, this is very So then somehow in the process they punch a hole in the wall, which I have to fair now.
Really?
Yeah. And somehow that happens. Then they try to get the projector down, and that has two screws, so they can't do that. So
we got the projector down.
Yeah, but the post is there, and all the cables are all like frayed out and everything. And I guess Brandon, you felt bad for punching a hole in the wall, so he thought, I'll take his speakers off the wall. He destroyed $1,400 for the speakers.
Wow.
What happened to them?
You know when something's screwed to the wall? When you unscrew the screws, it falls off the wall.
Yes.
So he let the speaker fall, and it busted the posts off the
Oh,
back where
my
the
God.
speaker wires go in.
Oh, my God.
That can be fixed.
So it was like, and then where it fell down the wall, it like scraped into
my God.
gouges in the wall.
There was a big scrape. This is factually true. This is the one part of the story that's 100% true.
That's the new homeowner's problem.
I came back, I'm like, what the fuck happened in this room? And she goes, what's wrong with those people?
We got a 3-cushion couch out of the second floor of your house, downstairs, around corners, outside.
Which window did you throw it out?
Yeah, seriously.
You only punched one hole in the wall.
That was my bad.
So enjoy your new couch and your projector.
Well done.
That you guys will like. It turns out I don't have anywhere to put the speakers in the new house anyway, so it's all okay. I just thought it was a funny story. I came back, it was like every room was like cleaned out, and this one room was just like it looked like a tornado in it.
Felt
That's
really
awesome.
bad. But we took all the projector stuff out. We just didn't know how much to take. Like, do you want us to like go through the ceiling and take out the wire?
I just imagine Brandon in the room punching holes in the wall. I don't know what to take.
I'm so angry.
What am I doing?
I picture him punching holes in the wall looking for the cables. Not in this wall.
I bet they didn't take the door off the hinges, they'd still be trapped in the room. Water.
Couch sideways. My ass, dude.
Oh my god.
Shake, go and lift that couch.
Okay.
You've seen Chris and I.
Yeah, it's true.
Really
That's what I was
small.
surprised about. Chris would do.
Like, we don't have houses. We don't have wives.
You have
we don't have to
furniture.
do this stuff.
There's always a reason why you don't know basic stuff.
It's basic, but basic is like, it's relative. It's basic to you
Basic
based
is
on
like
your experience.
relative.
No, your definition of basic is relative to your experiences. So you think something
He
is
just came up with a
basic
shirt idea.
because you learned it based on your own experience.
But basic would be across all boards. That's why it's basic. It's like the base level of knowledge that all other knowledge is built on.
How do but like everybody has a different definition of basic. That's what the problem we have right here. There's just like no uniform standard where
Basic-
everyone agrees. What
Basic is like relative, man.
Basic people
man.
define what basic information is relative to their own experiences.
There is a small baseline of information.
Oh, there's a small baseline
that you can know and
Yes.
apply to different scenarios.
This is
For
not
instance-
one of them.
For instance, I'm going to throw this out there.
Okay.
Gravity.
Yes.
When you unscrew something for the wall, it will go down the wall and smash.
You just like unscrew it and wait for it to fall. It was really heavy.
I love how high Brandon's voice gets when he's defending himself. It's so entertaining.
The speakers weren't even part of it. The speakers were just like a bonus. I feel bad about breaking this hole in the wall. Maybe he won't notice if I break all of his audio.
Maybe even it out by putting more holes.
Yeah.
Gouge
Oh,
holes.
wait, those holes were there.
I tried really hard to come on Sunday to help fix it.
On the way out the door, Chris stabbed the dog.
Oh God, I'm sorry.
And moved. Stab.
Thanks, Bernie.
Not a species.
Persia's what? Persia is Iran.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Brandon. So
No,
you're,
have you been? I don't want to say anything bad about my Southern Louisiana family.
so you're Iranian.
But they're like specific. It's like you go there, and it's like nothing like you've ever seen before.
They're genetically specific.
They're not a different species per se.
Yeah, not technically. But you go there, and you're just kind of like, oh, these people are just like a different species. Have you been?
I have been to Southern
They're
Louisiana.
wonderful. It's just different.
I used to go to, you grew up in Houston, right?
Yeah, I grew up there.
Yeah. That's what I just asked.
Yeah, I'm fucking answering you. No, we're not starting this thing. We're not starting this podcast.
Always restate the question and the answer. That's a good interview would do. Did you ever go to New Orleans when you were in high school? Did you ever just like road trip to New Orleans? You and all your guys, we moved them up into the loft. You guys were all in the center for the production area, and you had all 4 stainless steel tables together. And after like the first 15 days, it looked like they had just like licked their hands all over. It was just disgusting. And so I was up there
It's
fucking
our territory.
cleaning, and I threw away the goddamn calendar. Stainless steel is the lie, right?
That is like the greatest lie ever told.
Yeah.
I guess the mini doesn't permanently stain, but it looks like shit all the time.
Yeah.
All the time.
Regardless of who's sitting there, right? Isn't that what you're saying? It looks like shit
No.
for everybody.
Dude,
that's what you're saying. That it does nothing to do with the people
Drastic
sitting there.
difference between your table and everyone else's
It's the
table.
exact opposite.
Yeah, right. Who had a worse table than you? I mean, I want to get for something.
Oh god, the feet.
Is it getting to you?
Yeah.
It is pretty gammy, isn't it?
You guys are crazy.
Come over here.
How do you, so that's the question, though. How do you know when that's done? Like, now that you know how beer is made, doesn't that make you like beer less?
This is not how beer is
It really-
made. No. This cannot be how beer is made.
But I don't
There's
understand.
no way.
I don't understand any long process stuff. Like, how do people find out that if you do this and then leave it for a month or whatever?
Like
that-
pickling?
Fuck around,
Yeah,
right?
or like
who left was it a cucumber? And
Somebody probably left it on the floor, and they
Who
were like,
discovered
"Oh, I
the-
found this a month later." It's
discovered
fine.
There's vinegar on the floor for a month?
pickling makes sense though because they need to keep shit around without refrigeration. So that's like.
But then how do you know that?
You just want to store shit. You try to figure out a way
But
to
how do
store
you know
stuff.
that vinegar? Do you just try a bunch of different stuff?
I
People
guess you
figure
do.
shit out, dude. It's like put the circle in the circle, and the thing falls in.
What? There you go.
Like the baby toy.
It's all
right?
circles, all the way
Put
down.
the triangle in the triangle. You can't put the circle in the triangle.
Yeah, you put a circle in a circle.
So
and you
that's
end
what
up
the
with a
vinegar
cucumber.
was. You figured it out.
I'm with you. I'm on the same page.
So, did you get bevved up?
That's
I
okay.
did.
On
I
vinegar?
did.
I'm so annoyed because I didn't go to PAX, and apparently I missed out on Drunk Bernie.
You did.
And I've only seen Drunk Bernie twice.
I tried to explain to Ashley to you, I will you not see me this drunk again in a very long time. What was the second time you saw me drunk? I know the one time. That was at Gus's housewarming party when Gus finally came out of his shell. He had people over to his house, we all got the whole party got so freaking hammered. I showed up with a bottle of tequila, slammed it on the table and said, "I'm getting drunk," and I immediately started feeding Gavin drinks, and then everyone started drinking. I remember, well, I don't want to call anybody out. People got very drunk. The whole party got drunk, and Gus never invited anyone over. Again. That's basically the way that worked.
Now every time you hang out with Gus, it's always one-on-one.
Yeah.
It's like Gus and Esther, and
That's
then
true.
the extra seat.
Didn't you get drunk at PAX Prime a few years ago and you were at a bar and you handed out your phone to a bunch of people and let them tweet from the Rooster Teeth account?
That is true. So when people have parties at PAX. Oops, I lost my mic.
Me, I'm just like trying to meet my face.
Yeah, I get mad at you because you guys keep talking about the video. And I'm like, I'll take it down, just stop talking.
Well, we have to keep talking about it because you leave it on there.
No, you stop and then I'll stop. Because then if I cut out,
this
then
is
you have
the
nothing to
first
talk
time
about.
I've ever heard
See,
this. I bitched about it
This
constantly.
is the communication in between with Gus's earpiece.
I don't hear shit. You don't tell me anything.
Why do you wear the fucking earpiece then?
I hear other people saying stuff. I've never heard him say that is what I should say.
Who talks in that earpiece? I thought it was you.
Normally Brandon. He's never told me stop talking about the video and I'll cut away.
But why do you guys have communication through the fucking earpiece? Why don't you just communicate?
We do.
So why are you talking now? When we're on set, you're talking to him about it during the production.
Because it's drama and it's funny.
But I know, but you could talk. I'm saying you could talk about it.
I yell at him all the time.
You know what? Listen, next time you're on set, I want you to have a mic that only goes into Gus's ear, and that's it. Even when you're right here, I want you to be able to talk into Gus's ear. I should be able to at this point.
What do
May,
they even mean?
They
I'm
should
just
let
some, I
me
don't know what they
fly the plane for like an hour.
What did George Clooney get up in the air?
At 10 million, he got a
wings.
Oh, I mean, like
card.
it was 10 million was the number.
Yeah, he got like some kind of silver card or something. Or was it 5 million?
I thought he got wings.
I'd love a silver card.
He got wings. Like an angel.
Oh wait, you mean the
No. You're like the little wings thingy.
Wings that you pin in your shirt?
Yeah.
They give those to kids every time they get on a
No,
goddamn
but they don't.
plane.
It's like not as special. This one's probably gold.
When I flew back from Australia,
Yeah, according to Brandon, once you get like $1 million in the bank, they give you a lollipop. Isn't that the way rewards work on these major things?
They give you a really nice set of wings. You can pin to.
They don't.
Didn't they in the movie?
I can tell you what happened.
real.
At $1 million,
But he asked what they did in the movie.
it's 10 million. I'm telling you what they did. They gave him a card. I didn't ask once what they did. I told you what they did, and you tried to correct me with you're like fucking Reddit. Somebody has the right piece of information and tells you the right piece of information, and some jackass is sitting there going, "No, it's this. No, it's this. No, it's this," and then he blames it on me and said, "You asked me why. I told you what they did in the movie. They gave the guy a goddamn silver card, and then what's his name? The dude with the big fucking mustache. Not Sam Shepard. Sam Elliott. Thank you, JJ. JJ's our film buff. Comes out and shakes his hand as like American Airlines ambassador pilot. Okay? That's what fucking happened in the movie.
Can we all just let it go?
Here's what happened to me in real life. At 1 million miles, American gave me gold status for life, which means you can basically get upgrades to first class on a normal flight.
free?
But you got to spend points
have
to get
points,
them.
yeah.
But at least you can, even if you don't have gold status, you can't even get the upgrades. Like,
Okay.
You're just stuck with the seat you got. And then at 2 million miles, they gave me platinum for life, which is like board first, all that other stuff. Which boarding first sounds really like but you actually get overhead space.
yeah, close to
Boarding
you.
first is awesome.
Yeah, so it's much better than standing. Like I never have to stand that big long line waiting to get on the plane because I'm always like in the first 4 or 5 people to get on.
I can.
So apparently you lied to us, and you know absolutely nothing about Doctor Who. I learned after our spoiler cast.
No, I totally do.
The internet
took a
is
lot of
mad at
heat.
you.
Lot of heat.
I was trying to be a bit boisterous, so I get the being a dick. That was a mistake.
They said you were feeding wrong information.
I did not see a lot of things that were specifically wrong. I saw some things that were like, Gallifrey is a race, Time Lord is a class, which I don't think makes sense
class.
within
It's not
the
a fucking
context.
pen and paper RPG.
Yeah, it's not like people goes like, you're not a human. He's like, no, I'm a Time Lord. That's like saying, no, I'm a general. That doesn't make sense.
Yeah, but that's like being born a plumber.
Yeah, so I'm pretty sure his race is time. But everybody was I upset a lot of people, and I feel really bad about that.
Do you really?
I honestly do.
I don't believe
I
you.
thought being like a bit, I don't know whether critical or it might make it entertaining, but everybody just got really mad because I was being really mean, and I felt bad because
You
I like
cannot.
Doctor Who a
Here,
lot.
let me let you in on a little secret. As someone who makes people angry, you can never feel bad about it, and you can never apologize about it, because then you're just a pussy.
Yeah.
You're in it. You're in the shit. Just fucking keep digging down and putting that shit all over you.
Didn't you call David Tennant a prick or something? What'd you say about
Well,
him?
the reasoning is like, everybody loves Tenet so much, and every time I'm like, I like Matt Smith, they're like, no, you're wrong, Tenet this, Tenet that. But
No,
so
those
I
people
said,
have a
fuck
point.
him.
Tennant is the bollocks.
He's very good at what he does.
Oh, that's not what you said in the spoiler cast.
You can't prove it.
Cop out.
I had to do the thing for the recap.
I want to point something out, though. I want to point out the fact that Brandon fought like hell to have the Doctor Who spoiler cast. Because I was saying we shouldn't have spoiler casts anymore, because my argument against spoiler casts is that, A, it is a limited audience because it's people who like us and listen to our podcast, and B, have watched that thing, whatever it is, to the point where they've seen it all and nothing can be ruined for them. So it's a smaller segment of the audience, but then it's like a distilled part of the audience too, where it's just a bunch of people who really care about that thing, and anything we say, they're going to be like, you guys are dicks.
It's just asking for trouble, pretty much.
Yeah, it did not go well.
Annoying.
Where'd you go?
Just sports clips.
I mean, it's no
It's
Ray
close.
haircut.
It's right over there.
That's true. Did he get the?
I know. And then you got after me. You said you should go to Birds, and I said, well, where's there a Birds close to here? And he said, oh, out there on E6. That's fucking 20 minutes away.
How am I supposed to know?
Close to here.
No. You just said close, and I just assumed.
No, he said
well,
to
why
here.
would
I said close to here.
Gus?
I said
Why
close
would
to
Gus
here.
go to a barber?
Barbara backs me up. I said close to
Close
here.
to his office.
I have
Why?
memory like a brick house.
I thought we were podcast bros.
Did you get the MVP? Did you get your hair washed too?
You did your time?
I did my time, man.
I'd start looking for a new place eventually.
Yeah,
Because I live around here.
Move to that apartment complex I found.
The one that you presented this morning at the meeting, and you're like, "Hey, there's this new apartment complex. It's not in the best area.
it's sketchy.
It's not the safest
No,
place."
and you're like, it's in a real shady area, but it's really cheap. How much is a one bedroom? $1,000.
Yeah, that's not cheap.
For Austin now it is.
Yeah, Austin has blown
it's
up quite
crazy. But no, it's so cool because it's very small and there's like 20 rooms and 2 of them are inhabited. So the whole company could move in there.
Oh, really? Just take
which
it
would
over?
be really cute. But I was talking to some of the neighbors there and or people who live there, and they were like, yeah, it's mostly okay. But that house across the street.
The two people who live there? Or?
Yeah. They like the only people who live in that complex. They're like, yeah, it's mostly okay, except that house across the street. And I was like, oh, what's wrong with it? They're like, oh, it just gets kind of crazy. Like, we'll come home, we'll find used condoms on the street. And I was like, whoa, like,
Maybe it's a fraternity.
no, there's like little kid toys.
Well, why don't
in
you
the back,
go to the complex? But look, we will rent every single room in this complex for $200 off a
I
month.
floated that out there. That's why I was telling everybody at the meeting. I guess I just need
Plus,
to
you
work
didn't
on my
throw that out
sales
there
and
at all.
shit.
You get
If you
free
could get
condoms in the street.
There
You
you
didn't mention
go.
any of this
Free
earlier.
condoms, man.
I don't know
think
if
of
they
all the
were
money you
used or
saved.
not.
Either way.
I guess you could turn them inside out.
Yeah.
You guys, no. You opened the floodgate here.
No, that was nice.
I just followed through.
That was nice. I give you credit on that one. That's pretty good.
Your Comcast is talking to Apple TV.
They're talking to Apple.
Sorry,
They're not talking to
excuse me.
a
They're
fucking
talking
little
to
hardware
Apple
box.
what is
about like basically you subscribe to Comcast on your Apple TV.
Really?
Really, that's cool.
Yeah, but have it like I guess.
So it's like you bypass Comcast.
Well,
like you're taking Comcast out of the equation.
No, you are not. You're still using Comcast. You still have to pay Comcast. So
Yeah,
essentially,
but
what
you're
this would be a replacement for their set-top boxes.
Oh,
Sure.
okay.
So you're not using their tech.
You're
and-
still fucking paying.
But you're
them.
still paying.
You are.
them.
No. I'm saying I agree. You still have their service, but you don't have to deal with them. Like the hardware is through Apple and service
Yeah,
through
and-
Apple.
and I think
so. They're
that's-
taking themselves out of the equation. They're like, we know you don't like us.
Well, even Time Warner. I had a TiVo box when I had cable through Time Warner, and when I dropped that, it was like I still have TiVo, but it's still Time Warner's feed going through my box, and I still hate Time Warner.
Yeah, it's
Hear that, Time Warner?
the downside is Comcast has spent
Yeah,
a
now
lot
I
of
know.
money
Maybe.
trying to develop their X1 platform for like their DVR and all of that management shit. And I guess
hopper.
people haven't picked it up, so it's
Get
like
in
at this
the
point it's like
hopper.
fuck it, just write it off. Let another company who does interfacing better never messed up. Like Kramer had the overlap between
Did
them.
you see Wayne Knight? There was a rumor that he was dead. He died in a
Yeah.
car accident or something, and he had to come out on Twitter and be like, "Nope, not dead, still
I
alive."
got really scared when I saw that.
Yeah?
I think it was on TMZ, right? Where they.
I don't know.
Do you think they'll?
They hit and spread though.
You saw that all over Twitter. It was on like CNN. They're like, people saying you're dead. Would you for a second think maybe I am?
No, because I'm not a fucking
If
idiot.
it's on CNN.
No, for
like
a second,
holy
I would
shit,
not
like,
think I'm dead.
Did something happen to me?
Jesus.
No, because the
Fuck.
fact that you're seeing that and reading that means you're just okay.
Or you go like,
Yeah,
"Hey,
but it could be like ghosts.
I'm breathing.
And
I'm
that, like,
clearly
you die
alive."
and you still are awake.
Like,
Like every movie has
The Sixth
different dead
Sense?
rules. Yeah, The Sixth Sense.
Yeah.
So I was joking about feeling young while those guys are gone. I was making fun of Jordan a lot this weekend because he had his party at 6 p.m. And when Jordan says 6 p.m., he means 6 p.m.
Mm-hmm.
But we got there and we're there for like a few hours, had some drinks.
Did you
and I
get
was
there
like-
at 6?
I got there at 6:45 or 7. Only because I live with Jordan, I understand how
very
anal he is about it. Like he doesn't understand culturally.
So you
when
showed
say
up an
6
hour later.
I showed up an hour late.
I know
but
how anal he is, so I showed up late.
I was still. Oh, come on! I got to be reasonable here. Yeah, I don't know if that's a cultural thing because my parents or my dad is Middle Eastern, and there it's like you show up 2.5, 3 hours late. So I don't know if that's a thing, if everybody's like that, or if it's just them. But it's like it's rude to show up on time.
Yeah,
if I had a party and it was like 9 p.m. and someone showed up, I'd still be setting up. I'd be like, "The fuck are you doing here?" And they would just be sitting on the couch while I'm doing other stuff because no one else would be there. It wasn't even being recorded.
What was in the belly button?
What was it?
It was lint.
After the fact, Brandon informed me. Yeah, I haven't showered in like 3 days. I've been up here for
Bro! It wasn't 3 days.
Oh, God.
It's like 2
You're on
days.
DVD Crunch.
Take a shower.
It was like 2.5
I was
days.
here. We don't have a shower here.
Yet.
Go home. Take a shower. Come back.
It's like an hour.
But I got
round
like
trip.
just like a mouthful of Brandon's belly button.
Wow, we don't know. Everybody did everything right, but it's still spreading. People would absolutely panic. Am I weird for not wanting to shake hands anymore? Like officially.
To be fair, Brendan, you don't ever like shaking hands with
I know,
anyone.
but officially saying no under any circumstance.
I've been with him one time. We were out, and someone goes to shake his hand, and you're like, "I just washed my hands." You actually said that to a guy.
Well, you saying that because your hands were wet?
No, he said it because they were clean.
And this guy's disgusting.
I had some worse. At one point, we were hanging out, and you shook somebody's hand, and then while they were there, you immediately took out one of those antibacterial things and put it in and washed. That's worse.
When I was out a couple weeks ago, you sat in my seat.
I did.
And apparently you put my earpiece in your ear.
Gross.
And when I came back the next week, it was covered in earwax.
My girlfriend is so upset about that.
It was.
She keeps trying to get me to clean my ears.
So
but I don't like Q-tips.
disgusting and gross. It was like, the thing was orange. We threw it away. I think Patrick wore gloves to get it.
Are you mad though? Because you had you went through the same thing.
Yeah, but I wouldn't have put someone else's thing in my ear.
Taking this information in stride. Wow, that's
You're like-
amazing. How dirty are your fucking ears?
I don't know. I can't see.
Like
Look,
you took
hold on.
great.
Can you hear?
When you took it out, did you look at it and be like, "Oh, I should wipe that off"?
No, I did not.
No,
It
you
wasn't
did. I know you
intentional.
didn't because it was still
not-
there.
I wasn't like, fuck this.
Probably because it took like 20 minutes and 4 people to help him yank it out of his ear. That's why. He went home and took a nap.
When I heard about that
afterwards.
I felt really bad, and I meant to apologize. And I'm apologizing to you right now.
That's disgusting.
I didn't think of it. I'm sorry. I had no idea.
It was just sitting out here.
Sorry. So it had a week to like just ferment.
It was like orange.
That's how you make vodka.
That's the slurry.
Oh yeah.
I clean Joe the cat's ears. I do.
Do you want to clean my
How do you
ears?
No, I don't. Ugh.
I'm just
clean
afraid
Joe's
if
ears?
Q-tips freak me, like putting that
What's
in my
that?
ear
How do you-
freaks me out.
He's a Q-tip. Cleans ears.
You clean
You're
your
not
ears.
supposed to put them in your ears.
That's adorable.
That's bullshit.
Do you
I
clean
know
your
it
ears?
says on the package.
I know it says it not to do it, but whatever.
That's just a safety. They just say that because they're just covering their bases. They're like,
Yeah, because it's
Covering their
dirt.
bases.
Yeah,
Is there any other product in the world though that is literally the thing you're not supposed to use it
it's like-
for? It's what you use it for.
Your car goes up to 100. The speedometer goes to 140 miles an hour. Don't drive it above 70.
Yeah.
Wink.
Yeah.
Don't put it in your ear. Wink.
They're pretty clean now.
I always
think.
love that.
Yeah, because it's all in the fucking thing. We threw it away.
One of them's clean.
If you're gonna get Brandon's attention, do it from the left side.
No shit.
What? That there was
the
an
deal.
accident, but it was
It's
specifically
something
not
like-
their fault.
I think it is.
90
Yeah.
or 90, above 90% of accidents are human error.
Probably all accidents are human error.
Well, there's some that are like, oh, my car broke,
on fire.
tire popped off or whatever. I don't know car.
I don't know car.
No car.
I only know robot car. But like, there's certain things like, manufacturer errors and stuff that cause accidents or, whatever. But with robot cars, oh man, the future is here.
Oh man, the future. Listen, it's here. It's really coming, and it's like, to me, it's a total game changer. Because if you will like be like, remember we used to fucking drive these things all the time when we have to do that.
I know.
You will totally think like that. You will think it'll be a change of like, yeah, we used to get in these cars and we would have to drive them all the time. Like, see the wheel, we would have to turn that. And
I can't believe
pedals with our
No,
kids.
it'd be. There used to be a wheel here.
There will always be a wheel, I think, for at least for like 5-10 years. There'll
What
be a
would
wheel.
scare me though is once you had rival companies, they're obviously going to start like negative ads. kind of like the way Samsung is bashing the iPhone. So it's like, what negative ads, like what would they make you feel about getting like another brand of car?
Car companies
like,
don't necessarily have negative ads, though. Car companies always extol the features of their car. It's that right? They never talk about the other car.
It's different. Yeah, it's like our car was so much better than this other car.
But they're
it's
not
like
based on
it's
technology,
not like
though.
a political ad where it's like,
Well, no,
the Hyundai.
It's fueled by
It
school
promised
children.
that it would have 26 miles per hour, but
for the last 50 years, car ads haven't been about features. They've been about like way of life. Like, oh, this guy has a really cool, like hot girlfriend. You want to buy the car. But now, if we're getting to the point where it's about
you want to buy a car.
No, that is the epitome. That is the most intelligent thing anybody has ever said about the advertising industry.
Most intelligent thing anyone's ever said.
Advertising
Maybe in the
industry.
history of this
It was fun.
podcast.
But I mean, if you're going to technology and features, then I think you would see that. You'd see the negative ads, but it's like
They already car ads are all about technology and features already. This car has park assist. This car has, active sonar cruise control.
We were in that car that we were in where, how some cars have a backup camera?
Yeah.
This car had like a above camera.
So you wouldn't be scared about falling asleep if you're going cross country and this robot car taking you to like Deliverance?
No.
Like you wake up
I
and you're like,
trust the robots.
Where am I? What is going on?
Do you think about that when you're in a car with a driver?
Exactly.
No.
That's the thing.
Or do you think about it when you're on a plane?
Yeah.
Yes, actually I do. It's
think
terrifying.
they're just going to drive you to...
Oh yeah, I think about like rogue pilots. I hate
rogue pilots.
Yeah, I'm terrified of flying, and I'm like, oh man,
you know what?
I
You
hope
may
this
have
pilots had a good week. I hope things are going well.
Where
for
would a
him.
rogue pilot want to take you?
I don't know, man. What happened to that flight? What happened to that flight that disappeared?
Nobody knows. Is that a rhetorical question? Because nobody knows.
If we knew, don't you think we'd be off the coast of Perth somewhere?
Hey,
Welcome to the Rooster Teeth Podcast, coming to you live from beautiful Austin, Texas. This week featuring Gus Sorolla. That's your fucking cue.
I thought you were
You're
going to
next
introduce
in
us.
The line. You are next.
Don't you
Have
introduce everybody?
No.
No. You've been on the
have you
podcast
seen-
recently.
295 podcasts. You've never introduced everybody.
Brandon's shit-eating grin. He's like,
I'm gonna go through every single
Featuring
one.
Gus Sorolla.
Brandon Farmahini.
Barbara Dunkelman.
Blaine Gibson. Pictures of themselves flexing, and it's weird, and I don't necessarily want that. I
Everyone
guess.
gets their thing. People send me everything
Puns.
that has a pun in it or a dick in it.
So that's your thing, Barb? That's what you get?
That's-
People
yeah.
tell me to die. Is that a thing? Is that my like shtick? Like, oh, it's Brandon.
Oh, Brandon, why did you go die?
Kill yourself.
Why are you alive? Well, also, there's so many like methods for females to use contraceptives. You know?
Yeah, but I think if it's like first date, when you're starting out, no matter
most
what,
of them
you're
are-
gonna use a condom.
Yeah.
Whoa. First date, you have sex?
There's no rules.
I guess.
We're adults.
Well,
it's like the Outback Steakhouse. No
Just
rules. just
peanuts
right.
everywhere.
and then you got a blooming onion, and you're like,
I know how to talk.
I had something gross happen to me right before we came on air.
You said you were going to talk about
I
it.
didn't want to show it just because it's like it's stupid. But I went to the bathroom. I was washing my hands, and something happened when I hit the soap dispenser. That like soap went right through my fingers, and it squirted in a forceful jet right down on my shoe, and it looked like I jizzed all over my shoe.
I've seen jizz on shoes. That looked like a booger.
This looked like a booger.
Yeah.
You've seen jizz on shoes?
Yeah, I've seen
Yeah,
jizz
why?
on stuff.
Where
I'm
did
just
you-
saying, like, as a
Can
guy.
you say whose it was?
I've never come on a shoe.
No. Well, not intentionally,
Wait,
but
was
like,
it your cup?
yeah.
Do you just go around?
So you would be not be my cum.
You think he's staring at someone else's jizz on his shoe? If that happens, you have a
When did that
fetish.
happen?
If that happens,
Do you just go around like jerking off on stuff?
No, I'd be
It's
like,
just
you tune out in an airport bathroom, you don't realize that somebody in the stall next to you.
See,
just-
I just think this.
we've been having a problem. Brandon and I have been having a problem for several days now, where I could send him IMs, but he couldn't send any to me. Days back and forth going between our offices trying to troubleshoot this. Right before the podcast started, he sent me a text. I was like, oh, sweet, I got it. Or no, I was like, I got it. What'd you do? He's like, oh, I restarted the IM client.
You hadn't tried that?
That wasn't step one. Days of walking back and forth between offices.
That wasn't the first thing you tried?
it's like every time it didn't work, I was always doing something more important. Like, I never wanted to actually troubleshoot. But no.
Was everything he sent you in quotes too?
I wouldn't know it and didn't get anything.
Days of
He thought I-
troubleshooting on your end, not Brandon's end.
For a while.
Obviously, yeah.
He thought I was ignoring him. Then I was getting mad at him because he wasn't sending me stuff because we were working on something and I walked to his office and I said like, hey.
Yeah, I told you to send this.
Yeah, send me an IM with this. I wait, nothing happens. I go, hey, what's going on? I need that stuff. He's like, I sent it to you.
Well, the thing is, though, everyone else, I didn't have a problem with any other person on AIM, so I didn't figure restarting it would work. Because it's just a problem with you.
What? It's a problem with you. I was.
Yeah, but no, but I'm saying like no other. I didn't have an issue with anyone else. So I was like, can't be the client. There must be something issue with Gus's computer.
Issue with your
Do you
computer.
think
There's a lot of
the
issues with Gus.
you think the government ever has problems like this? It's like, I needed the launch codes. Why didn't you send them to me? He's like, oh, I just needed to restart AIM.
China's ignoring me on IM again.
So, do you ever feel like you disappoint your father-in-law?
No.
Where is this coming from, Brandon?
No. I had dinner with my girlfriend's dad, and he's a very, very big, strong Mexican man. You know,
Like me?
Yeah, no, and
you don't have to laugh that hard. Control room, we got it. It's a joke.
And he works like in this fancy like insurance company, and he doesn't speak a ton of English. And I'm not exactly, I feel like, the ideal strong boyfriend.
No?
No. Like I can't fix a shelf. You know, which to me is like the ultimate sign.
You can't fix a shelf.
Yeah.
That's,
That's
the
the
example you go
ultimate-
with.
that's
One
the
time,
ultimate
no,
thing.
one
That's the
time
ultimate sign of
my door was
manhood right
fucked up, so I had to hire a service called Rent-A-Husband. And they came out and fixed my door.
Way
What
to
was I gonna
emasculate
do? They did
yourself.
a great job. But anyway, we're all having dinner.
You rented a husband?
Yeah.
Did you have to cook him dinner or anything when he showed up?
Oh, yeah. It's
Give him
okay,
a
though. My
handy?
ovaries were quivering.
I bet.
So we're all having dinner. My girlfriend, myself, and then her parents. And he doesn't speak. He doesn't really speak English, but every now and then he'll talk to me, and it's, he's really trying. It means a lot. One of the things he asked was, "What wine do you recommend?" And I know shit about that, so I was just like, Merlot. And it was like, I really don't know. And it was like this awkward moment. And then eventually I just ordered a Moscato for myself, which is like a very sweet wine. And the freaking waiter came out with like a dessert glass. It was like the most feminine thing they could have brought out. And when I grabbed it, it was like my hand took up the whole thing. And I was just staring at him. And he was just looking at me. And he just like closed his eyes and like shook his head.
God.
I felt so bad for her.
Have you never seen Sideways?
I have seen Sideways, yeah.
I'm not gonna drink fucking Merlot.
Merlot. He's like,
Yeah.
if anybody orders Merlot, I'm out. That's the only reason I know Merlot.
What's wrong with Merlot?
That's what I was channeling. I was like, okay.
That's the extent of your wine
that
knowledge.
makes them angry.
Yeah, I didn't know what else to say.
If you don't pay it, then they just take your house back.
take it.
Yeah.
Gus, what's a second mortgage? I have all these questions. I guess they're
Okay,
in
before we
play
get
now.
to the further intricacies of home mortgages, it's a podcast. I'm Gus.
I'm Brandon.
I'm Aaron. I'm Chris.
And I'm Gus. So what do you mean, a second mortgage?
Yeah, people take out second
Are you talking about,
mortgages when they need money.
Like a line of credit or something. Like a,
I don't know. In movies, when they need money, they
That's
take
true.
out a
No,
second
like
mortgage.
Ghostbusters, he takes out a third mortgage on his house.
So let's say you bought a house,
Okay.
and you bought the house 10 years ago, and you paid $100,000.
Okay.
Today, let's say the house is worth $150,000.
What was it worth 10 years ago?
100,000.
Okay.
So like now it's worth 50,000 more. You mortgage against that, and since it's worth more, you get the difference in money to
So
you.
it's kind of like you're selling the house right now
to yourself.
and then you're just like starting over from
Right.
scratch. Why don't you do that like every year? Like I would do that. Like I would do it, and then the next day I would do it again because I need $20 for gas.
You do have to pay a lot of fees every time you do this.
Oh, okay.
There's like a lender right
I
now
thought
listening and like lowering his credit score as they're just like, "Beep, done.
Credit scores.
That's like the ultimate sign of irresponsibility.
Credit scores are bullshit.
You're talking about it's just invisible money that they just give you? Yeah, more of that.
Your credit scores are bullshit.
I had a credit hit, and I was like freaking out. And I pay every month to get keep updated with stuff. And they told me the name of the company. So I called the credit agency, and they're like, you can't talk to these people. The only way you can reach them is if you mail them a letter. I haven't mailed somebody a letter since I was like 4. So I go through all the work, and I mail it, and I haven't heard anything back. But like, there's nothing. I don't know what I'm supposed to do. Like what? Like Gus, What am I supposed to do?
Well, wait. No, you take a second mortgage out on your house.
You're like, I need some money for postage. I just mailed a letter. I need.
Why didn't I buy those forever stamps?
Should we do that? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Like a poster series. Like if somebody like took a close-up picture of like their scrotum, like just put that on there, like that's ballsy. That was a long way to go for that setup. That was a long way to go, but I made it. Oh Jesus! So like
is
a guy.
The part in the bottom.
What's that?
The scrotum. Is that the part in the bottom, or is that just like the balls?
That's
wait.
Not know the anatomy of a man.
Just time out. What do you think a scrotum is?
Well, it's either like the junk or the thing in between the bottom with the seam.
Oh. So should we tell him or should we just like not tell him?
Oh my God!
What's the difference? Just the scrotum.
Let's move on.
No.
Not. I mean,
the education system has failed you, Brandon.
Point it out.
I knew. You know, I mean, I know what a scrotum is, but I'm not judging anyone. I mean, I think it's. I mean, we all know what a scrotum is.
Most of us, 3 out of 4, 75% of all males.
But apparently,
all the stuff.
I met there's some stuff. I met a girl.
I got really confused because I thought it was Noah.
Oh yeah,
and I was like wondering when his boat's
You're
gonna
getting
come.
your biblical stories mixed up.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, I read up on it, and I read that Aronofsky wanted Christian Bale to be Noah in the Noah movie, but there was a scheduling conflict, so he had to get Russell Crowe instead.
So he had like 2 actors that he wanted to cast in these stories, and he's just like,
Was like,
all right,
Christian-
Christian Bale
yeah.
can't do this one, so he'll do that one.
I guess I don't know. It's like it's weird how that works.
Yeah.
It's funny. Doesn't Bale? He just tries to stay in character all the time, which would be terrifying for a lot of movies. But for Moses, that'd be pretty cool, right? Like, do you think he's
he
getting
just,
the
like-
door for people?
What?
Like,
Is that what Jewish people do?
Well, no, like, it's the parting the Red Sea.
What does
He's
that
just
have to do with getting the door?
It's like getting
like,
the door. It's the same thing.
get
I
open.
split an ocean, get the door.
Yeah,
Nice
'cause
guy.
people can't walk through the ocean.
Do you
if
think
the
he like
door's
went to
closed.
forest and like lit stuff on
part
fire?
the wall.
Yeah.
Let me get that wall for you.
He walked around with a staff every
I
day.
think he'd be really considerate.
Probably. Do you think he went to like synagogue every day just to like get in the
I
mindset?
don't know. What do you do in synagogue?
He like sing songs and pray and stuff. I don't remember. It's been like 15 years since I've been in synagogue or something like that.
It's just like church, like for same
Maybe
thing.
not 15. I had a bat mitzvah when I was 12.
I just
so
imagine there's like
13 years.
people fighting like dreidels.
Like tops. Like you spin them at each other.
It's like dog fighting.
Yeah.
Jesus. Here.
No, it's not Jesus. Guys, it's synagogue.
Sorry.
Did you have the white chocolate one? Because those are the best.
Oh yeah.
No, I
White and
say
black.
this every time that they're a sponsor. I normally am not a white chocolate fan, but the white chocolate strawberries are the best.
The mix between that and the strawberry are definitely good. That's what I recommend if you get Sherry's Berries is just get as many white chocolate ones as you possibly can.
If we weren't rolling, I would combine them together and eat them together. You ever mixed all your food together?
No.
Just make one giant
Brandon
like.
made me one time, he was like, you know what you need to do is just get a thing of Oreos, pour them in a bowl, and put milk in it.
Oh yeah,
and
that's the best.
And I did it for lunch once. It was the worst.
For lunch?
lunch. Yeah.
No, it's a meal, guys.
You can't. No, it's a tough meal.
Yeah, it's like half the container.
I went to lunch with Chris last week, and we went to a Greek place kind of close to the office that I'd never been to before. And we're driving there, and I'm like, "Is this place any good?" And Chris goes, "Yeah, they give you a lot of food." And I go, "Wait, but is the place good?" He goes, "Yeah, it's really cheap." And I go, "Wait, Chris, your definition of good and my definition of good, I think might be different. Is the food good?" He goes, "Well, it's cheap and they give you a lot. What else do you want?" The food was not that great. So I'm just going to cut to the chase. What did the dog eat?
Well,
Okay.
explain the story first.
So I had to get on the phone with poison control because our dumb pug ate something she shouldn't have.
And this was a couple weeks ago, right?
Yeah, this was a couple weeks ago. Let me pull up the picture for it.
You tweeted a picture, I think, right?
Yeah, so my girlfriend and I were like on the bed having like a pretty serious conversation talking about like visa stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And like, as you guys know, that's like, pretty stressful.
Are you trying to get into the country?
She's trying to stay in the country.
Oh.
Where's she from?
Mexico.
Okay.
Me too, man. Been there.
Yeah. So
You're from Mexico?
I'm not. Never been to
the pug's behind us on the ground chewing on a water bottle because she does that. I don't know what it is. She just likes that. And after a certain point, it got really annoying. So I turned to grab it from her. She actually has a bottle of lube, and she's gone through the whole thing. Like, it's not like a big giant thing of lube. It's like a moderately sized thing of lube.
It's not the Costco size.
Yeah, it's not the Costco, but it is a pretty decent size amount of lube for a pug.
So I'm gonna sidetrack you here for a minute.
Okay.
You tweeted this picture. I remember this picture that you've got the dog. You're sitting on the bed. The dog's on its back, and you're on the phone.
I can't pull up the
and
application.
there's like 5 bottles of lotion behind you on the nightstand.
It's because of my girlfriend's apartment.
Why do you need 5 bottles of lotion and a giant tub of lube
Girls
next
have
to your
lotion.
bed?
Girls, I will defend
I am
this
married
point.
to a girl who does
Esther
not
is not
have
typical.
5
She's
bottles
not
of
typical?
lotion on the nightstand right next to the bed.
You want me to text her and ask?
Okay.
Are you concocting like the ultimate jack-off formula? It's like 2 part Jergens, 1 part Eucerin.
Women don't use lotion to jack off. though.
I'm not accusing Paul. I'm accusing him.
Dude, that requires so much work to have him go get the lotion. It's like, I don't need that.
Just spit on it,
shine it up real nice.
right? I don't know.
That is her apartment. That is not all of my lotion. But yes, half the comments were about the undecent amount.
I do have to back her up though, because girls tend to have just bottles of stuff, of product, whether it's hair stuff or skin stuff. I don't even know how many bottles under my sink of just random
but
products.
not right next to the bed.
No.
Have you spit on your fair share?
Of penises?
I mean, it was your suggestion.
Yeah. Sometimes you gotta use some spit.
It's a practical solution, but you're never like, okay, great.
So how do you do that though? Do you go like and like drip some on, or you just like?
Well, usually you're right up close.
Right. No, it's a drip.
I'm so happy my parents.
Usually
listen.
you're right up close. So that's when you're spitting on it. Interesting. I pictured it as like.
Trying to aim.
Yeah,
Fucking
that sounds like
loogie.
you're gonna like.
Just get a straw.
Dollop
Take a
one
spitball. So what do you do to a pug that's eating a bottle of lube?
First, I called the vet, and you have to tell them, look, she ate a whole bottle of lube, and then you wait for the pause and the reaction. Oh, yeah.
Oh, it's only 3 bottles of lotion.
She looks dead. She was stiff. She was so out. And they're like, we don't know.
Was it flavored?
No, gross. But it wasn't
that would be
water.
gross.
It was like not rubber based, like oil based.
Oil based.
So I imagine that was like murder. Anyway, so they're like, I had to call poison control, which was like $80. Like they charge you before they'll save your dog.
Poison control charges you when you call them?
Yeah.
What is it, like an expensive?
Animal poison control.
Oh, still.
But like the crazy thing is, I told them, and it wasn't a big deal. Like they were totally cool about it. And then I told them the brand name, and then they were like listing off the different types. Like they had a complete database of lube. Because I mean, it's not
Are some more dangerous than others?
So do they have to just list every liquid that would be found in a household
that a dog could get to?
But I imagine it's not dangerous for someone or something to consume lube because of the nature of where it is usually, and how mouths might be in those areas.
Yeah, but they don't expect you to just like eat like an entire bottle of lube. Like I even felt the ground. I was like, how much of the ground is wet right now? And it was all dry. Like she really got in there.
It reminds me of that Simpsons episode where Homer eats the candle so he could eat
Oh,
hot peppers.
right.
And you
Yeah.
just coat your throat with lube.
So, does the dog just like have the runs for a week?
Oh, it's a couple days, but they're like, you need to try to get her to eat to kind of like balance it out. The only danger was if she threw up, because if you try to throw up lube, apparently you could choke. So
I can imagine just all of the dog's food going like
just shooting out the dog's asshole.
Whoa!
Just putting like ball bearings in its mouth.
Yeah, she recovered, but she's sick now. You know how you go to Mexico, they say don't drink the water?
Yeah.
She did, and she got parasites.
Oh.
Your dog?
Yeah.
Aw.
Don't drink the water.
Poor Penny.
So what do you? At least it's the water. It's not like, listen, my dog went to Mexico, ate a bottle of lube again. I don't know what happened.
Something about the way they make it down there.
Yeah, she loves lube, man. I don't know.
Bitches love lube.
Yeah. She's a weird dog. She's very weird.
And lotion.
Yeah. Dude, your phone is off the hook.
I've silenced it and it's still going.
What is it doing?
Do you want to answer it?
No, I'm good.
I remember you used to leave when we were at the annex and we used to do the podcast down there. You would leave your phone right up here on the arm for the couch, and it would flash. Yeah. And every time it flashed, I would try to pick it up. You always were a little too fast for me, but I'd always very subtly try to reach over and grab it, and you'd always notice it the last.
You
second.
don't have the best reflexes.
Yeah, no, I don't. I wanted to try to answer your phone one time on air, but I never got the opportunity to.
Were you just getting a phone call?
What, just now?
Yeah.
Nah, I got like a bunch of texts.
Oh.
Can I admit
So
something?
popular.
What?
It's 100% true. She ate another bottle of lube 2 days ago.
Are you serious? Stop keeping it in ritual areas.
Wait, is that why? Is that why the dog? No, you said the dog had parasites.
So you just try to drown the parasites with a bunch more lube?
Stop
leaving lube out. Put
I
it in a
don't just
drawer.
leave it out. She goes and she like digs
Put
and
it in a
finds it.
drawer.
You're not burying it, are you?
No.
Yeah, put it in a fucking drawer.
It's in like a little cubby inside.
No.
inside a
Guess
thing
what?
like
That
Hang it
doesn't
from the
work.
ceiling fan or something.
Or just in a drawer that dogs can't open with their paws.
The really messed up part is like we have like the same Instacart driver like every week. It's the person who does like our shopping for us. So
just
to
keep getting
them,
bottles
they're
of lube.
like these guys go through so much lube. What do they?
Wait, you order your lube from Instacart?
Yeah, and condoms through Instacart. You don't. It saves me a trip.
We've already heard stories of the dog and its strange tastes.
Did your dog live?
Do you
by the
tell-
way? Hey,
Oh,
did you
yeah,
tell a
she's
story
fine.
about how whenever you suggested a movie to watch with her family?
I think so.
No, I don't think you told that on the podcast.
Oh, man, so I've only met her dad like twice, and we went to.
I met her dad. He's like he's like that guy
giant.
that's like he's an intimidating. Like I'm a businessman. I'm a alpha male.
6 foot, yeah, he's like 6'4", very strong. You know, it's very intimidating, physically intimidating guy, and very proper.
And
so
he knows that you're like banging his daughter.
yeah, and I'm also like, I'm not like a man's man. Like I'm the perfect boyfriend for like the third daughter because you're kind of like, you're like, we'll let that one go, but she's the only daughter. So I'm already a disappointment. And so I go to their house and I'm staying in their house and it's like movie night. And I was like thinking like, what's a great movie that they would like? And I was like, oh, how cool. Like Cabin in the Woods. I remember that was like really clever and really cool. So we start to watch Cabin in the Woods and it's like me, her mom, her dad, and her like, 11-year-old brother. And then the movie starts and they start swearing a little bit. And I was like, oh, wow, they swore a lot more than I thought in this movie. And then they start taking off clothes and exposed breasts and like very, very like, I don't know, like some point someone's making out with like a boar. And then at one point the dad just like puts his hands up in the air and he's like, I can't do this. Or I can't take this. And he's like, he just like storms out and like takes the brother with him.
Because it's a
then
little
I'm
brother,
just like
right?
sitting here like
He
completely.
basically was like, you've what is the word? Like brought
Corrupted
my
brought shame
house
to this house.
and-
Why'd
and
you
my
suggest that
children.
movie?
That movie is a hard R.
Those weren't the things that I remembered. I remembered like, oh, it's really smart and clever. Not there's like, people
It's like saying, what movies do you watch? I know a great porno that you
It's
guys
very
would watch.
clever.
Yeah, great twist. Great story.
Or it's like, what do y'all want to watch? How about Texas Chainsaw Massacre? It's set in Texas.
No, I talked to you about this though, and you were like, yeah, I had to think about it a little bit. That movie is a little bit worse.
Yeah, but I still wouldn't go for like a movie with like that hard R rating.
So you pissed him off real good.
Yeah, pissed off real good. But the thing is, like, you understand what's happening, but it's a slow process because you don't just immediately be like, oh, okay, guys, sorry, this movie's bad. You're just sitting there and you're like, oh no, what have I done? And then you're slowly looking over at everyone else in the room,
and the dad's that's the most awkward.
Yeah.
Oh,
and he's just like putting his hands through her hair and just like, we still
old
have
was
an
the child?
hour and a half.
How old was the child?
He was like 12.
This is how you end up on the sex predator list.
When you move, that's why you don't want to move. You don't have to mail out the cards again.
Yeah. Oh man, yeah, he doesn't like me.
Didn't you say he also asked you for a wine suggestion once?
Yeah.
What did you offer him? Blood with AIDS in it?
So, well, I don't drink wine. I drink liquor, which I think that's it's respectable. I like liquor. That's cool.
Yeah.
But we were at a restaurant, and he's like, "Can you recommend a wine?" And I didn't know. I just kind of like picked something randomly, and then they were like, "That's not wine." I was like, "Oh, all right." So then, like, I picked something else, and he wanted a red wine. That's why, because if I order a white wine, I order Moscato.
So what you? Wait,
it's really good. So
what
I
did you
ordered
pick?
this. I ordered a Moscato for me. I have no idea what I ordered for him.
Was it like vinegar?
It
or
was
something?
something.
It was like that's a taco.
Yeah. So they brought out my wine. And, they give him his wine glass. It's like regular wine glass. Everybody looks really respectable. They give me mine. And they classify it as a dessert wine because it's very sweet. So they give me like the smallest, cutest little wine glass. And I'm like holding it in my hand like I'm 4. And then her dad is just sitting there with like a straight face, just kind of looking at me.
Judging you for your tiny
I know.
little
And I just want to apologize.
dessert.
I was like, I'm sorry, dude.
How do you not have any of
she
these?
likes me.
You told me that the wine you had suggested for him was a Merlot. And I was like, haven't you ever
That's where I found it, yeah.
I was like, haven't you ever seen Sideways?
That's why. No, that's what it was. Because I remember Sideways, and Paul Giamatti's like, no, I'm not having a fucking Merlot. So when eventually they asked, I was like, I didn't a Merlot. I know there's a Merlot. Let's do that.
So
I've literally never made one positive
Why
impression.
didn't you just say, I don't really drink wine much?
Why
were you like, no, I got this, yes.
After this wine, we're going to go watch Cabin in the Woods. It's going to be a great family movie. It's about a cabin.
So
Do you just do stuff because you scared? Like, what if he was like, "Hey, change the tire"? Would you just be like, and then you like crush the kid or something?
I can change a tire. What makes you think I can't change a tire?
Because you don't know how to order a wine.
I don't know. I can go to this horn cave. There's a better one on the other side of the village.
What are you into? What kind of cave are you into,
Guys, just don't walk in if I leave a rock at the front of it. Just
We got some weird foot shit in that one.
yeah.
There's a bunch of cats in this.
Cat cave?
Yeah, is it like Egyptians have cats everywhere? There's cats.
Yeah, but what is the connection?
If you're into cats, some people
No
are into
one's
like
into cat.
animals now.
No.
Yeah, well, like, that's the whole thing.
Are you talking about shagging animals?
Yeah, some people are into that.
Cats?
How did you take it to cats from
animals? They're on it. That's an animal, and there are a lot of cat
the
paintings.
first animal you think is shagging is a cat?
Not me personally, but I'm saying
It was literally
but
your
there's a lot
brain.
of cats. What's the most common animal that's drawn on a cave?
A buffalo or a bison.
Well, it depends where you are.
Come on, now you're
It depends.
No one.
Read my mind, Gus. We get it. If you're in Egypt,
Fucking Egyptians weren't drawing on caves. They were building pyramids and drawing on pyramids.
They had jerk off pyramids, not caves.
It's totally different.
Like you would go to the cat pyramid.
So,
Animal Planet.
what would be the first animal that you think of then? If we got to go back to this.
What do you mean?
Or if you have like what animal that somebody
You're the one who brought it up. We don't have to answer.
But your issue was like what animal I chose.
What's the normal animal?
No one went to animals.
What's
No
the right
one
answer?
said
What's the
who's
right
gonna have
answer?
I mean,
sex
I
with-
already took it weird. I went with foot stuff. That's weird.
And then
No,
you're
that's-
like,
that's
like
not that,
cats or dogs or hamsters. Who knows?
That's
You're the one
slightly
thinking of shagging
different.
cats and lubing up your dog's mouth every time.
I didn't lube up the dog's mouth.
You absolutely did.
You are changing the story. That's not what happened at all. It did it on its own accord. The dog likes lube. I have no control over that.
Wait. What is this? When did the dog get?
I'll
lubed?
catch you up later.
His dog ate some. Did he just sit at the foot of your bed like this?
No, it's just it like jumps up and it jumps on tables. Like the thing is the breed is so fat and like hungry. They eat everything. Like that's all they do is they just eat. So it does this crazy acrobatic stuff when it can smell something that smells like food. So it like jumped and flipped and then it just ate a bunch of like a whole bottle of lube.
Your lube
Told you about
smells
this.
like food?
Well, it's strawberries.
Yeah,
or,
it's like
there's
You never had
flavors.
flavored lube?
I guess not. I'm just a vanilla kind of guy.
Well, that's a flavor, to be fair.
That's so disgusting. Yeah, his dog did it twice.
Yeah, she's okay. Cost me a lot of money.
Never be the same.
What do you mean?
That
she's okay?
dog's-
What costs you a lot of money? It's
I have
like
to call poison control.
that they eat.
I'm like-
It's made to be. That's why it's flavored.
Chris, you're not meant to eat a whole bottle.
Also,
Like,
not if you're like a
people-
10-pound dog.
Yeah.
Wait, what did you call
Have
it?
you-
You're like,
have you
listen,
just,
I've
like,
got an
chugged
emergency.
a bot-
I've got an emergency. My dog is full of lube.
Yeah. And then I told them,
and
well, we already told the story on the. I'll fill you in later. But they need.
I can't hold it.
It's not a cat. I
Look,
was trying to give it to the
in my
cat.
defe- no, in my
the
defense-
dog ate it. And
In my defense, I just said the brand name on the phone, and they immediately were like, "Oh, well, there's all these different types, like based on the information you give us." So I'm not the only one this has happened to. Probably. I mean, why would they have all of this other?
They're gonna have to send letters to your neighbors at some point.
Well, guys, it's not fair. Your dogs can't. You can't. They
Why are you
can't.
dragging me into this? I'm just sitting over here.
They've never gotten anything they shouldn't have been in.
No, because I'm a good dog owner.
What do you mean?
I keep an eye on my dogs.
Your wife's like all the time, you just follow them
We
around.
both are.
You're at work all the time.
Yeah, but when I'm home, I keep an eye on them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Love those dogs. I would never let them eat an entire bottle of lube.
It just does it.
That's not fair to us.
Well, the tough thing is cocaine's super expensive. So if they're gonna offer it, it's extremely rude.
Yeah, that
for you to,
Everyone's
like,
hanging
refuse
out.
it.
They're like, this is the thing. You're Brandon over here's like quoting street prices for me. Oh yeah, Coke's what going like for
How much a
$2.50 an ounce
gram?
right now? I mean, shit.
No, I think I talked to that before. Like, I don't know where to get hardcore drugs. Like right now in Austin, I don't know where to drive to and who to talk to get like heroin.
We go to my next door neighbor.
Like, can you get heroin in Austin?
I don't know. I'm sure you can.
Yeah.
Okay. If after this podcast we all go on a scavenger hunt to find some heroin, who do you think would win?
I'm smelling season 2 of Social Disorder right now.
I'm smelling federal penitentiary immediately.
And I could see Blaine in the background. I was like, Blaine, you fucking asshole.
Yeah.
And I could see him like looking over his shoulder back at me.
It's a good feeling when you get that spot.
Yeah.
You remember the old Congress office? There was that one free lot or one free spot that wasn't handicap parking right in front of our building. And I got it once in a year and a half. And it was like one of the best days of my life.
Why would you look for parking? We had a garage, dude.
I know, but you have to walk and up the thing. I'm saying it was literally like you
Lazy.
3 steps and you're at our building.
Yeah, but you had to go out of your way to check if those spots were available.
I don't know. Maybe it was on my way. I don't know.
No, because you'd be driving past the office in the wrong direction if you're looking at that spot.
I bet
What are you gonna hate?
What did you do? Did you drive by it every day?
Maybe.
Did you waste like an extra 10
something
minutes
I would
every
rather
day?
waste the time driving there because Gus, it's not about the convenience. Don't get me wrong. I'm not a lazy guy.
That's what you
You
said.
are
You're a
lazy
lazy
guy.
guy.
It's about the feeling.
You said-
it's because
you
when I
said-
park there, I'm a winner, and I feel good about
argument
myself.
was that it was 3 steps away from the front door. It was laziness. It
I
wasn't
know.
about
No,
laziness.
I was trying to hide the fact that I would get some kind of self-satisfaction and self-worth out of parking in front of
It
that.
does feel good to get a really good parking spot.
You see what I'm saying?
I don't know what color my butthole is.
Well, it's probably
I've
not
never
a
looked at
flattering
it.
color.
I've never looked at it.
Let's assume brown.
Well,
but
Would you consider bleaching it if you had the
it's
option?
weird to think that there are certain parts of your body you've never seen.
Have you literally never seen your butthole?
How am I going to see
Go
my?
take a picture of it right now.
Yeah.
No,
We'll wait for you.
And
But like, what? In what context would I see my butt?
Sometimes you see your butt. I don't know.
No, exactly.
If you're in context of, I wonder what my butthole looks like.
When have you seen your
No,
butthole?
if you're recording your power hour, right?
No. I want to know when you saw your butthole.
I don't know. When I was younger, I was like, I wonder what my butthole looks like.
No,
I didn't put anything in it. I was just curious.
No one said anything about putting things in your butt.
No,
Brandon.
but I mean, like, you know,
you're projecting
How
here.
does, like-
Okay.
How did you look at your butthole?
I don't want to go to the mechanics of it. I
Come
don't
on,
remember.
it's
I
already
was
done.
more
You-
flexible
you-
when I was
you-
that young.
we
They're
already
not
know
that
you put
flexible
stuff
now.
in it, so just tell us.
So you bent over and looked at it?
No, I don't remember. There's
That's
probably a
bullshit.
mirror involved.
That's bullshit. You can't. You didn't bend over.
This
and
is
look at-
before
there's no
camera
way.
phones.
No, I can't bend over and look at it. There's a mirror. Yeah, I didn't take a camera picture of it.
So there's a mirror.
Yeah, there's a mirror involved. So,
So-
somewhere there's like a mirror. There's like this stored image.
A crack in the mirror.
This
where-
mirror has this awful memory.
It's a haunted mirror of your asshole. There was an
This is like
asshole.
I'm sorry.
If you're brushing your hair in front of the mirror, you could smell a butt.
Who
It just
here?
floats behind you.
Who here in the room has never looked at their butt? Tyler has his hand down.
Everyone.
Those people
Cole
aren't-
has his hand
they're not
down.
participating. Are you
Everyone-
participating? No, okay,
Marielle has her hand down.
her hands
No,
up.
no, her hands
that
up.
took too long. Yeah, we'll assume yes.
I'm just saying. I
It
don't
doesn't
know.
count then either because your butthole's changed color since then too. Like
That I don't know.
yeah. With
I
How
ain't
would
checked it
you
out.
know?
well, I haven't seen my butt, but I assume that you know.
You said that pretty authoritatively.
You.
He's one of them.
He lied. He raised
Get
his
him.
hand.
I didn't you see I
One
raised my
of
hand?
us. Gooble gobble. Gooble gobble. I mean, girls see their buttholes though, right?
No, why would they be any different?
When they're getting the
Mariel
wax.
raised her hand.
when you're getting a wax.
It's not like the barber where they're like, is this fine for you? Like they just you assume that they got everything. It's not like
Well, but aren't you like flexible and you're like staring it in the
but
face?
you can't look into your own butt.
Yeah, you can't look in your butt.
That's impossible.
No, I'm not saying you look into it, but you kind of see like edge. You know, it's like
You can't.
You know, it's not like in. It's like when you're driving up to the Sarlacc and you kind of see it like on the edge. You're not. It's not when you're like looking into it.
You cannot approach. There's no way you can approach your butthole.
It's tucked up.
You can't look at your
No, but
butthole
like-
unless it's on purpose.
Oh, yeah,
What?
unless
How
you have a
do-
camera or a mirror.
Yes.
But when they do the Brazilian wax, aren't they in like crazy contortions though?
Yeah, but you still. I think it's physically impossible for a person. Twitter. If you can look at your own butthole, tweet us with #RT Podcast.
But no pictures.
No pictures.
Who are you saying is in a crazy contortion?
No one can look.
I'm
at
not
their
saying
butthole.
anybody. I'm just saying when you, like in the Brazilian wax,
They
don't they
just-
like put
they-
you in like random places.
They
like,
do it like
make you
Moses.
look
They
at your
spread
own
the sea.
butthole.
I'm just saying.
From past podcasts where we have talked about this, we have heard that women do the butterfly pose, as I believe what they called it.
Oh yeah.
And there's no way you can actually. You don't look at your own butthole.
Okay, well they don't. You know how when you get a haircut and they bring up the mirror
That's
to
what
look
I
at
was
the
just
back of the
saying.
head?
You just said
They're
that.
not gonna be
Okay.
like, oh, are your sideburns on your butthole good? Like, you want me
You
to
know
trim
that.
them up a little bit, or like you can't see it. You're not, and they're not gonna show it to you because
might.
it's awkward enough.
Oh, I'm sure you pass like a point of awkwardness.
Well, from what I heard, from what I hear, they make conversation with you. I haven't gotten it, but I always hear like, oh, they make small chit chat with you, and then they're like, yeah, yeah, oh yeah, that's funny. Oh, what'd you do today?
I guess you have to be like chatting during that.
Well,
kinda weird.
it's
not like
it's
you
the
can
same
just
thing
like.
when you get a shot. When
It's
they're
not like you can just be on your phone the whole time, right? While you're getting a wax.
selfies.
What I'm saying is they're not
maybe like what
chatting
color
to
is
you.
it now?
A little makeup for that.
I was like, this is Lost.
Oh, there's BB-8.
Like this trailer reminds me of Lost so much because all it does is introduce so many questions. Like you watch that trailer and there's
Oh,
like
that
20
is-
different questions about what you could do.
Look at that.
That is
thing's
really
real.
cool.
Yeah, it's fucking
That's
cool.
legitimately
really
cool.
cool.
Oh, legitimately cool.
But you see what I'm saying? It's
Yeah.
like there's like, oh, who's Luke talking about? Oh, who's this person? So it's like people are excited when there's mysteries. You just once you introduce 20 different mysteries, you better have a good way to answer it, or else you're
even-
gonna run into Lost seasons. I don't know,
Some of-
5 through 6.
I liked Lost, so
I did too.
Fuck you.
No. Hey,
I'm just
Hey,
saying. I was
you
happy.
and I
with,
both
I was
watch
happy
it.
with the ending of Lost.
I
don't
was
like
too.
when people bitch about it.
I wasn't bitching.
So I
Yeah,
I was
let's-
also happy.
Can we
with,
talk about this later? I feel
Yeah,
like
we
this
talk about
was
it later.
something that
I also you said when you end up with Lost seasons 5 and 6. I liked Lost seasons 5 and 6.
I did too. What
You're
I'm saying
the
is the
one who just
reaction.
said it was
No, it's the
bad.
reaction.
No.
The reaction that you get from
You've
people.
complained about Lost.
No, I love Lost. I have
And-
not
and
complained about it.
I agreed with you.
I love the
mean, I'm
finale. No,
Get off.
But
I love the
didn't
finale
watch
and I
the finale.
defend the
I
finale.
stopped watching at a certain point because I was like, I don't know what they're doing with this, and I just kind of don't care anymore.
Barely
no, I
understand
love it.
each
My
of
whole
those
thing was
lips.
like
Sorry,
people
my
are
lips are
always going to
tough
be
swollen.
disappointed with the. Fuck you. I will not.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You never did like what Brandon said, where you just acted like an asshole long enough to where the
That's my life. I've been doing that for a couple of decades
That's me
already.
trying to break up with the world.
I
Yeah.
wasn't
so-
an asshole. I just kept picking fights.
That's being an asshole.
That's kind of shitty, Brandon.
What do you think an asshole is?
No, not fights. Like more like
I was kept picking
disagreements about like random stuff.
All the time. That's an asshole.
Yeah, but not like I don't like your mother. Like stuff like
Cut your losses and just end it.
So specific.
like no, like trivial things.
Hey,
but
babe,
just like
how's it
arguing
going?
about
I
it. a
don't
lot.
like your mother. Why don't you break up with me?
That's just more effort
You
than
mother-
just.
And I
Never
picture you like
ending it.
watches like James Dean's movies from the 50s. Like, how am I going to be bad? You get a motorcycle.
Leather jacket.
Wear a leather
brooding.
jacket.
I like to see Brandon. It's like 50s style James Dean brooding, getting some girl to break up with him.
He's like smoking a cigarette. Like, yeah, babe, I live fast. I'm going to die young.
She did that
Is that
thing where
it?
she mentions break up. And you go, well, if you want to break up, we'll break up. Like that whole
Yeah.
thing.
That's way too much
A
work.
fake vagina.
I've heard of people shagging like bags of Vaseline that's under their mattress.
Bags of Vaseline.
Like a sandwich bag of Vaseline. You put it under the mattress.
Like a
And then
Ziploc?
just bang the side of your bed.
That's so weird.
I've heard that.
Yeah,
that's the
I
thing
mean,
people do.
however people want to do it.
Aren't
know?
you afraid that
No
you're
judgment.
gonna catch like the? Oh, never mind.
Do it.
No, like it's what is the urethra opening?
Urethra is the
Right,
is
the opening to
tube.
it. What do you call the opening?
Your
Well, I
pee
mean,
hole.
Pee hole.
It's the urethra.
If you were
technically,
if you would catch that on like a sheet, like the very,
what
and
do
it
you
would like
mean?
pull
it's
it.
not sticking out. What are you talking
Well,
about?
if it got in there and it just trust me, tonight Give it a try.
Brandon's urethra like protrudes from his belly.
No, it doesn't protrude. But if you got it, if it's the right angle, it would pull on it.
No, what would? The bag of
like
Vaseline?
a sheet, yeah, or anything you were rubbing on it or like into it.
And people say vaginas are weird. Like, my God.
I just don't see. Like, I'd like to see an animation of what you actually mean there. Like, what is going into your penis hole?
Because it's flesh, so it'll stretch.
Don't do the goatsy thing with your belly. What are you doing?
No, I'm saying it's you're not stretching it as you're like rubbing against it. There's just going to be the natural friction of whatever it is.
Gavin's not circumcised. You have to remember that. So he might have a different experience.
No, but you got it's like all like.
I just hate the hand motions he's doing because I know he's describing a penis. It's
No, with
like
the
worst.
circumcised, you just like you pull it back, right?
It's like a turtleneck.
It's like a turtle. Yeah, exactly. Surprise.
Jinx.
Try it tonight. You'll see what I mean. You'll come
Try
tomorrow.
fucking my mattress? No, I'm not. I'm not going to try that tonight.
I can't believe that people really do that. That seems like way too much work.
Do you think it would,
I'm way too lazy?
Do you think it would feel different depending on what sleep number you chose?
What's the skankiest sleep number?
So I went, and like a big lump of just blood. It was like just like goopy blood.
It was like the scab or
congealed-
something.
Yeah, like the blood clot or something. It just went into the sink, and I was like, oh god,
gross.
And I was like poking it. It was disgusting.
Did you try talking at all the first day you had it?
Yeah.
Did you bleed out? You didn't like start bleeding out of your mouth?
No, yeah, I bled a lot through my mouth.
Yeah, it's cool, right?
Not really.
It's cool. Yeah, no, I did that. Like, I wasn't thinking of it. I called a friend because you're just so out of it. And then I was like, oh man, I'm like bleeding out of my mouth right now. I'm like, oh, this looks awesome.
You're just standing in the mirror like.
Your silver lining is also like the creepiest lining ever.
How's that? Oh yeah, no, I didn't answer that. Well, like I'm not gonna bleed in a cool way. Any other? You know, I'm not gonna get like a cool scar.
Bleeding
or
through your
anything,
mouth
like-
is a cool thing.
No, I guess not. I guess like it's a controlled way to bleed.
What are you talking about?
Like, it's like
Any
in that
wound-
situation, if I just had surgery and I'm bleeding out of my mouth, I'm like, you know what? I'm okay. This is a normal thing. If I was bleeding this much at a random situation, that would not be good for me.
Call an ambulance.
Yeah, call an ambulance. But it's like right now, Brandon, this is a controlled bleed. Everything is all right.
What the hell is wrong with you?
You don't think it's... Have you ever
really
bled
not-
a lot out of something?
I can't imagine
Once a
like,
month.
bleeding like that and being like, it's okay. It's a control bleed.
Thanks,
Yeah.
Patrick.
It's like not a...
You killed the control room.
It's just not a bleed you got to worry about. But
It
it's
is
like
a bleed
lot
you
of
gotta worry
You got to
about.
worry about any bleed.
Yeah, but I mean, it's like understandable. You're like, yeah, I'm bleeding. I just got, mouth surgery. I'm all right.
What about nosebleed?
Those are scary.
Oh yeah, that's scary.
But that's
But I don't know why
That doesn't
I'm having
look
a
cool,
nosebleed.
Gavin. That's cool. Bleeding
I
from
know
your
the-
mouth.
wait, do I know why?
I'm not in control.
You're just standing in the mirror with the blood dripping down your face, like
You're looking at yourself
yes.
like, cool.
Well, maybe. Yeah, but you don't know why you have a nosebleed. That's scary. But I'm saying if you know why and it's not a big deal, you don't have to worry about it, then everything's okay. And you just enjoy it. You're like, that looks awesome.
You're special.
Yeah, it's fucking hilarious.
You can practice like breathing longer, right? Like if you hold your breath, you keep like just doing that over and over and over will increase your lung capacity, right? So like over time
I
you'll
think
be
it's
able.
more to do with mindset, though.
Is it?
I think like the state that your brain is in, because some people go to like a meditative state, and they can breathe. They can stop breathing for like 5 minutes at a time.
So right now, if you get to that state, you would just stop breathing for 5 minutes.
Yeah, I think it's just
probably
like
take a lot of
you teach your
practice.
brain not to panic.
Really, it's
So that when
nothing
you're super
physical
low on
about just
oxygen-
practicing.
I think that might be involved as well, but it's not.
Because I've been
like-
wasting a lot of time.
I think you do have to practice. I think you have to practice like expanding your
Yeah,
lungs or something.
I would do that when I used to go swimming, and my friends and I would have contests of who could stay underwater the longest.
Why don't you
And
do it now?
Because I could cheat. I could just breathe through my nose.
No, I'm just saying, like, try to like
dunk your head in a bucket.
when you're just like at your desk, like
Let's
hold
get a
your
bucket.
breath. Because like think about it, if you even if you didn't swim, if you could increase your lung capacity and just hold your breath for longer and longer, decrease your
But is it
option of like
actually-
drowning in the world.
Is it actually literal lung capacity? Like, are you expanding the lungs to the point where they can hold more air?
I don't know
or are
if
you
it's
just
that
breathing
or like
better?
be able to deal with the pressure more, but I mean, it would help you out if you were in a situation where you might drown, right? This makes sense to everyone else, right?
Well, if you could hold your breath for longer, yeah.
Yeah, so like
You
why
wouldn't
don't
panic
you
as
every
quickly.
day practice
Because
holding your breath?
What are the
and-
odds I'm going to drown?
People drown.
Right.
what are the odds I'm going to
We're
drown?
also in Texas.
1 in 9.
We're not as close to water
1
as a
in
lot of
9?
people.
Like I don't get in the water. Like that's not a concern for me.
I know, so you don't know how to handle yourself if you're in the water.
I'm saying, why don't you practice?
I don't know how to handle myself in outer space either. Should I fucking practice
Yeah,
holding
but
my
you're
breath
not
for
gonna.
that?
You never accidentally end up
I
in
never
outer
accidentally
space.
end up in the water.
Some people accidentally end up in the water. That's
I
the whole point.
don't.
It's an accident. They don't mean to get in there.
How?
I don't know. Maybe your car falls.
In Austin? Where?
There's a lake.
This is absolutely ridiculous, Brandon.
We
How
did
many
just have
people die
floods
of drowning
recently.
every year? Can we look that
But
up?
who accidentally get in the water?
Well, I'm sure some people crash cars off bridges.
I'm sure
Yeah.
this is a tiny number.
I'm kind of with Brandon on this one. I feel like the majority of people who drown don't mean to be in the water. Like their car
You're right.
falls
They don't
in.
want to be in the water at that moment.
And
No,
isn't there
like
that
it's
thing?
not people who are swimming or something. Like I'm sure a lot of
Yeah.
people drown who are swimming or at the lake or
I
whatever.
think the vast majority are people who voluntarily.
Okay,
I mean,
if
in
you
Austin, it's gonna
accidentally
be
find
drunk
yourself in the
people.
water and
If I find myself accidentally in the water, I will let myself sink to the bottom and die because of what the situation. I'm
You
in.
think
you'll
stupid
think
and
about
getting
it
in
and
the
you're like,
water.
man, if I just would have like expanded my lung capacity, I would have been okay. And the last thought in your mind is going to be, Brandon was right.
I can swim.
That is the last thought.
I can swim.
I think
I'm an adult.
I think if you crash your car,
I don't float. But
there's something about you have to wait until you hit the bottom before you do anything.
because
right?
of the pressure.
Like you can't open the door until the car hits the bottom of the riverbed or the
like
ocean.
you have to wait for the water to be like equalized between the two or more equalized.
Yeah. Oh god.
Well,
it
at what
just
point,
sucks.
at what depth do you need to exhale as you're rising through the water? Because that's the thing that would freak me out.
Well, you have to exhale as you ascend.
As
right?
you ascend, yeah.
Some medicine also before I came on.
Did you?
Just to be safe to help me get through it.
Gus, how many people do you think die in dive drownings every year?
In the world?
No, in the U.S.
In the U.S., I think 5,000 people a year drown.
3,500 fatal unintentional drownings.
Yeah, as
These are
opposed
just
to
Every drowning is
unintentional-
unintentional,
These
my
just
friend.
unintentional
there is
drownings.
no such thing as an intentional drowning unless it's murder.
According to the
Or
Center of
suicide.
Disease Control and Prevention, there are
Unintentional drowning is not the same as someone who didn't intend to be in the water.
Well, you
It's
could- you
like
could
boating
suicide.
accidents are the other part of it. It's people who were not on a boat. They are just in the water. And
Shout
had
out to
no
me getting
plan.
pretty close, I guess.
80% are male,
that was
Gus.
pretty
You're
good.
male.
I would have guessed way higher.
In the U.S., yeah, that seems like a low
I mean, there's
number.
a lot of drunk people, drunk rich
think
people who
it's-
live on the lake.
I think it's 10 people a day.
You don't realize it as a guy. I still haven't figured out how to properly use a urinal. I don't know if you guys have, but like when you use it, you spray your feet with piss and your legs.
No,
with
the
piss.
key is to hold. As you just like hold, and then you just like hit it with like all the force you can.
But then there's
That's
more like
incorrect.
rebound, more
Yeah.
splash.
Isn't it like more?
Oh, so you're worried about that? I'm worried about like
What?
once it comes.
We're worried about what we're talking about.
No, there's other way. Like if it's not the stream isn't strong enough. If it starts like
What,
you
you're
know,
talking
like
about pissing
splattering.
on your feet or something?
Are you talking about like a
get there.
fire hose just like going all over the place?
Yeah.
Or like trickling
No,
out.
like okay, so if it's just the stream isn't, and then it's like with the opening, and it's everywhere.
God, no. That's so.
Is that not how yours works?
I have no idea what you're
We're
talking
talking
about.
about angles. We're talking about when you get to the urinal and you're taking a piss. There's no correct angle. What you
There
think?
is a correct angle.
No, there
You go
isn't.
down and to the left.
Well, I go down to the right.
So, and my beef isn't with the music group specifically. It's with Brandon Farmahini.
What?
Brandon
What did I do?
Brandon loves making groups to talk about something.
You do.
No one
Oh
talks
my
about
God.
it, and then Brandon leaves.
What?
You
I
did
didn't
that.
leave. Remember
You
the
fucking
5
did
night
that.
thing?
Yes.
You do that all the time.
And now I can't leave that group.
No, if it's like if nobody's talking in it, then I shut it down.
No, you don't shut it down.
You leave. No, it tells me I'm shutting
And
it
then
down.
we can't leave it because it doesn't exist because the creator left.
No, it didn't delete it because I deleted it.
It's still there.
Nope, I'm still
Well,
in
that's
that
not
5
my
Nights of Virgin
problem.
notes.
I went by the protocol. I went and I was like,
Here's
guys,
how-
no one's using it. I don't want to fill up anyone else's thingies.
I'm going to tell you exactly what that thread consisted of, okay? Brandon Farmahini has invited you to join Five Nights at Freddy's immersion discussion. Hey guys, I made this group so we could talk about some notes.
I don't even know if he said
I don't
that.
even know if he said that, but Barbara just goes, you know, you don't have to create a group in order to have a group chat, right? You can just message the both of us at the same time, and it does its own little thread. And then that was it. I think that's the only thing that ever got posted.
I never
in
saw that
thread.
message from Barbara.
Probably because
I
you
had
didn't
no
check
idea.
it, Brandon.
I had no idea.
I was in that group too.
I had no
I know
idea that you
Barbara
could do
sent
that.
that.
I said that the second you invited me to that group. There
We
is
had
no
a
way.
meeting.
Unless
You guys
did.
had a meeting. Matt Holm was like, "This is our new chat client. Fucking use it." And yet every time I go over to your desk, you're on iChat and shit still.
You guys are you guys stuck in that group?
Okay, let me.
Like,
I'll read you.
cannot leave.
I'll read you this thing. Brandon Farmahini joined Immersion 5-Night Notes. So it's the 5 nights at Freddy's we put out.
Which you
He
should
wanted
watch, by the way.
us to join. Gavin Free joined. Barbara Dunkelman joined. Lindsay joined. Gus joined. Chris joined. Miles joined. And this was all by invitation from Brandon, not by our own
Yeah, we
free
don't
will.
click accept. You just automatically put into it.
Miles says, yo. I say, you know you could create group chats now. Group's not necessary anymore. Just a heads up. Gus left immersion. Lindsay left immersion. And that's it. I can't leave the group because it says it doesn't exist.
You
but it's
did
still in.
nothing, Brandon. Nothing.
It wasn't for me. It was like, because I wasn't posting the edits. It was for like, hey, put the edits here. Because like the way we like solicit like notes from stuff, it bothers me so much. It's so inefficient. So I was like, well, this makes sense. We'll make a group chat. People can post in here and bounce ideas off one another. And then I forgot about it.
Yeah, you
Till right now.
There was one that you made over the summer. Like I think we were working on sizzle reels for RTX.
Yeah,
and you
called
made
sizzle reels.
and it was like the same thing. Everyone joins. Then Brandon's like, "Hey, I made this group so we could talk about sizzle reels." Brandon Farmahini left the group.
I didn't leave it.
That's it.
That's not my fault. I deleted it for all of you.
I'm still in there.
That's not my problem.
So Brandon, this is an intervention. Stop making fucking channels.
You can make group chats now.
Okay,
It'll
I will
change
do
your
that.
life.
In my defense, I legitimately tried to delete it, and I did, but it just it sucks for you guys.
Mushroom, that's awkward.
Whoops.
No, so I sent it to Chris, and I immediately sent text, and I was like, "Well, here we'll tell this from the opposite side." So you get the penis
It was
picture.
just like, well, a picture of a penis, and it said, "Hey, I might have accidentally just sent you. I might have just sent you a picture of a penis. It might be mine."
and then Chris is so quick on his feet. Like I immediately got a text back that said, "But I didn't get you anything for Christmas."
It's good.
You didn't think about just lying and saying it was someone else's?
Why would that have made?
What's the context of that? That would have made it
that would have made it easy. That would have made it better. Now Chris possesses.
I deleted it.
I
deleted
don't
it.
care. There's probably
Was it just like
threesome
is it?
girls probably have a million.
You weren't in the image, like you didn't have your driver's license up to it,
What
right?
would
There's
you
nothing
have
to
said?
prove that it's yours.
Brandon, what would you have said if you'd sent me a picture of a dick and you had been like, "No, it's not mine"?
No, I would have just been like,
That's weird.
ta-da!
What?
That's like the only thing you do. Like
I would have been
not
way
a
more
wand,
creeped out
Brandon.
if you sent me a picture of a dick and said "ta-da."
ta-da!
That would have been way creepier than, "Hey, I accidentally sent you a picture of my penis."
No, I probably would have been like, oh, sending this as a joke to somebody else. Unless, of course, you could tell that it's my penis.
It's like
No, you're like sending like a joke dick pic. You never sent a joke dick pic before?
no, can't say that I have.
Really?
Please explain the context of a joke dick pic.
Yeah, you're just talking about dick pics. They're like relationships. You're like, oh, and you send someone that's obviously not yours.
I actually did get.
I think Brandon's pulling in the lead
I think it,
for the
For
least.
closest to a killer.
Brandon is a serial killer.
Maybe that's why I fucked up my eyes.
Would you ever be interested in getting like those like super crazy contacts, like colors, like 8 balls
Hell no.
or skulls?
No.
No?
I hate that stuff.
Why don't you get LASIK? Is it because your face would look different?
I don't trust LASIK. I still think we're
Really?
too early in the technology. It's like I don't want laser shooting at my eyes, and then in 15 years they're like, oh yeah, that gives you ball cancer too.
Yeah, but what if it gives you like laser eyes?
Just like
Like
Superman?
shooting lasers out of your eyes.
That's not gonna happen.
I don't know either, Gavin. Gavin and I just exchanged a quizzical look. That's impossible. It's not a fucking comic book, dude. It's lasers fixing your
I
eyes.
guess your scenario is actually like possible.
Right.
So that
Laser-
there's legitimately something.
Laser's just a different kind of light, right?
Does that
There'd
matter?
be two like the
Is it two separate tubes, or is it like?
yeah. It's two complete vagina fascias.
Okay.
So
Are
it'd
they
be
like
two-
smaller because it's like?
Nah. One of them's just higher up.
Two labian.
Labian?
Two labians.
Do I have
And then
is that the plural of labia?
The door knocker, right? Two of those.
Does she have two clits?
Yeah.
That's what I was. Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Why didn't you just say that instead of door
I
knocker?
feel weird.
Gavin, yes.
You feel weird, so you say
Yes.
fucking door knocker?
Yeah, no, that everybody knows. It's like you're like, Hey, I'm here. It's like
That's even worse. What the hell
No,
is
it's
wrong
not.
with
It's
you?
it doesn't have like it's not like that hard edge that like
I would, yeah.
It's way better.
Because I'm embarrassed to be sitting here with you guys. Gavin, you're so red. I don't know if I've ever seen you that red in my life.
Oh, I just like I start conversations and Brandon makes it so worth it every time.
You say that, but it'll come to your head. You'll think of that.
So,
door knock? I don't think I will.
According to who is this? I don't know how to say this Twitter handle. Ian Niken, the guy who had 2 penises said in his AMA he did not absorb a twin.
Interesting. They were both his.
I mean, if you put like just a hose there and you have the air hose.
Well, then you.
What do you say?
Is it that much? You're still fucked.
If you breathe irradiated air or air,
Yeah, just a little bit though.
You don't breathe a little bit. You breathe a lot.
It's
like, but I have like it's a small.
But,
How does breathing out of the hose go again? Show me that again.
I know.
You
if
breathe
you're
really
listening to
funny.
this, you missed what I'm sure will be a great gift.
I would love to have Brandon around during the apocalypse. He's like eating a bunch of pills, cleaning the shotgun.
No, it's the air that would go. Like you have no air to breathe.
Right, you'd have to have like some kind of filtration system.
Oh, yeah. Who has that in their like closet?
Well, who has a shower?
Well, people who built
Some
a
people
bomb
have
shelter
shelter.
build that.
Yeah, you think that? Okay, but if you were the guy who didn't think of that, you did everything else. You had the water and the shelter.
You'd be a pretty
but you thought
fucking
about
stupid guy.
Not as stupid. It's just you had a lot to cover and you just forgot about that one part.
You don't really have
That'd
that
be
much to
annoying.
cover. Air, water, food.
You.
No,
Guns,
waste.
There's a lot.
Excrement will.
See,
It's
I
just a
would've-
living thing. It's just it's where you're gonna be living quarters. You're gonna live there.
You just
Yeah,
open
but
the
you
door
don't
real
think- you don't
fast and
think of,
throw your
like-
shit out. You're like, "Whoop, whoop."
You don't think of air. I'm saying it's just not one of the things in your everyday life that you'll just think of when you're putting together a bomb.
That I need to get air.
In your
Yeah.
everyday life, you don't think about building a bomb shelter. This is an exception to your everyday life.
I know, but I'm a bomb, so I'm just thinking, all right, what do I use in my everyday life? I'm just like, air's not going to come to the
In
top
your
of my head.
everyday life, do you have 5 years of like canned corn? Do you have that too, or is that like part of the preparation?
you
do?
I have
you
nothing
buy-
useful in my apartment. I have pans. That's what I would have.
Can
in
you
the
buy
apartment.
something that turns piss back into drinkable water?
So you don't want the game that's out now, but you want more. Like you don't want.
Yeah, I could go back and play Dead Space 3, right? Because I
Would
haven't
you,
played
though?
it. No.
Okay, so
Because it's on the 360. It's not
strange.
even on the Xbox One though, Brandon. I gotta
That
bust
seems-
out my 360. I'm
That
not
seems
doing that.
strange though, because
It's not
it's
backwards
like
compatible?
I don't
Listen.
want this shit dinner, but I want more dinner exactly like it. Like,
But better.
but better.
That's what he's saying. Yeah. Why not?
That's like saying I don't
I didn't
want
like
gas
Alien 3 and
station.
4, but I hope they make a 5th Alien. In fact, I'll tell you what.
But have you seen Alien 3 and 4?
Yes.
Okay.
They all blend together to me. It's like
Really?
I've seen like 4 of the Harry Potter movies. All I remember is Dobby. Do you think like if you went back in time, like suddenly you just woke up and you were in primitive times, would they kill you right away? Would you be able to make it?
Me, they kill me.
But you have some rudimentary knowledge of.
But you don't have all the stuff in between. You have knowledge of like your generation and like email's great. You don't know how to make a computer though.
No, I think I'd be an amazing cook. I thought about this, and I'm an awful cook.
Where would you
now.
get the ingredients though? Like you want sugar. Where are you gonna get sugar?
Get some cane. I don't know. That's a good point.
What does sugar cane look like, Brandon?
How do you go from sugar cane to sugar? How do you do that?
I know it's very. You can get
How do you do
malaria.
that? Do you shake
it's
the sugar
very
out?
dangerous to do that.
You can get malaria.
You know, because it's wet, it's
wet,
muggy.
it's muggy.
So to go from one to the other.
Yeah, man.
How do you get the sugar out of the sugar cane?
My big thing is getting salt. You'd have to go mine salt, right?
It's just inside.
Yeah.
You snap it open and shake it out.
Yeah, then you just got
Brandon,
But if I'm the one who
I'm going to
finds the
show you a
salt for
picture.
everybody,
I'm
the
going
one
to
who
show
finds
you a
the salt.
picture, and you tell me whether or not it's sugar cane.
All right.
You ready?
Yeah.
Okay. One picture.
Wait.
It's a walking cane.
That's what I said. I'm going to show me cane. Do you think like if you went back in time, like suddenly you just woke up and you were in primitive times, would they kill you right away? Would you be able to make it?
Me, they kill me.
But you have some rudimentary knowledge of.
But you don't have all the stuff in between. You have knowledge of like your generation and like email's great. You don't know how to make a computer though.
No, I think I'd be an amazing cook. I thought about this, and I'm an awful cook.
Where would you
now.
get the ingredients though? Like you want sugar. Where are you going to get sugar?
Get some cane. I don't know. That's a good point.
What does sugar cane look like, Brandon?
How do you go from sugar cane to sugar? How do you do that?
I know it's very. You can get malaria.
Do you shake
it's
the sugar
very
out?
dangerous to do that.
You can get malaria.
Yeah, no, because it's wet. It's muggy.
It's muggy.
So to go from one to the other.
How do you get the sugar out of the sugar cane?
My big thing is getting salt. You'd have to go mine salt, right?
It's just inside.
Yeah.
You snap it open and shake it out.
Yeah, then you just
Brandon,
But
I'm
if I'm the one who
going to
finds the
show you a
salt for
picture.
everybody, I'm
I'm
the
going
one
to
who
show
finds
you a
the salt.
picture, and you tell me whether or not it's sugar cane.
All right.
You ready?
Yeah.
Okay. One picture.
It's a walking cane.
That's what I said. I'm going to cane.
Hey, just want to remind you, if you're watching this episode of the podcast, we originally streamed it live Monday evening for sponsors exclusively at roosterteeth.com. If you'd like more information and a 30-day free trial, please click the link below. Brandon, your fucking phone fucked it up! Right at the end! I never get it right the first time!
You are not going to get it right the second.
You are not coming back.
Cases. I mean, couldn't they?
Would you be
I would think
concerned
they
if
could.
when we started sending like envoys to other planets to colonize them, they also sent some of these soldiers? Would you be like, what's going, like what? Like,
No, you got to
where are they
absolutely
going?
send soldiers
Why
like
would-
that.
yeah.
Because it's not
Why?
only
If it's
not only about contacting other civilizations, it's about wildlife you may encounter.
Oh yeah, I mean, if you know about that, I would assume like there's no way we're going to get someplace that has wildlife. Or
then why are we sending people?
That's what I'm saying. I'd be suspicious. Like I don't think they tell people that, but I'd be suspicious if they started sending like a military envoy with like people.
To ask,
I don't understand what's going on
I just
here.
don't think. I'm
I've gotten
assuming.
lost.
If
I
we
do not
sent-
think they're going to tell us if
you're
we're
saying-
going someplace that has another
So you're
civilization.
saying
I think they will
if we
not
sent
tell us.
diplomatic envoys into space, that'd be fine. You wouldn't be worried. But if they sent military
I'd
along
be
with it,
suspicious. Yeah, I'd be like, okay, these guys want to go here. They want to figure out what's the best way to establish a society based on what's on this planet.
No,
but if
that's-
they send the military, then I'm fucking scared.
No,
Did your parents ever tell you like weird kind of things like that to get you to mold your behavior? They told you a lie. I mean, that happens all the time, but like oddly specific ones. Like my parents told me every time you flick on a light switch, it costs 19 cents. They said every time it goes up, it costs 19 cents. So, Aaron, whenever you do that with the lights and you think you're being funny, every time you did that, it was 19 cents. You cost us $15 when you did that. And I was like, and I thought that till I was probably 17. Like I tell people, just like you, I'd be like, every time you flick up that switch, it's 19 cents, not including all the power you're using. And people were like, this guy's fucking crazy. And then they were just, but no one told me. And then I figured it out on my own. But
I think that's true with like bigger lights, like studio lights. Like
so you were flicking the studio lights in the living room.
I'm just saying,
19 cents every time.
You're ruining the grid,
idea of
Aaron.
that.
my
$35,000 to me, and I think like I would personally not ever have a self-driving car, but like that seems like a good price. You're not going to get one of those for 20 grand. You know, you're not going to get a self-driving car.
I don't
for 20
think
grand.
people are going to own self-driving cars. They're too difficult to maintain and
Why?
probably to program.
I
It's going to be a
don't
completely subscription service.
Why is it too difficult to
People-
maintain?
why-
Hold
why-
on, I want to drill into this. The first thing you said. Why is it too difficult to maintain?
You know, what if you're driving and there's a bump and something moves, and it's going to be like...
But it's a car.
What
It's
does
just
that
a
mean? It's a
car.
car. All cars.
It's just a car.
Yeah, but the sensitivity. I mean, if one little thing is off,
It's
you
the
know...
same
and
thing
some
with
of
like
the-
your pistons firing or your spark plugs igniting
There's a lot of
the
stuff
fuel
that can go
mixture.
wrong in
No,
your
no,
car,
yeah,
and it's
yeah,
just like
They're-
every
they're-
now
they're
and
built
then
to handle this shit and potholes. It's a
No, no,
consumer
no.
product.
All you're talking
for
about-
But there's a
driving over
lot of things
streets.
that can happen in your car where it's like, all right, go at some point and get this looked at. If a component on a self-driving car stops working or is messed up, you're not going to get in that thing
Then
and
you
let it
get
drive
a
you around.
self-towing tow truck to come and take you to the self-fixing
What
car
you're talking
mechanic.
about, you're talking about a computer thing, and cars already have computers, and computer issues are so rare in cars.
But the thing is, it's not just a computer issue. The computer issue relies on a physical object. Like they have
a computer,
an apparatus. No. What I'm
that's
saying
the
is,
case
it
now.
relies with like a physical apparatus on the top of your car.
That's
There's
the case
more
now,
points
Brandon.
of failure.
That's the case now, Brandon.
We shouldn't have fuel injection in cars. That's just another point of failure.
it's more fuel
But
lines
it's
going.
And there's a computer regulating the amount of fuel in. Just give me a carburetor and a screwdriver. That's
Look,
the way I
man,
want to drive my
there's-
car.
How many things have gone wrong in your car where you're like, all right, eventually I got to take this in? I'm telling you, something goes wrong on your self-driving car. That is not something that you want to
That
mess
is-
with.
that
It's
is
not
a
the same
fear-mongering
thing.
attitude.
No, it's anybody who's had a car. Ask Aaron. His car breaks every. I don't even know what month
you
he
don't
has.
bring me into this.
No, that is honestly the
Miata
dumbest.
has not broken.
That is
Terrible.
the dumbest thing
No.
I've ever heard.
Yeah, it's
That is
all,
not the
it's
dumbest
going to
thing.
be a consumer product that's designed to be driven, and if something's wrong, you take it to the fucking mechanic. Like the car you drive now. Something goes wrong, you take it to get it fixed.
There are more things as the cars develop.
That's what people have
that will
always
develop
said
technology.
for years.
And if you're
God.
talking about something that has to drive itself, if one little sensor is off.
Oh, like they
Listen.
wouldn't have designed the car to account for that.
No, there's probably a light that says you're fucked, dude.
Brandon,
Go
let me
get it
tell you
fixed.
something right now. The wheel bearing on your Honda on the front right is very loose. You didn't know that, but I've known it. That wheel can pop off at any time. Did you know that?
When? When did you see that?
Well, now I'm telling you, but I noticed it the other day. I heard it squealing. If that pops off, you have 3 wheels on your car, and you know what's going to happen? You're going to go like this.
You're
to the
stuck.
side.
You can't drive your
You're not
car.
gonna, like-
It's not going to be able to move.
By the way,
No.
you need to change that wheel bearing.
If
This is
anything-
what I'm
not-
saying.
They should take wheel bearings out of
Here's-
cars.
I'm just
Brandon,
it's
let me tell you why you're dumb.
situation, and
Let me
it's
tell you
more
why you're
debilitating.
dumb.
Okay, go ahead.
First of all,
I'm getting loud. I
you don't
need
know
to
anything-
stop being
you don't-
loud.
Yeah, you don't know anything about cars.
That's not true.
You don't know.
You don't know anything about cars either.
I know. I
You
do.
know why I know stuff about cars
No, no,
now?
no, no.
Is because they work like planes, because it's driving by wire. They're all electronic. I just bought a car. I know when you brake, you're not actually doing anything physical. It's the computer.
That's why you know about
braking.
cars now?
It's the computer.
Yeah, I mean, it's because like in I learned all about flying by wire and all the plane shows.
He doesn't know
And then it
anything
was
about
driving
that.
by
First
wire.
of all,
We know about flying
First
by
of
wire.
all, you just said computers are cars are all driven through computers.
Yes.
The reason you don't want to drive a self-driving car is because it's controlled by a computer.
No, not because it's controlled by a computer, because that computer relies much more on physical pieces of equipment in order to function
ultimately, I think
than like my car now.
The thing he's worried about, and I'm going to try to distill his fear, he's worried about the cameras and the sensors on the car braking. Is that correct, Brendan?
Yeah,
said
and then
the
even
thing on
braking,
top, right?
dysfunctioning,
Right.
yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's the
Are
point
you
he's worried
worried?
about.
So, from a safety perspective, you will not get in a self-driving car?
No, I'm just saying
aren't-
there's more points of failure than with another car. And if something fails, I don't think you fuck with it. The car just doesn't drive itself anymore. Whereas in a regular car, something goes wrong. It's like, all right, just eventually take this in and get it looked at. Like if I have one little error light in a self-driving car,
It's just going
to
to stop.
out.
It's just going to stop, though. It's just going to go woo and stop. Because they're going to know. They're like, there's going to be some crazy asshole that as soon as he sees the error light, he's going to freak out. And they'll just have an internal
Who
thing
would not freak out?
that shuts down the car, and it'll just go to the side immediately.
any component that doesn't work, it'll stop.
And also, I think it'll have like sensors that are not just like GPS satellite stuff, blah blah blah. That it'll go to like manual mode and like no.
I'm not trying to say I'm afraid I'm gonna die. What I'm saying is, it's more annoying because if anything goes wrong, the car becomes unusable. And there's more points of failure that debilitate.
here's the
People
deal.
But I've been saying to people, as technology gets added to cars, and as it's been happening over decades, I'm sure people have thought that every single time. Every single time a new piece of technology comes around and gets added to a car, someone says, oh, well, great. Well, if that new piece of technology gets broken, now my car's worthless. And now I can't fix it. And that was like the big thing when cars went from and added fuel injection and all these onboard computers. Like now it wasn't like I used to drive an old car, right? And it's like I kept a toolbox in the bed of my truck, and I was like, if something breaks, I'll just pop up the hood, I'll fix it wherever I am on the side of the road.
Whereas now you can't
do that realistically anymore with a more modern car. But this is just the next extension of that, where it's like further, removal of the driver as someone who can work on the car.
No, I get that.
It's the same
I just
with,
think
it's the same
more
with
point.
every technology, dude.
Because our car has sensors too that helps you brake. Like the car will brake itself if it thinks you're going to crash. But if those things stop working, it doesn't matter.
I mean,
it's just the danger in requiring on not computers and computer interfaces, but physical things on the car.
Companies like Mercedes, right, for a number of years now have had
Which are developing their own self-driving car.
self-driving car, but they've had
They would sell for consumers.
They've had a system. They've had a system in their car that detects if you're falling asleep. It's dozens of sensors that detects if you're falling asleep. They've had it for a number of years now. If those systems were to fail, and think you were asleep, the car would, warn you or shut down or whatever. Well, those things don't fail that often, and it's the same thing. It's
to Chris's jackass comment. I believe Mercedes is selling those vehicles to Uber, but I could be wrong.
I want
All I'm
a
saying is
self-driving motor.
That's the order.
Whatever you are worried about, Brandon,
Yeah,
it's stupid.
Someone else is worrying about it
Yes.
And creating a solution for it.
Yeah, I believe that.
And you need to get that wheel bearing fixed. Otherwise, you're going to die without a computer.
No, I think that was a while ago.
Oh, maybe.
I got it fixed.
All right. Well, it's time to wrap this up.
Finally.
Thank everyone for watching. I do not want to thank Brandon for being here. He ruined it in the last 5 minutes.
I thought that was good. No?
We'll see you guys next time. I'm really sorry for Brandon.
Yeah.
But
We are too.
I thought it. Have you seen the Beyonce extended
The
music
Lemonade
video
thing?
Yeah.
I haven't. I feel like I'm the only person on earth who
I haven't
hasn't
seen
heard
it.
Lemonade.
Isn't it?
It's
like,
awkward.
It was on HBO for like 24 hours, and then that was it, right?
I don't know. I don't know how Paula was watching it. But I was watching it. It was really, really awkward because it's all about how her husband was like cheating on her.
Which
And
apparently is true. Like,
Right.
It's a
And I think
true
that's
thing that happened.
she was saying came from a true place. And I like to think Dre didn't know anything about it. Or
who?
Dre?
Sorry, Jay-Z. My bad. So Jay-Z didn't know anything
Jay-Z
about
didn't
it.
know he was married to Beyonce. What the fuck?
Jay-Z didn't know anything about what she was making, and she's like, no, it's gonna be really great, you love it, it's like, totally fun. And then she plays it, and he's just sitting there. He's like, are you fucking kidding me? It's like just about him and his like extramarital affairs. And it's like,
It's a whole concept album, right? Or is that
yeah,
or is it just
and
a
it's
song?
like we put a lot of our stuff out there public that is out there, but like that's like a whole
pretty
other
hardcore.
level. Yeah.
That's pretty ballsy too. That's awesome. I mean, that's.
Do you think it helps his image?
I don't know if it helps
know if it
his
would
image.
help his image.
It helps her image, I think.
Yeah, because it's a strong,
Yeah, she's like, I'm not gonna take your bullshit.
Yeah, fuck
kind of
you.
Thing.
Yeah, but do you think it helps him because it's like a guy
Oh,
who
he's
still
looking
can't get like
cool?
roped down. Yeah, he's like uncontrollable. Like
I
to
don't
his
know.
audience, not to like obviously her audience.
I don't know about
actually. I've
that.
never thought about that.
I mean, I would think that they would. I mean, I also don't know that much about it, but like, I would think that
It's
they
like
would
the anti-whipped, like rap mogul.
Yeah, but
Aren't they
like,
married?
Yeah.
Yeah, good job cheating on your wife. High
Yeah.
five,
Yeah.
bro.
No, I'm gonna buy your album now.
Yeah.
No,
Dude,
I think
no woman could tie you down.
Sick.
I think that's
Sick,
exactly
bro.
it.
Not even.
They're like, we thought you sold out. We thought you were just like the stay-at-home dad.
Sold
But no,
out to
you're
being in
cool.
love and marrying someone.
I'm not
You
defending
fucking
it.
pussy!
I'm just saying that his,
You're right, Brandon.
You get
He
to
is
sleep
pretty
with the
cool for
hottest
doing
woman on
that.
earth.
It's not cool. I'm not glorifying it. I'm just saying that it could be like closer to what. I don't think they looked at it and be like, this is going to destroy my image. I think they probably looked at it from a practical standpoint and say, this will be good for both of us.
I think they did it very strategically.
Everyone, Brandon thinks he was in the right. All right, move on.
So you're either right, or if you're not, that's when you're not right.
That's true.
No, the philosophy makes sense.
You're right until you're not. Were dinosaurs the best at evolution until they weren't? It's better.
Hold on.
They kept getting bigger and bigger over 100 million years, and then they starved when the asteroid hit and limited the amount of food available. Could that happen, people?
Oh, it's,
I like that
no,
it makes you
I know what
sound like an
happened.
idiot.
It's because I deleted fat people. I deleted the word fat.
So could that happen?
And
to fat
I
people?
guess I
Makes so
forgot
much
to
more sense
re-edit
now.
it. I flew out Saturday morning, and my gate was like gate 22, and security checkpoint 1, the new one, is by gate
Opposite
1.
side.
But I was like, it's new, I've never seen it, so I went out of my way to go to it, and then I get through it, and I'm like, oh my god, my flight's on the other side of the airport. I'm just gonna chill here because it's like 4 in the morning, and then like, I wasn't paying attention. I dozed off a little bit, and I missed my
God.
flight.
Oh,
my
my
I was
God.
like too lazy to go. It was worth it. It's a very nice checkpoint.
That is so stupid, Brandon.
You know how excited I get with stuff like this.
You got so excited you fell asleep?
Well, no, I was so excited. I went to the other side of the airport, and then I got in, and I was like fucking tired. I was like, look, I got an hour and a half. I'm just gonna chill here, and then I'll walk
That is
to my gate.
terrible.
Yeah, it was
You
bad.
spent far too long at the airport that day. That sounds terrible.
So Gavin is under the assumption that I talk to Brandon differently than I talk to anybody else.
You do.
in
You
this
have,
company.
like,
You're angry.
50% less patience when it comes to Brandon.
It is
like
true,
Brandon
Brandon.
wrapped his cord, like he flung the arm the wrong way, and you're like, Brandon, you're killing me. Look at what you're doing. Anyone else? Anyone else?
Don't say it. Don't say it.
He just hit his mic arm with a bottle, too.
I've never. This is my first time in the set, and
Oh,
I love
welcome.
it. It's very nice, but this is a whole new arm system. It's not clear which way it goes,
We had
left or
arms
right.
Before they were in front of our bodies.
Yeah, and I just did this.
You've been on this set, haven't you?
No.
Like before you got married?
No.
It's
so he was turning it the wrong way to where the cord was winding up and
I feel
looked
like-
like it was about to snap. About 5 seconds before we're going to go live, the last thing I want to happen is to have you fucking tear that XLR out.
I feel like you would, anyone else, you would have gone, no, spin it the other way. With Brandon, it's a different story.
We had a meeting this morning.
Brandon!
now that you pointed it out,
killing on his whole career. He's like, don't you work in production?
I'm starting to realize I am actually really mean to him. This morning we were at a meeting and we were at a big conference room table. I guess Brandon had walked in before me and he was talking with someone. Then I walked in and Brandon's shit was just all over the table, taking up like 4 seats.
No, it was like 1.5 seats. No one else was in the room.
And I was like, Brandon, what the fuck? Are you taking up enough space? You're like, oh, sorry about that. Then you move like one thing off the table.
Yeah, so I could sit down. One of those spaces should be for me.
You were claiming like 4.
No, okay, barely 1.5 because nobody was in the room. And I was like, I guess I have time here. And then you saw me go in the room. You're like, oh, Brandon's going in the room now. I better go too.
What? No, I just got my
saw
food.
me. Yeah,
I did
you
not
saw
see
me
you
go
in
in there. I saw every product coming with multiple power supplies, right? And just like separating them like different places. It's my strategy with wedding rings. This is actually like one of 5 wedding rings that I own.
Gonna lose them?
Oh yeah. So I got one in my car, one probably gonna put at work, a couple at home.
His girlfriend has one.
And they're all Amazon. They're like $12.
Why don't you just wear it?
What kind of ring you got?
Why you got this problem?
Because I'm gonna lose it.
You'll lose it if you're wearing it. I don't
your ring?
understand that logic.
What's this?
It's gonna
image that
fall
we're
off.
looking
I'm
at?
gonna put it somewhere. I'm not gonna put it. I'm gonna put it like.
Why can't you just keep 4 at home and when you lose one, go home and get it? Why do you need one immediately? Like, is it a tragedy if you're not wearing your ring for like half an hour?
Well, I don't know. It's better to come home with a ring on than to come home and like, why's your ring not on?
What's the image we just saw? Is that a note from your wife?
Yeah, I tweeted that because it bothers her a lot when I don't wear it, and I haven't been wearing it that much. So she put a very, very large note next to my on the table next to the bed.
Motor-sized.
You know what I find interesting about the marriage ring situation is that women wear a ring starting much sooner than men. Like, men don't wear anything when they're engaged. So I think that's probably why it's a bigger deal to her. It's like, look, I've been wearing this engagement ring for how long?
She's like a year and 2 months.
A year and 2 months.
That's not it for her. She just wants other women to know that this D is no longer available.
Yeah, you are in high demand. I don't blame her. You are fucking hot property.
I was like, you sure this?
He looks good at the moment.
Oh, thank you. You sure this is not gonna make people like, want me more?
Yes.
See? Because it's like, oh, look, that's not available.
Not you, but attractive people.
Yeah, fair enough. That's what I meant.
Let's go back to that picture. I want to see what Brandon's nightstand looks like.
Well, you might take him a second to pull it up.
Is that your side?
You had a little pop figurine.
There it
What
is.
is that? Is that Grand Moff Tarkin or is it Hodor?
That's Hodor.
Why are the R's capital?
No, not the R in your.
Oh, never mind.
Do you have a cat?
I have
Or
no
a dog.
Cat. We have a dog, and she sheds a ton.
I can see the shed in
Yeah,
here right
she
there.
sheds nonstop, and it's like you go to the groomer. They're like, "All right, can we have $30 to do a shedding treatment?" You're like, "Sure," and then she gets home and just sheds all over everything.
You should buy a Furminator brush.
I have one.
Yeah.
I don't want to do that.
What's a Furminator?
I bought it, and then I was like, man, I just assumed by the name of this, it would be some kind of like more automatic system. Like,
It's just like a special brush that gets to the undercoat and pulls out all the loose hair.
yeah, I gotta go. I'm like,
You don't want to
this
brush your
does
dog.
Suck.
It fixes the
And
problem.
She hates it. That's
Just
what
do
they do. They furminate her, but like even when she comes home, it's still like.
So you don't want to pay $30 to them. You could pay $30 to the store one time and get the brush to do it yourself.
I've done both of those things, but I still won't brush it because I did this. I'm like, Penny and I looked at each other and we're like, we don't want to do this.
Dogs love it. Dogs love being brushed.
Really?
You should try again.
Yeah, just
I'll
try.
try again. The thing is, it pulls her hair, and I feel it, and it's like I feel like it hurts her.
No.
Yeah, but she's been through a lot. She ate a bunch of lube.
She did a bunch.
She ate a bunch of lube.
So I put on the adult diaper, and I peed, and it was really weird. It was really weird.
Did it contain it all?
It did.
So you're basically just pissing against your own skin, though.
Yeah, but it was also just me wearing only a diaper
and a shirt, and
in a parking lot, pissing myself.
Did it drip down your leg?
No.
Well, then what was the experience like taking it off?
It was
just
soggy and heavy.
So I think this was edited, and we looked at it. I was like, Chris, you just don't release this.
What would have been interesting was.
Can we find this video and put it up?
Nope. No.
Is it gone?
I wish you had weighed the diaper before you peed in it, and then weighed it again after. That way you could know how much.
But you could just piss into a jar and weigh that.
Yeah, but he'd already done this.
Yeah.
Was it warm?
Of course it was fucking warm. It's piss,
I don't know.
dude. What do you?
I don't piss on myself enough to know that
You
it's
think
warm.
your piss is cold?
I don't know.
Your body, of course, is warm. It's
I
body
don't know.
temperature.
I don't know what it's like.
Have you ever pissed?
I don't get
cold
pissed
liquid?
on.
Okay, have you ever pissed outside in the cold?
Yeah.
Steamy.
Oh yeah, it does steam and it hits the ground.
Are you?
Fair enough.
It steams before it hits the ground.
It's hot. Yeah. Jesus Christ, Brandon.
Yeah, well, I haven't felt it, Chris. I've never pissed on my body.
So would you have a 2 in there?
Oh God.
Oh no.
I got no reply. That means yes.
That's exhausting to be that nice. That's what impresses me the most about strippers at a strip club is being that nice for that long. Seriously, like they are so like that is the nicest anybody will ever be to you.
Well, like rubbing their genitals? on you?
No. Just general conversation. Like, oh, how are you doing? What are you here for? Like, it's
What are
so
you here
positive
for?
and nice.
I
Yeah,
think
like
when you walk into a strip club, it's pretty clear what you're there for.
no.
Are you
Like,
here
oh,
for
are you here for
these?
like a
Are you
bachelor,
this?
like a bachelor party, or just like any kind of like social gathering? But like, they spend more
I'm
time
here for
just
the
talking,
ambiance.
talking
Sorry,
about like
I really love the beer.
like general
They've
conversation.
got they've got great.
make a great pina
Budweiser.
colada.
Yeah.
Oh, if only I wouldn't be here. I'd be like, Gus, I cannot be on this podcast. I need a pina colada from a strip club by the airport.
Can we talk about handshakes?
Yeah.
They're the worst, right?
Oh yeah. I my thing is,
God, I
you
went
can
Seinfeld
detect
there.
a handshake, and I think Patrick, I believe Patrick noticed this when Gus and I first interviewed him. You can detect when the handshake is going to come up, right? I have a move. It's a stand up and a slow back away because I don't want to touch your hand.
So you back away from a handshake?
Yeah, no, it's not a like step thing.
It's not like
just
someone shakes your hand and you're like, whoa.
It's making the person feel uncomfortable
by greeting
trying
them
to initiate the handshake. Well, no, not a greet. A greet, you're stuck. You got
What?
no options.
Are you guys
But like
all anti-handshake?
No.
I have no
I'll
problem.
I'll tell you where you have no problem with it. I have no problem with handshakes.
What are they?
I have a problem with the variance of handshakes and also the opportunity for things like hugs and fist bumps and all that kind of stuff. I hate that there's not a standard, that when like there's nothing like there's so many like going in for a handshake and someone's like going in for a hug or going for a handshake and someone's got a fist bump. Just terrible.
It's about power. Like situation. Like at the
What's the power
wedding
move?
reception, right? We had to greet everybody, and a lot of these like big tough guys came in, that were friends with my big tough father-in-law. And then everyone that came in, I was like, I am gonna meet them and exceed this handshake. So I met it, and I was like full firm, and like I have dainty hands. I have like pianist hands.
Those are good
And then you
hands.
not only do that, you do the.
Oh, you like
I could rip your arm off.
Yeah.
Does it make sense though?
Yeah, no, like, okay, I will say yes. Handshakes, everyone should learn how to give a good handshake. That's a normal thing. That's something that I noticed. We shake hands with a lot of people. When we go to cons and stuff like that, we shake hands, or we're at parties and that kind of thing with industry things. Everyone should learn to make a good, firm handshake. Aim for the hand, get a good grip, do a couple shakes, and be done with that. I'm talking about like when you're just in a social gathering and you don't know what's the deal for this one. Are we all going to be just going in for those like the handshake into the hug? Are we gonna do a little side hug? Are we gonna do a handshake that then turns into like a slide or something?
Well, it's like the handshake and then the slide and then the snap. But if the snap goes wrong, you got no way out. You just got to slowly walk away. You know what I'm talking about?
Everything out. All of your tactics involve you just walking away.
No. It's you know what I'm talking about. Like here, Chris, do the thing.
Well,
it's like this, and we're like.
Oh yeah, whereas people do. I hate whenever.
Snap it.
That's too many things.
Gotta worry about yourself.
Hey,
man.
Brandon, you're married.
Yes.
You gonna have a kid someday?
I suppose.
I'm not saying you have to.
The idea is nice, but then we think about how much money that costs.
It does.
And like there's stuff now we want to do that we can't, so we just got another dog, which I think it kind of fills that natural instinct to want to have a kid. And he's fucking crazy.
It would look more like
What was that movie where the president had a twin brother and the president died, but they didn't want to lose power, so
No,
they took his
it's-
twin brother and put him in a power?
It's Dave.
Yeah.
And it's not a twin brother. It's a
just a random
he's just
dude.
a random dude who happens to look exactly like the president.
Oh, that's perfect. Maybe you can take over North Korea.
This dude was not the leader of North Korea. You know
no,
that,
no,
right?
no. But I mean, the reason that they think he might have been killed is because he has some kind of claim to the leadership. He was the older brother, and
half brother.
Sure, the older half brother, but still the oldest son of Kim Jong-il. So he could be a threat. It's
Listen,
like Game of Thrones shit.
do not even float that out there. Do you know what just happened to this guy? He got stabbed with needles and died in a Malaysian airport. Do not even say I have any claim to the North Korean leadership. No, I don't want it. No, I have nothing. Nothing. The fuck are you trying to kill me?
I'm sorry. You're the hope. You're the great hope.
You know how often I'm in an airport?
You could bring stability
how
to
often
the
there's
east.
a woman behind me with a needle?
You could bring stability to the east.
No, what? No, absolutely not.
Gustarola for North Korean president.
So much.
Yeah, he pretended to be his own publicist for a while.
Yeah, I don't know if that's true.
Yeah,
You have to
he-
say allegedly for everything, or you'll get sued.
I think even if you say allegedly, that doesn't
Doesn't
protect
work
you.
at all.
That's like saying you have to tell me if you're a cop.
Yeah.
That's not true.
That's like saying no offense, but you're an idiot.
Yeah. It's like, what?
I'm just saying.
That's right. You are just saying.
I hate that phrase.
Is that what you say?
No, I don't say it. I just don't like it when other people do it.
I'm just saying.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying that.
It's just
I'm just saying. It's like, what is that trying? Yeah, I know. Like you're
Yeah,
just.
you said it. Well done.
You're not making it any easier.
Chris, do you say that?
Your dog has a profession.
A lot of dogs have professions. A
Why
lot
do
of.
you
I mean,
say it that way?
historically, a lot
Why do you
of.
say it that way? My dog has a profession?
Yeah,
No,
look,
he
look, there's a
doesn't.
lot of dogs. Like, look, like
Your
a
dog
lot of
doesn't
like
file
people who have
taxes.
sheep.
Your
right?
dog doesn't get a paycheck.
A lot of people have sheep, right? The only reason they have a sheepdog or a herding dog is so it herds.
Yeah, but
and
you
like, so
but
like,
you
it has to
pay
do
them.
that, or it won't get food, or it won't get shelter.
Your dog isn't hunting or herding or anything, right?
Well, not yet, because we
Not
live in an
yet?
apartment. But like our dog, we have the same dog. We have a Scottish Terrier at our at our house in Houston, and we have no squirrels in the backyard. We have no badgers, because if he sees a rodent, he immediately goes for it, and he has these razor sharp teeth that just kill.
So it would have been more bust if he just took a dump right in frame and walked off.
He took a dump nearby. That's what I don't understand about puppies. Like 90% of the time, he goes out to the balcony to do his business because we have grass that's shipped to us, and it's great. It goes on the balcony. It's wonderful.
Grass that's shipped to
Wait.
you?
You buy turf?
Yeah.
But you don't.
No, it's not turf. It's real grass.
Wait, but turf is real grass.
Oh, I guess turf.
What do you buy like a couple pieces of sod? Or I mean,
Yeah. So there's this company called Fresh Patch.
All right.
Oh, come on. They're not paying us shit.
Every 2 weeks they ship me grass from California, and it's really great because it comes in this small cardboard box, and then you take the cardboard box, you put it on the balcony, and then it's designed to where you just cut the tape, and then you take off the top, and then all of a sudden you just have this nice little box for them, like a litter box. It's great, and like dogs love it. They immediately go to it. They're like, "Oh, this isn't some shit plastic. I'm gonna do my business here." So 90% of the time he does his business there, but then sometimes he just pees or poops somewhere else in the apartment, and I just want to get inside his head. Like, I don't understand the thought process, and I literally sit there and try to think what goes through his mind, and then I realize he's just kind of like a little dumb animal.
Well, I think the problem is his brain is about this big, and then that means that he just poops when he needs poop come out.
Yeah.
Okay. You buy grass from California that's shipped to you so you can put it on your balcony?
Yeah.
Why don't you just take your dog out?
We do. We take them out, but I mean, they pee and poop a lot.
Why
and
don't you-
especially like if it's like midnight or 1 a.m. or 2 a.m.
This seems like
Plus,
the
it's
most
the easiest way to potty train a dog
seems
because
like the
you
most
need it-
inefficient thing in the world.
What are you talking about?
There's grass everywhere. You can't just get some grass here in Austin. You have to get grass shipped from California.
Yeah, where am I going to go to buy grass in Austin?
I'll give you some grass. I got grass.
You can
No,
buy
you
grass.
okay? So
you go to like Home Depot and buy like a
Why?
piece of sod or
Why
two.
would I do that when for $20 grass shows up at my house?
The
and
carbon
it's like
footprint
it's
on
like
that
an inch and a half of
Like,
dirt.
I don't care about the environment, but that is so wasteful.
How is that wasteful?
You're having to ship all of this grass from California?
Yeah,
There's
and then the grass
here.
dies, I throw it away. All grass dies, and then I take the card box that it comes in, and then I put it in the dumpster.
So you
Or sorry, I
can't-
recycle it. They get money. Their business keeps surviving.
So you can't just plant this grass in some mud and keep it forever?
On my balcony? No.
Why not?
Because the dogs are
That's
going to keep
just
doing their mess.
ridiculous.
You need to refresh it. If a
It's
dog keeps
grass.
pissing on it,
It will rain on it and wash it and grow it.
no,
and you
that's
can
not
cut
how it works. If it's just cut up in a box,
How deep does floor have to be for grass to live?
what do you mean floor? It's this concrete balcony.
Yeah, but if you put it on like a foot of mud, will it live?
I'm not going to do that. You have any idea how difficult that is? And the whole point is that after a couple weeks, you can throw it away. Because if you have dogs pissing and shitting on grass constantly, it's going to start smelling. Do you want to hear poop? Does anybody want to hear a poop story?
Oh my God, what is it with you? Are you always? You mean like go to poop? How long have we been going? About 23 minutes.
Forget it. No poop story.
I can't believe you buy grass from a different state. That's hilarious.
It's really
I didn't
popular.
know you could do that.
No. Like all right, imagine this. You wake up and then some guy shows up at your house and he's like, "Here, sir, I have your grass." And you grab it, put it on your balcony, cut the tape, pull it up, and all of a sudden now you have beautiful grass for your dogs to do their business on. They don't have to hold it. They don't have to hold it. Versus me driving to Home Depot saying, "Hello, sir, can I buy your best grass?" Having them cut it.
You use favor more than anyone I've ever met. Just favor some grass.
No.
Oh fuck!
No.
You got fucked.
No.
Then you're supporting local
that's gonna
drivers.
cost me way more.
No, wait.
Two.
Why?
Or B.
Don't they also have like those artificial turf specifically designed for this that you could keep on your balcony and reuse?
Yeah, we tried that. It smells because it doesn't soak up the urine. The urine just sits there, and you go out and like you want to vomit.
Just throw it
With
off the
this,
balcony.
it's like 1.5 inches of soil which soaks it up.
You could you could get way more grass favoring it locally.
Yeah.
It's so much more expensive.
How?
And I'm not gonna get.
How?
Okay,
Have you?
no, all right.
How is it
we are
more-
going to do this. We are going to do this. I'm going to favor go to Home Depot, buy me grass, show up, bring it in a container in cardboard, and let's see how much that costs.
Okay.
And I love favor. Like yesterday for Valentine's Day, I used favor.
Favor Valentine's Day.
Yeah. So favor went.
I'm not gonna go out
H-E-B.
and buy chocolates and flowers.
Favor went to HEB. And I was like, just show me what they got. I was like, you got a budget of $100. Let's see what they have. And they showed me this, sent pictures. And I was like, okay. I was like, get it all. And then he went and he took it to my wife's work and delivered it to her. Why is that weird? Okay.
Why wouldn't you just do it yourself?
You're telling me to use favor to get grass.
No one's telling you to do anything, Brandon. All right.
And too much so, she got bitten a couple months ago. I think I talked about it on the podcast. But so we do have pictures that I sent Patrick. So I asked Favor, go there, send me pictures of what they have. And they sent me pictures. So if we can see those pictures, and he showed, I was like, look for something that has up to 12 roses, maybe 24, and other flowers. So he's like, oh, how about this? And I was like, yes. And then he also sent me, I was like, well, what about balloons? You have some balloons? So he showed me the balloons. And I was like, yeah, that looks awesome. I was like, as many balloons as you can get, a ridiculous amount of balloons.
Can we cut to that? Can we come back to that? Is that possible? That is a ridiculous amount of balloons to you?
That's 6 balloons,
That looks
Brandon.
like the end of a day-long balloon sale.
That's like all the balloons are gone and this is all that's left.
Well, I mean, when people buy balloons, they buy 2 or 3.
Balloons, 6.
That's a decent amount. That's what I told him.
You said a
and he came with
ridiculous
that.
amount.
And it's not just the number. There's a little bear. There is a bear that is trapped in a balloon with a little heart that says, "I'll be your Valentine," maybe kind of implying, for the love of God, let me
out.
Out.
That's kind of weird, dude.
That's some fast
It's
work
like
there.
someone like trapped pedo bear.
So
love is.
Let me say something here that I'm thinking about. Now that I see the photos that this favor person sent you, I would be pissed if that was me. If I was that favor delivery
That's
person,
what I
I'd
said.
be like, motherfucker. Normally I just get a list of like 5 things to buy. Now I gotta go and like send photos and
Yeah.
wait for approval. Like I'm gonna be doing this forever.
Is that part of their service? They like you can interact and have them do random stuff.
Yeah, and usually they'll send you pictures for random tasks. I
So
mean,
could
they're
you be
happy
like-
to have business, especially I could have been like, hey, go to this restaurant and buy me something that costs $25. But no, I was like, I wanted a good amount of things for Valentine's, so it was $100. So percentage of that, he got a good tip. It was a good use of his time. It was a good favor. After that, he's probably like, man, this is a good start to the day. Good things are gonna happen to me.
Could you go on favor and be like, go into the bank?
I would
take a picture of the security guard's belt and send it to me. Is that a favor?
No, they would not do that. They'd probably report it.
All right.
They have a way to report it and see something weird.
Man, I got fucking pissed off at Favor a couple weeks ago.
Get 2 favors to meet each other and take a picture of each other.
Do you see there was a?
We're talking about what you put in your
fucking
dishwasher.
great conversation.
There was a
here.
city. There's a city in Canada.
You're too rich, don't.
There is.
That's
Let me
Tupperware in my
finish.
fridge.
It's the first
Well,
half of the
finish
sentence.
it.
So we're just talking about like weird colored
Shitty
stuff
comment.
and like trusting it or being skeptical. There's a city in Canada where all of the water in the city, like the tap water, just became pink. And people started like getting freaked out about it, and the city was like, no, don't worry about it. Just keep on going. Just trust us. Everything's okay. But it's like, that's the weirdest thing. Like, could you imagine like getting up in the morning?
Oh my
You
God.
take a shower and it's just like nothing but
What
like,
was it?
Huh?
That's like something out of Batman. Like Joker put something in the fucking
This is
city
what it is.
reservoir.
The city planner was like, we're gonna raise awareness on cancer by giving cancer.
Yeah.
So we're just gonna.
What was it?
It looks like someone
It's
threw a
pink.
giant bath bomb in the reservoir.
Brandon, you're not
I'm
answering
looking
me.
it up.
What
I
was
have it
it?
here. I'm having it here.
You brought the
All right,
story
yeah, I
up.
know.
So did
All
they-
right,
did they
so
touch the
the city
pH
says
level?
they're
You're looking
assessing
it up. You're just
exactly
like,
what
you're not
happened.
acknowledging that I'm asking
But
you a
I was just
question.
waiting for you guys to finish. I didn't want to just interrupt
kept
you.
saying,
it
Brandon,
appears
what
a
is it?
valve may have struck, allowing the potassium. Oh fuck me. Permanganate. Pomegranate. Thank you. To get
Oh, that explains the color.
Let's
it's not. I read it. It's not
re-record it.
pomegranate.
Yeah. Permanent. Hold on.
You got it
Let
right.
me look. What is it?
To be able to get into our sump reservoir and thereby into the town's water distribution system.
Potassium what?
Potassium pomegranate.
Potassium pomegranate.
Let me look at it.
Your favorite Sunny D flavor.
Permanent.
Just read it. Just read the syllables.
Yeah, I mean,
Oh my god.
God, you are a train wreck, Brandon.
where is it? Potassium
I'm trying to help.
permanganate.
I'm trying to help. Trying to contribute. What was it?
Permanganate.
Oh,
Oh, of course.
you just said that. Permanganate.
Did you
yeah.
learn when you learned how to read? Little Brandon.
Yeah.
When you learned how to read, did you learn like using phonics or did you learn sight words?
Just sight words.
Oh, that explains why you can't fucking read then.
Yep. Yeah, just read like, part of the minute. I mean, it's just
It's like, yeah, like-
pronunciation just doesn't make. Yep.
I just think that
And I was a horrible speller.
I think learning that way is awful because
It
then
is.
when you encounter words you don't know how to fucking say them.
Yep.
Sight words.
It's basically memorization. You start learning lists of words.
Oh, that's
way,
wrong.
Right. So instead of like being able to read something phonetically, you can only say things if you have experience with that word already.
Well, it's why
It's the way I think most people are taught now.
That's
Really?
bad.
Yeah.
Well, there's.
Why not just learn the letters and then learn how to read?
It's like yeah. I love having Brandon on the podcast.
Oh.
I like it cut to
We're gonna
Chris.
start with that.
We're gonna start with it. Like I had other stuff I want to talk about, but already Brandon has derailed me. I feel like Brandon and I don't see each other that frequently, but anytime I see Brandon, it's always something fun. I was sitting here. I got here first to the set before we started, and I was going over ad copy and like looking up stuff to talk about. And Brandon comes in. He's like, "Man, our dryer here sucks." Like, what's wrong? He said, "I've had my sweater in there over an hour and it's still wet." I said, "Did you take the lint out? Did you clean the lint trap?" He goes, "I don't know."
I know I did not.
I said because
I absolutely know I
guarantee
did
you,
not.
If the dryer is not drying, the lint trap is full. We go over there and open it up. It's like overflowing with
No, it's not overflowing.
can-
It's like half full.
That can start a fire.
It can start a fire.
Oh, come on. It's not going to start
You're
a
meant to
fire.
change it every time you use it, aren't you?
Are you supposed to do it every single time?
Yes.
Uh,
There was enough there, I will say, that it wasn't. That was not just one load worth of lint. That was several loads. People have not been changing that out.
Well, I'm not an engineer. I don't know how many. No, it definitely probably is not. I will say this though. One, dryer sucks no matter what, even outside of that. But two, like when you open it up, you don't see lint trap.
It's
like
right
every
in front of you. It says clean lint trap before using. It's like you open it and it's at eye level.
No, it's not. You have to like put your head in and like tilt your eyes down and squint.
Have you ever used a washer or dryer before?
I have. When I open my dryer, it's like, oh, lint trap. But I mean, I rarely ever use this. I just didn't think of it.
So why were you using it today?
Oh, I had to wash this nice hoodie.
I don't think it was too far. I just think it was deep.
Is there any way we could get screenshots from the video that I took of Gus and I, or even see the video evidence of the
Not the To Catch a
dryer?
Predator.
Do we have
You're
another?
going back to the dryer?
Do we have another? Well, I mean, I'm saying like we can let the
We get a
people
bottle
decide.
opener?
This one's it's got like gum and shit all over it. It makes the beer taste bad.
You can use my keys.
Is there one? Oh, right there. There's one right there. Thanks. I think Nick was pointing at it.
Wait, how
Right
does
in
that
front of
make
us.
it taste bad, Gavin?
I don't know. It's
It just like scrapes up against the
goo
lip.
all
I could
over
see that. So what was I going to say? So we were going back. Now you brought it back to the dryer. So this is your fault. I wish.
I get it.
I wish that I could spend a week living with Brandon. I think I could fix so much of your life.
Could you really?
I think so.
You'd stop making him buy grass from California.
Right.
No, that's a no-brainer.
Here it is. Oh, we literally just took this video. It's already ready.
Did you film it at 12 frames a second?
No,
Look at that.
No.
Oh my god.
Yeah, but look how much it holds. It's
Look
like
how much it
55% full.
But the top part probably doesn't even accept lint.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, the blockers on the bottom half.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. But how many people before me?
it got in my
how
mouth,
many
is what I
people
said there.
before me do you think did not clean that?
That looks like 5 or 6 like dry
That's more than
cycles.
that. That's like 10. It's a communal
That's 10?
washer dryer.
That's a lot.
Notice though, even in that video, you could not see where the little sign was to empty the lint roll.
I didn't. It went by too fast.
I think we started after. Well, I don't know.
Yeah. Well, Brandon, who'd you fight?
I'm pretty sure it was in daycare.
Oh,
Daycare's rough. No,
okay, all
no,
right.
daycare is rough. You do not know. I didn't go to some like fancy French
Compton
daycare.
daycare.
it was
No,
it was rough.
I want to hear the story about the bar fight now. I don't want to hear about Brandon's daycare fight.
I kind of want to hear about it.
Did you get an owie?
I mean, I got
or is it a boo boo?
The first time, there's a few. I got like
What fucking daycare did you go to?
black eye.
So you got a black eye
Yeah.
in daycare?
Yeah, no, I'm telling you.
What
I'm
did
sure
you
there's a
do?
lot of people who can. I mean, kids are bored. You don't have a lot of stuff to play with.
So you play with punching eye? What?
Yeah, it's like prison. Violence is like what entertains people. I mean, it's you don't have shanks, but like, I mean, you're at daycare for like 12 months out of the year. Over the course of like, I don't know how many years of your life, stuff's gonna happen. You know, it's not often, but you know, there's a
What
few
happened?
times.
Do you know?
No, I can't remember. It was probably just some trash talk, and then some kid got pissed and then punched me in the eye.
Some daycare trash talk.
And then there was another, and my parents were proud of me the first time, and then there was another time where I came out ahead and punched a kid in the lip, and I didn't have a black eye. My parents were not happy, but you know, kids get in fights in daycare.
Were you ever?
I wasn't an asshole. Like I'm not. I wasn't a bully.
I've
but-
never known anyone who got in a fight.
I never got in a
daycare.
fight daycare. I do remember.
Anybody out there in the studio here? No one.
I do
Anyone
remember.
been in a fight in daycare? Oh, one? No. Okay, no.
He raised
no.
his
Where
hand
did
to
you
say
guys?
no.
How many of you guys went to daycare for like years? Really? And no.
You're the only one, Brandon.
And I'm Brandon.
There you go, buddy. And right before the podcast, Gus has his habit of where he says, "Don't talk about anything. Don't talk about anything." And I actually did that for one of the first times ever. Because Brandon walked in, one of the first things he said when I saw him today was, "So I have this theory about the sun." I was just like, I don't know what this is going to be, but I don't want to talk about it right now. I want to hear the theory of the sun on the podcast. Max, Gray, any predictions of what his theory of the sun is?
Genius. Like,
is it
I
based
realized-
on anything? Like, was there something
Is
that
this going to be
happened?
the relative time dilation thing?
It was an epiphany, like a personal experience that I had.
Were you
and
in the
just, like,
heat?
Is
Were you
this
in
like
the light?
flat Earth or turtles all the way down or any of that?
No, it's genius.
Okay.
Like after this, people are going to be like, Brandon was absolutely right, and it's going to change the way that they look at the world.
Genius, by the way, arguable. That's, you know, in the eye of the beholder. Before you say it, though, I want to say that today's podcast is brought to you by Day 5, Season 2. Day 5 is coming back for the second season. You can check it out. It'll be on Rooster Teeth First on August 6th. Be sure to check it out. It is amazing. All right, let's hear it. What's the theory of the sun?
Look, I was at the beach for like a week, which
There
was
is sun at the beach.
a bit much.
For a what?
A bit much.
What's a bit much?
To be like, at a beach for a week. I mean, you get bored. It's like, you know, there's
It is, yeah.
sand, there's things touching me in the ocean.
I once spent 10 days in Vegas, and I never want to go back to Vegas. It was far too long to be in Las
I spent
Vegas.
8 days in Vegas. Yeah, it was
Too
awful.
long.
No, it's a
Yeah,
nightmare.
Done. Out.
Yeah.
So it's unbelievably annoying because I burn very easily. So I have to like lather up with sunblock. And it's like disgusting and sticky, but I'm like, I just can't. I mean, this could be miserable. And then it's like, wait, like after 10 minutes, you start, like your body literally starts being damaged by this thing up in the sky. Like it's radiation. It's literally like radiation that your body is almost allergic to, if you want to call that. It literally starts destroying you. And it's like, how is it any different than smoking? It's not. It's the exact same thing. The only difference is, and it makes you wonder if we would feel differently about smoking, we have a way to slow down the effects. Like I believe SPF, the way that it's measured is it tells you like how much it slows the effect of the sun destroying you.
Knock me out here. So I'm taking SPF 15. Brandon, what does that mean?
I think it slows down the effects of the sun's damage by like it's 1/15.
So if I spend 15 minutes in the sun with SPF 15 on it, it's the same as spending 1 minute in the sun with nothing on.
Geez, now that you say that, it doesn't sound right. I do know that after a certain SPF, it just doesn't matter. You go from like 96% effective to 97.
Once I take one step into the analyzation, then it doesn't make sense.
It's basically, it helps not damage you. And then, do you know the most popular form of cancer? Not lung cancer.
Popular? Like it's voted on the greatest list.
All right. Yeah, most popular with people's bodies. It kind of makes sense. What do you think? What's the most common?
Common, there we go. I would say skin cancer.
Skin cancer.
Yeah, melanoma.
The facts are on my side here. It doesn't make sense. We have an entire billions and billions of dollars.
Are you debating with the sun? What are you doing here?
It just doesn't make sense. Like people just, why? We need to understand that this thing is killing you. It's just, it hurts. Your body literally just is like, no, get away.
I'm still kind of locked onto like, the other like most common forms of cancer would be like breast cancer, prostate cancer. And now I'm like, how does the sun get involved? Like I've got some really strange images of people in sun affecting.
By the way, you were 100% correct on SPF. Hey, exactly what it means.
Inverse ratios.
Imagine that a 30 SPF sunscreen could provide 30 times the protection of no sunscreen. That means if you spend 10 minutes in the sun, 30 times longer before you start to burn, or in this case, 300 minutes. That's exactly what it means.
Well done, you.
So how do you feel about smoking?
Ashley has also said that SPF tops out, but that they don't tell you that. Like after 30, there's really nothing else besides just like zinc oxide.
Technically, I think it's the issue of the amount that it helps you. Like it's literally 1% more as you go from like maybe 30 to 80. I don't know. So it's like it's not worth it.
I feel like everything should be a percentage.
You're just lathered in
that's all anyone understands anymore are percentage. Like the Richter scale for earthquakes.
Oh, yeah, the orders of magnitude.
It's magnitudes, yeah.
So isn't that the easiest statistic to manipulate as well?
What's
like percentages? That like there's a lot of times where it's like it's 30 times better than this, but is that I'm really bad at statistics.
No.
Is it 30 times better than the original product, or is it 30% more?
Just buy it.
It's terrible at math.
There's numbers and a percentage symbol.
If you go from like something that's 10 ounces and it goes to 12 ounces, that's a 20% increase. But you can work percentages backwards as well and make them seem like less, because 20% of 12, if it's that much, or if you're doing it for nutritional information, then it's less than 20% of 12.
Nutritional information's fucking bullshit.
Yeah.
You're like, okay, there's only this much sugar in this bottle of Gatorade. Oh, wait a minute, this is per serving, and this bottle is 4 servings.
I actually don't think that's the biggest conspiracy about nutritional information. What I find to be a huge conspiracy about that is, in the U.S., we obviously have a health nutritional crisis in this country.
What are you trying to say, Bernie?
Nothing. I'm holding the mirror up to myself, buddy. The metric system is not used in this country for anything except for nutritional information, but it's also only used for the nutritional part of food, not for the quantity of food. So you get a 12-ounce Coke and it's 35 grams of sugar, and the average American can't make that translation. But if I hand you a 12-ounce Coke and then you saw it was 4 ounces of sugar, or whatever that is. 3 ounces, I don't know. 3 ounces of sugar. You'd be like, Jesus. You're like, this thing is like, you could do the math and that's so much easier. I really think they put nutritional information in metric to intentionally confuse people.
Yeah,
they don't know.
It's like the cigarette company. Like, well, the cigarette companies before there was all the laws about the way that they portrayed information. You just use whatever statistics you can because you're obligated. Because I think it's probably a law that you have to put nutritional information on shit.
Yes,
we're all so fat. So they do whatever they can to just lie to you.
But like, who made the decision at some point that it's all metric? Is that standard? Is that the law? It has to appear in metric.
I think so. Yeah, it has to be
the FDA.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, metric is still used as the standard in science.
Do you remember the FFA?
Yeah, FFA. Future Farmers of America. Yeah.
Like any scientific, any science in this country is still on the metric system, even though like everybody else.
Well, I don't think of science as being American.
I'm saying in this country we still use the metric system in certain ways, just not, I guess.
I think the idea of like,
officially.
what are they working on in the American science community? It's like, what are American scientists working on?
Well,
now?
it's always fascinating to see the headlines go by when, sure enough, one calculation that was done in the older English style system comes into play, and then they're building some amazingly expensive piece of equipment. And it's off by whatever because this half of the team was doing it in metric, the other half of the team was doing it in English.
Imperial,
That happened in a plane in Canada.
It happened to a
had an
Mars
issue
lander,
with
didn't it?
How much fuel I think they put in the plane, or maybe it was air in the tire, and it was just a problem with conversion. What?
That's what are the tires? What are you talking about?
They inflate the tires,
and
if you have if your tire is not inflated
So you
enough,
said the plane took off on a flat tire.
It could.
First of all,
I'm
not entirely sure that
the
airplane tires have air.
They
first
do.
of all.
Well, they have. They
You know
have
about a
something.
jetliner?
Yeah.
They have what?
Like a 747. It could be low in tire pressure. Just one.
No, I think it's
that
just
could
all
cause
tire.
the tire to catch on fire.
It's tire all the way down. I'm pretty sure. I don't think there's air.
No, I'm pretty sure there's a plane and the tire pressure was low, and this dude was like, "Man, I need air."
God
and he
damn
kept
it,
trying
Brandon.
to borrow air, and no one
I'm
would
on
give
the
him air.
I'm on the podcast with you. I'm gonna spend the entire time on Google. I know. Do airplane tires have air?
So anyway, there was a problem with the conversion of the metric and American system, or whatever, imperial system, and the plane did not have enough of something, and it just.
I owe you an apology.
Huh?
I owe you an apology. Air tires for airliners are inflated with nitrogen.
Oh,
why?
Not
So they
as
wanna
dumb
ignite?
as everybody says.
Probably so they want to ignite.
lighter. Maybe it's
That's
lighter.
not
I don't know. Don't ask me anything
Why not
about
helium?
science. I'm really
Why not helium?
That's so bad.
Dude, it would
bad. I didn't know there'd be statistics and math and conversions.
I just want to know how Brayden thinks statistics are making the sun evil. Wanting to kill you. That was your train of thought here.
Yeah.
It's
a delicate balance we have with the sun. Yeah. No,
it's like the way that we look at people smoking in like the 1940s. How do you feel about smoking?
I think it's abhorrent. Why not?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's 2017.
And how do you feel about being in the sun?
What's that?
How do you feel about being in the sun?
Listen, we all know the sun is bad for you. We all know. Water's also bad for you. You're made of water.
Well, I mean,
wait, how does that make it bad for you?
If you drink too much of it, you drown.
Yeah, there you go, brother.
Well, yeah, I guess you breathe it in. That's why I don't do water. Oh my God. So, Bernie, I don't know if I've told you stories.
You really, honestly, it took you seconds to figure out how water can kill you.
No, it's not. I just did it. I assumed you were saying something like you're in the water and the water is damaging your cells. Like this.
I'd like to address this.
No, please do. Please do. So I'm in the bathroom right before the podcast is ready to roll. I ran to the bathroom because I'm a responsible host. And I ran in there. Brandon goes in there with me. He goes in the next stall. And all I hear is, "Oh, God damn it. This is the worst." And I'm like, what happened in there?
Here's the toilet paper.
And he comes out and Brandon has broken his belt. How'd you break your belt?
I don't know. Like I thought I didn't think I was doing anything differently. I don't know if I really had a pee and I like ripped it off. Like kind of like if it's, you're super mad and you just kind of Hulk Hogan your shirt.
No one does that. You know what I do? I get mad. I tighten the straps in my underwear. That's what I do.
Yeah.
Are you aware that you can get a toothbrush with Bluetooth that syncs to your phone and an app?
Why would I want that?
You wouldn't be interested?
Bluetooth brush.
It tracks like how you're brushing your teeth because it's possible
God.
it's possible you don't realize you're not getting it like the back.
Are you gonna be
And-
competing with your friends? You're gonna be racing?
Yeah.
No, I don't have it, but I know like you really like devices.
Put it on your Fitbit.
You have like a lot of devices, so I just wasn't sure if it was
Does it
something.
automatically update Twitter? So you could like automatically share it to Facebook.
Bernie did 74% effectiveness today.
Yeah. Brandon gave the most demotivating presentation at the all hands meeting today.
It was amazing.
Like,
Yeah.
It was like a dark cloud descended. And literally at the end of it, you said, because now the company's so big, we have a microphone and a little speaker, like a Mr. Microphone. Where is that speaker? Where does it live?
I assume it's over there
I
somewhere.
just hear it. I don't know.
Isn't it just for the live stream so people could hear on the live stream what we're saying?
Is that what it is?
No, I was sitting like so far away. I needed the mic to hear.
Maybe a little bit of both then.
Yeah.
But Brandon has the mic, and he says at the end, and I don't have anything positive to say.
Yeah, because I did not want people to confuse this as a suggestion. It's really like, do not do this. I don't know if you want to talk about what it was specifically.
So,
It probably
why
doesn't
not?
matter.
You can't use stock photos.
You didn't want them to confuse them and make them think it was a suggestion?
Yeah, because sometimes like, hey guys, we have access to all the stock footage, which is really great. I just want you to know that it's not really that good if you have your own name. It's really like, don't do this. Because something came up last week where we had to track down a stock image, and it was a nightmare because I went to a regular account and I couldn't find it. And at first I'm like, man, did I fuck up? Did I create a different account for a different project and put it in a different place? I'm not going to name names.
Yeah, you are.
No,
Why not?
I'm not naming.
Are they fired?
I cannot name names.
Was it me?
But no, it wasn't you.
Why? Because you don't know their name?
No, I know. But I went on to find out from our rep that there were like 12 people who had their own stock
Name
footage
those
account.
names. Give me one name.
I will say it because he does not use it, or he hasn't used it in a long time, but Reisinger.
Oh,
what did you do?
But he hasn't used it in a long time, so it's
No,
really
it's
not.
fair.
It's not critical of him.
Pick one.
We know our father hates you. Brandon's father-in-law hating him got to be one of the top trending videos on YouTube.
It was right next to PewDiePie's apology video. It was awesome.
Did you show it to him?
No, we're going to show it to him when he comes into town in a couple weeks. Paula's going to subtitle it in Spanish. He doesn't hate me. He just knows, I think, that I'm, he wants grandkids. And I must present him with a grandkid. And I think as long as I do that,
Are
he'll
you
be
going
okay.
to? Are you guys going to have kids?
I feel like I owe it to him.
But do you want
Is that your
kids,
choice for having
though?
kids?
That's a good
Yeah.
reason. I felt like I owed it to someone.
Yeah.
Do you want kids?
We made a
I
bet.
don't want to spend money on the kids. That's the thing.
You want to do what?
I don't want to spend money on a kid.
You don't have to.
Can you rent a kid?
I want to adopt like a 17-year-old just so I could like have that connection.
But then if you're paying for the most expensive years of their life, you're about to pay for college.
Oh no, if they want to go to college, they better get a scholarship. I'm not going to put my kid better have
As a
your
person,
17-year-old
Yeah.
foster kid.
As a person who currently owns a 15-year-old one, you don't want the 17-year-old. Trust me. That's when you're like, oh, you're leaving soon. Good.
Here, what?
Get rid of you.
I'm going to text Paula.
Don't you remember?
As someone who owns a 15-year-old.
Don't you remember when you were 17? I
was the
left home
biggest
at
little
17.
shit.
It's horrible.
Yeah.
It's horrible.
Yeah.
I knew everything.
I knew
Everyone
everything.
else was so stupid.
I knew everything.
God
Yeah,
damn.
I moved away from home at 17, almost 18.
Do you remember Mermaids?
The movie?
No. That shitty little sketchy business that was next to T&I?
Oh, yeah. Where you could go, like, swim with mermaids or they'd give you hand jobs or whatever?
Yeah.
Were they actually mermaids?
No, mermaids don't exist. But they were women in mermaid costumes.
That's what I'm
were in
saying.
the costume though, right?
I would
how did-
assume so.
How did they fuck?
Well, you can take a costume off.
Have I talked about my ex-girlfriend who had smelly feet?
Nope. Go on.
So they were bad, and it was caused by the same pair of shoes.
So get rid of the fucking shoes.
I mean, I
Did
couldn't
it just have like bacteria in it?
I don't know, but it's like the shoes smelled whenever she wore them, then her feet would smell. But it's like,
Mm.
I didn't know how to bring that up, and I didn't want to just steal it and throw it away. So at the time, Facebook had this thing called the honesty box, where you could anonymously send somebody some information.
You were in a terrible relationship.
No, there was no way I could tell her this information
You're a
without
dipshit,
it
too.
crushing her.
Your shoes stink every time you take them off after you get home from work every day. Anonymous.
Let's see your
No, they were.
Yeah, seriously, how do you tell that anonymously?
just like sometimes she would take them off, like in a public place, like at the place where we worked. She would just have them off
She's
and maybe
fucking with
be
you,
in
it sounds
her.
like.
He maybe be in her socks or whatever.
Yeah.
And I'm
Brandon.
sure other people noticed too.
Can we see your shoes?
Yeah. What's wrong with?
What's wrong with it?
I'm just
What
curious.
a nightmare.
How come, Brandon? I have a question for you.
The soles are falling off.
You have a living. Look at show the toe.
Brandon,
Look at that.
I have a question for you.
Yeah.
Every
He
time
has
I've seen
holes in
Brandon
shoe.
in the last 6 years, your shoes have never been tied.
I don't know. I keep waiting for that to catch on, like a trend, and
Brandon,
they'll be
why
like,
is
Brandon
this
was there first.
infuriating to me? Why? It's like, are you mad about this, Gus?
Yes.
You
like if you're gonna be such an asshole about someone else's shoes,
I wasn't
why
an
did your
asshole. I was
shoes look
trying to
like
be
that?
nice.
What happened? How did it go?
I'm just mad.
She never got rid of them, and I didn't say anything. I was like, you know what? I'm not going to say anything.
put it in the honesty
It doesn't
box.
smell good, but I mean, she replied. I think just said thank you. She didn't do anything about it. I never approached it.
We dated for a while, and it just wasn't great. But I was like, there's no way I could bring this up as her boyfriend and it not just destroy her.
You can bring it up.
I couldn't. There's no way.
Bring it up.
Bring it up.
No,
That's the
there's
right
no
way. There, I mean, there's a chance
trust
that
me.
she might be hurt for a while, but then the shoes are gone, so it's.
No, it's just no. I just dealt with it, and it was like that.
If you're afraid of being honest with a partner, then they're probably not the partner for you.
Well, we're not dating anymore.
I know, that's what I'm saying. If anybody watching here is having trouble being honest with somebody, that's a bad
What's your
sign.
dating?
Very good advice. That's very good advice.
Here's the way I do it. Go in one day, you say, well, sit down, look, I want to talk to you about something. I'm super into foot stuff, and I want to do foot shit with you, but your feet stink. And then she goes, you're into foot shit? And I go, not really. Your feet stink. And then it's not so bad. She gets freaked out because her boyfriend's into foot stuff, and then it's like, oh, no, it's not bad. I just have sticky feet. That's all.
No.
It's good.
That was just